The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is mandatory minicamp opens for 12 more teams Tuesday, June 7th, 2022. This sports show begins now. Yeah. Can't thank you enough for joining us here at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. You are the best people on earth. The fact that you spend your afternoons with us, we are eternally grateful. And yes, there are 12 teams starting their mandatory minicamp, so all the players are back in the buildings except for Chicago Bears. They were actually kicked out of the building for a day because the Chicago Bears were cheating in May. So they actually got suspended one mandatory minicamp practice because they were abusing and beating the rules that the NFL has put in place for every team to abide by, and the Chicago Bears just couldn't do it. So they got one of their practices wiped off.
Hell yeah.
The entire schedule.
New bad boys are in the building.
Yeah.
Can't stop us now.
Yeah, I wonder how Eberflus is doing with the boys up there, putting pads on in May. They're calling around to every other team going, you guys got pads on? You guys got pads on? No, there's actually a no pads in May rule. Oh, is that right? Really? So then the NFLPA probably looked into it. The NFL looked into it. They probably pulled cameras, by the way, from the practice facility, from the practice fields, and said, hey, you got pads on right here.
Gotcha.
Minus the practice that everybody else has. Who knows what that means for the Chicago Bears? They did get to go early, an extra week, because of a new head coach. So maybe they got confused on the number of weeks into the thing because they had the extra week at the beginning with the new head coach. Let's assume that was the case. But with that being said, Bears lose a practice. Nobody else does. Are the Bears already losing this NFL season?
So I just found out team bonding. They're bowling today. So they're getting together. They're good time bonding together as a team.
Eberflus is trying to make it up to the boys. I apologize. I was running your heads into each other a lot earlier than everybody else was allowed to do so. Because CTE became a real thing, they put in actual rules, and I said, fuck those rules. This is the Monsters of the Midway or not. I would 1,000% think they went a week ahead of time because they had the new head coach, so they get an extra week. They probably had their entire OTA, the phases drawn out exactly how everybody else's is without accounting for the week in advance that they had, which is just an add-on to the beginning phase as opposed to an advancement of phases past everybody else. So let's assume that's what happened. They're not complete stooges or trying to run their players into the ground. But aside from that, a lot of teams hitting the fields this week. We are pumped about it because that means the NFL at Boston Connor is only
93 days away, Pat.
Here we go.
Come on, we're right there. We're right there.
93 gas right now, about 620, but 93 days from the NFL is excitement and joy. At Ty Schmidt, the other member of the Toxic Table next to at Boston Connor. Tone Diggs, you've been wanting to say something.
Well, you laid out some good options for the Bears. You forgot option D, where Flus was like, this team fucking stinks. We need to get as many pad practices as we possibly can.
Yep.
Let's roll with that. Thank you, Foxy.
What does that mean?
They're worried about the Lions is what I read.
Well, I don't think we ever had
That's what you read.
Don't want to finish
That's what I read.
third.
Go back to the reading board.
You guys are going to be on Hard Knocks. Everybody's going to know exactly what your game plan is because MCDC is going to be tasked with editing that and giving a final view. It's good, man. It's good
Leave it in
football,
there.
man.
Leave it in there.
Man.
He's going to need a lot of coffee for that then.
A lot of douche. The guy's becoming an editor, a producer, a director, a final screener, and the head coach of a football team that hasn't been good in 200 years.
A team that's going to go 10-7 and win a playoff game this year.
Maybe, but who knows if the Bears will be able to do the same. I believe the Bears have the worst odds in the NFC North.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
The Detroit Lions have the third best odds. Obviously, the Vikings at second, and the Green Bay Packers are the only -1.
Oh, yeah, I believe like minus
-170. Yeah, they're the Bucks are -320. I guess they are way past everybody in the NFC South, and the Bills -180 because the sorry ass Patriots at +400 to win the AFC East.
Colts?
What's that?
Colts.
Well, the reason why the Colts are -105 for the AFC South, and I didn't want to mention it because there's no reason for us to talk about this or draw any spotlight to this because we don't need the folks down in Nashville to draw any type of chip on the shoulder. They were the number one team in the AFC going into the playoffs. They had 90 players on their roster.
That's right. Yikes.
They had 30-some players go through IR, 40-some players go through IR. We didn't even know any of the players on their team, basically. And Vrabel somehow got them to be the number one team in the entire AFC in the playoffs. Now, obviously, they lose to the Cincinnati Bengals, who became a wagon there and are going to be awesome to watch this year. But nobody needs to talk about the Colts being minus 105 to win the AFC South. You know why the Colts are minus 105 to win the AFC South, Connor?
Oh, why is that?
Well, that's because the sportsbook, John Sheeran, and more specific, whenever he watched that Colts team last year, he said, God damn, this team is unbelievable. This team is stacked. Look at the defense. They got all pros all over the place. The offensive line, maybe the best offensive line in all football, they got an MVP candidate at running back. Now, the wide receiver weapons may be a little bit light there, but they got some young studs. Special teams, absolute guys there. They are stacked across the board. What did they not have?
Quarterback stunk.
A Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
A fucking astronaut playing quarterback.
Peyton Manning reincarnated.
Reggie Wayne said it made him sick to his stomach. He almost vomited with how much Matt Ryan is similar to Peyton Manning. They got a guy now that was accepted to fucking Top Gun. Okay, who's the quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts. They're paying him a lot of money. Matt Ryan's already calling up the boys on offense after a walkthrough and saying, hey, this shit ain't fucking cutting it. And everybody responded well. Buckner and the boys on defense said it was nice to see a quarterback round up the troops and say, hey, this ain't the way this thing goes, because I do believe that's how the defense has been operating for a few years now. Now Matt Ryan's doing the same amount of accountability they're doing on the defense side of the ball. There's no clown town disappointments this year. At minus 105, those sports books, who might be time travelers, they get things so oddly close to 100% right so often.
They do.
That it makes us wonder if they got a little inside scoop on what's potentially happening in the future. And if they're putting the Colts at minus 105, they know what I've been feeling. And that's that Matt Ryan's going to turn that whole squad back. This is their first mandatory minicamp. We'll learn more today about what these boys are about.
Yeah, you should be worried.
You should be worried.
I'm not,
so should you.
I'm
fucking
not
you.
worried.
What?
Dan,
Why would
you're
I
in
be
the NFC.
worried?
We'll see you guys later.
Why would I
See
be
you down the
worried?
road.
We'll see you guys later.
The Patriots have the Super Bowl favorites, the MVP favorite in the division. We're not worried about the Colts, but I thought it was more so about the fact that, the Titans lose A.J. Brown. They get, Robert Woods, who's coming off an injury. They're basically relying on a rookie wide receiver, Traylon Burks, to kind of carry the offense. They lost a few offensive linemen. I mean, I love what the Colts are doing.
That's not what it is.
But I think that also
Those are all very valid points.
I think that has a lot to do with it.
I don't think so. Today's show's packed, by the way. In about 10 minutes, we'll have Darrelle Revis join us.
Whoa. Holy shit.
Revis Island, founder.
Yeah.
Won a Super Bowl at the Pats.
Just changed football.
Yeah.
Good 7 to 8 years. It was just Revis time. Hey, team, what team is going to pay him to a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal, fully guaranteed, that's going to be worth more than everybody else? And what defense coordinators are going to be like, oh, thank God. All right. So we'll just cover half the field is being covered by this guy. Just go ahead and put him over there. We'll be able to do everything else. His teammates benefited mightily from it. His teams benefited mightily from it. The last time I was on the field with him at the same time, he won an ESPY.
Yeah.
So that'll be a good conversation.
Yeah, hopefully.
Putting the ball, he beat everybody. He ran past me. I got blocked.
Also, you guys would know better than any of us, but I was reading his Wikipedia about his high school exploits as well. In the state championship, I think his sophomore year, scored 5 touchdowns, had an interception, blocked a punt, all this. And then basketball, I think, won 2 state championships. He's a dog.
Aliquippa, where he's from, bunch of dogs. I mean, they create dogs over there. Sports, dogs. Life, dogs. And he became the baddest and best DB in the damn game for a long time and held it down all by himself. He's vastly different than every other corner that gets compared to him. Now, I guess Deion plays in the same fashion. I wish I knew more about the DB world, but there's not a lot of Darrelle Revises that have ever been in the NFL, and we get to talk to him in about 9 minutes or so. He's going into the New York Jets
Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor this year, I believe in December or November. Him, Mangold, and
DeBrickashaw Ferguson.
all 3 are going in this season. So the Jets are, Woody Johnson saying, hey, we got a quarterback, we got a new team, we're going to put in some alumni that are good. It wasn't always terrible. We had some good players. Let's go ahead and do this whole thing. I can't wait to chat with Revis. In the second hour, we got Ian Rapoport.
Okay.
Yeah, he's fresh, probably off a golf course.
I would assume.
Naturally.
What's going on in the world? What does he know? What does he not know? We'll ask him. We'll hopefully get updated. And then Albert Breer will join us. Albert Breer writes the Monday Morning Quarterback for Sports Illustrated.
That's right.
He mentioned our Russell Wilson Let's Ride coverage in his thing. Sent a bunch of people that don't normally watch our stuff to our video. Now that... Obviously, I think we created maybe some new fans, so thank you, Albert.
Thank you, Albert.
Certainly heard a lot of people that did not like the way we cover sports.
Sure.
So thank you, Albert.
Thank you, Albert.
Thank you, Albert. But I believe he watches and listens to some of our stuff, so I can't wait to chat with him. He obviously got handed a column or blog from Peter King, and now Peter King is his direct competition. They both released the same thing on Monday morning.
Yeah.
And we are very lucky that we get to read for both of them, but I'll be excited to hear Albert Breer's process, who he knows, what he doesn't know, and what's potentially down the pipe, Albert.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think for something like that too. Like he's not technically an insider, but every week that those come out, and there are a bunch of nuggets that it seems like no one else knows other than him and Peter King.
Well, and they just say stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like there'll be rumors. I'll hear rumors, and we won't talk about it because it's just rumors. Now, allegedly, we were duped into doing an alleged report yesterday.
What? Which one?
Russell Wilson, 5-year, $250 million was just projected by some reporter who was speculating, not reporting.
Like the Pasternak thing.
Which has not been talked about on this show, but definitely in the office.
Yeah, that's right.
Way to get ahead of that one.
Sorry.
Way to.
Hey, it's the exact same thing. I just,
That was
popped up in my
D-block.
brain.
That was D-block, but you brought it in here. Yes. So there has been a couple situations with the internet where people who are reporters or insiders have speculated upon something, and then it has either been taken by them or by other people as a report of something, and then boom, we have to talk about it because it's pretty big names and pretty big numbers. For instance, Russell Wilson allegedly was asking the Denver Broncos with 2 years left on his contract, the one that he signed that we remember his celebration, he was in bed with Sierra.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
2 years left on that deal. Allegedly, the asking price is going to be 5 years, $250 million. So that's $50 million guaranteed every single year for 5 years, which is going right now for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And what will it be in 3 years? Russell Wilson probably be underpaid. Then you can take it or leave it. So that was being reported as a report. It was just speculation by a reporter who has inside information.
Okay.
So I'm happy we cleared that up.
Yeah, but
Pasternak,
of course.
Boston Bruins right winger, is being traded to the Pittsburgh Penguins this offseason.
I was going to say, this one seems a little bit more credible. Though. This seems like it's basically a done deal. He will be traded in the
I read
offseason.
it on Twitter.
Feels like it's
I read it on Twitter.
It's the same exact thing. But, I mean, hockey's been dead for a couple weeks now, so who cares? But
Actually, Rangers Tampa tonight, game 4.
yeah, can't wait.
Will Tampa be able to make this thing all square through 4 because they had a 2-week break and came out a little bit cold, and New York Rangers won the first 2 games. Is that how this thing's going to go? Is New York going to be able to steal one down in the Storm, or are they going to give them back home 2-2? We shall see this evening. But Pasternak coming to the Penguins, great news.
Well, probably not.
Fired the coach 2 nights ago.
Yeah, Bruce.
See ya.
Everyone's hurt. Everyone's getting surgery.
Hey, they need to
a lot of
turn over,
surgeries.
rebuild, get
Long
Bye,
rebuild
Pasta.
ahead.
Surgeries.
Bye, Pasternak.
Oh.
Pittsburgh loves pasta.
We do.
So does Massachusetts.
No, you don't know about pasta
You
like
kidding
Pittsburgh
me?
does
You know,
pasta.
there's so many Italian people in
You never had to
Massachusetts.
get any.
Oh, you're talking about potato Boston.
Well, yeah, we
yeah.
do pour. I actually did find out this weekend. Boston has a bar called Mr. Dooley's that pours the most pints of Guinness in the continental United States. No big deal.
Well, that's what we're talking about, though, with the pasta thing in Pittsburgh.
Well, don't worry. We got a North End that a bunch of Italian people live in.
Whoa.
We got plenty of other places
Whoa.
where.
Whoa.
A lot
What
of
was about to
Italian
come out of
people
here?
live in.
Whoa.
What do you mean?
Bunch of, did you hear that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
talking
heard
about?
it. You know what else Pittsburgh has? A lot of pierogies. You know who
Why?
likes pierogies? People from the Czech Republic and Slovaks like pasta.
Well, why was Pasta hanging out with David Krejci? Like, Rupper was telling us, and Krejci might come back.
Krejci
because-
on the Bruins.
Nobody
Well,
knows
yeah,
what that
he's
means,
still
but who
under
cares?
contract.
Let's move on. Pasta's coming to the Pens. That's all that matters. That's Hockey Talk tomorrow night. What are you guys talking about?
Probably about pasta coming to the Pens.
All right, that's
Okay.
awesome. Once again, that is something that a reporter is speculating upon, but is being reported as a report from an insider.
That's right.
Those are the things those are the little potholes on the road of day-to-day sports coverage
Yeah.
that we are going to continue to try to avoid.
Yeah, but that's the offseason. You got to talk about it. Russell Wilson gets 5 years, $250. What do you think Lamar Jackson and Herbert are going to warrant then?
Burrow,
Burrow, yeah.
Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Are they going to wait now?
Is that what Lamar's doing? Lamar, there's a video that surfaced on the internet of him on one knee in slides, throwing the ball 50 yards. Now, I don't believe Lamar Jackson was the one saying, hey, this is an incredibly impressive throw. I believe whoever recorded this said Lamar Jackson's got an absolute cannon. From the 50, one knee down, one knee up in slides, completion in the end zone. Unbelievable display of accuracy and arm strength, although the internet can't help themselves and say, we've seen 100 people do something much more impressive than this. But the thing about it is Lamar Jackson's always been, kind of buried about his arm. I think that's all the haters try to pinpoint and look at. Looks like he hit that guy right in the fucking chest from 50 yards away on a knee. That's the more impressive thing that I could see, because I have seen guys, offensive linemen, DBs, wide receivers, other quarterbacks that aren't great at playing football, but are great at throwing the football, take a knee, throw the ball through the uprights from the 50 into the back. I mean, that is something that a lot of great, strong-armed humans can accomplish. Normally ex-baseball players that come over to football, whether they're big pitchers, they got big arms, but they have no idea how to read a defense. They have no clue what's going on. They have no touch, no finesse, but they can throw the ball forever. Lamar Jackson's working on his pass game. I don't know why the internet's got to be so rude about it all the time.
Yeah, I don't know why they're being rude, especially because, just last year he was getting, film throwing a duck. I mean, that's a perfect spot right there. I'm just glad they posted the one that has a nice ball in it.
And it hit Gyro just like this.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I couldn't zoom in close enough because the quality seemed to be, potato.
Yeah,
Android.
Were those Ravens teammates, or is he still not on that team? Doesn't like that team?
Well, when's mandatory minicamp? Did that start today? Are they one of the 12 teams that start today?
No.
Does not look like it.
So
He's got time.
seems like he's got another couple days down in the sun for going back to Baltimore. Aaron Rodgers, I believe he will be chatting with the press.
Yep.
I think it's today.
I believe so, yes.
I believe he'll be meeting with them. I can't wait to hear what those conversations are like. What has he learned about the offense and the team since coming back for at least a day or two? Is he impressed by the rookies? How about LaFleur, fresh out of the wedding that McVay was at, getting married to a lady named Veronica while negotiating a deal with Aaron Donald? Aaron Donald has become the highest paid defensive NFL player in the history of the sport. Congratulations to Aaron Donald, who was completely at peace with retirement before negotiating or a change of his deal, basically. Ian Rapoport reported that the Rams have reworked all-world D tackle Aaron Donald's 3 remaining contract years to give him a massive $40 million raise through 2024, making him the highest-paid non-QB in NFL history at 31 years old. He gets $95 million through 2024. Damn. In negotiating this deal, the Rams opened up. Okay, so they didn't add on any years. Allegedly, at this point, there might be 5 voided years at the end of this thing. Let's assume this is going to be a 7-year, $95 million deal with 5 voided years at the end so that they can just pass the deals on the end. If they're not doing that, I'll be interested to see how they work this gimmick. But they ended up opening up $2 million of salary cap space for next year while renegotiating a deal that pays the highest paid defensive NFL player in the history of the game after paying Matthew Stafford and others on that team a wide margin amount of money above every other person in their position group, which goes back to the same old story that we've been talking for a long time. Salary cap's fugazi.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's not real.
And until everybody just understands that and everybody buys in on that, you're going to continue to see the rich get richer and everybody else try to battle in the way that used to be how you would battle. You build through the draft. You pick and choose who gets paid. People get paid elsewhere. You make sure you got it all in line. You have backups on backups so that next year you can't get caught in any situations. Instead, you got teams just paying everybody somehow, saying, boom, 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 boom. Here, take all our money. We don't need the picks. You do this, you do this. We'll put some voided years on the back end that'll take some of the signing bonus hit. Boom, boom, boom. You're the highest paid guy. Somehow we saved $2 million. It's a win-win. You're not retiring. We're getting another one. Ring me, you said last year. Let's do it again. It's amazing what some of these teams are able to accomplish.
Yeah, it feels like the notion that we always hear is just like, hey, guess what? Like, they're going to have to pay the piper sometime, but like they have all their key guys for the next 3-4 years who said there's no proof that you can't just kick the can down the road into eternity. Like, they can just keep reworking all this shit. Like, do you actually have to pay the piper at some point? I don't know if you do.
Everybody's trying to tell us that you do.
And I don't think you do.
And everybody that's telling us that you do are the people that aren't doing it because they're living in their fears.
That's right.
Ain't that right, Dahn? Aren't they living in their fears over there?
We don't live in our fears. Nobody lives in our fears on this show. But there are people who lives in their fears because they just don't want to pay people. There are 2 voided years at the end of this. For 2025 and 2026 are void.
Okay.
And I wonder what those numbers are for that whole thing. Here's Spotrac. Now, is this real? Do we know if this is real?
Good question.
We trust Spotrac.
Oh, yeah.
The numbers
Sport,
feel legit.
contract, Spotrac.
Put them together.
Yeah.
Feels like he's the right person. 3 years, $95 million, $46.5 million guaranteed at signing bonus, which, by the way, that is, I think that's going to move. Another $18.5 million next March. 2 void years at the end for the cap. It's 2 years, $65 million in practical terms. Cap hits $24 million next year as opposed to 26. 23, $38 million. 24, $31 million. And then 25, another $10 million. Last 2 years do not matter. If he's to retire, he'll be good.
And then 26, not pictured on the tweet, is $5 million.
Yeah, so it's 3 extra years on the back end of that thing. So it's a 5-year deal that's actually a 2-year deal.
Yeah, because it's not a real extension, right? Because it's being reported just as a contract rework, but they actually.
But it sounds
added
like it
2
is
years.
actually, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all fugazi. If anybody wants to work the salary cap, they can absolutely work the salary cap. For instance, if I was running a team and I got a chance to chat with this person that's about to join us, and he alluded to the fact that he had any sentiment of juice left,
Sure.
I'll be like, all right, let's move some shit around. Let's get him on the team. Ladies and gentlemen, a man that changed football for almost a decade. People were living on the Revis Island. It was 1 to 2 year deals. One of the greatest businessmen in the history of the NFL. This upcoming season, he will go into the New York Jets Ring of Honor, All-Pro, Pro Bowl, Super Bowl champion, founder of Revis Island. Ladies and gentlemen, legendary corner, Darrelle Revis. Yeah! What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing, Pat? How you doing, guys?
Hey, I'm good, man. I want to let you know the last time you and I were on something at the same time, you won a fucking ESPY, So I don't know if that's going to happen again for this conversation, but maybe that's the case. We've all been big fans of yours. Western Pennsylvania guy who's gone on to become an absolute GOAT and a king. We appreciate you taking time, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pat. And I remember, do you remember that play vividly when you punted the ball to me, man?
Well, really.
West Virginia Pitt.
Yeah.
Backyard ball.
Yeah, I remember.
Backyard ball.
Yeah. Did you guys watch that the next day in film as much as we did? We watched that play maybe 20 times the next. Laser pointers on everybody, Revis. Why aren't you fucking tackling him? Well, I got blocked there. Why aren't you standing? You couldn't get back. You beat, I think, 13 guys on that play, Darrelle. I think you beat 13 guys on that play.
No, it was amazing. It was definitely amazing. I'm sorry you had to be on the back end of that punting the ball, and I have to give credit to Dave Wanstead at the time who drew up the play. He wanted to actually do it during the backyard brawl to spark some energy for us, and actually the play was supposed to be a throwback to Derek Kinder, who actually blocked both of the guys on your team. I couldn't, if you remember the play, I tried to pump, and Kinder was, he was a legal man downfield, so I actually couldn't get the ball there. But he made a great block, 2 great blocks on your defenders, and I just ran down the sideline and do the best I could. I was going to try to run out of bounds, but it was a good play.
Didn't you see me coming, though? That don't scare you? I mean, I got blocked, I thought maybe you run out of bounds. I was like 220 at the time. I looked pretty good, I thought. I looked pretty good, Nobody wants. You were amazing. And that tackle by Derek Kinder, by the way, illegal, modern rules. Sent 2 guys potentially to CTE City. Just would like to let everybody know that. We watched it in slow motion the next day, both of them. Rich Rod asking, "Get up, Ridwan." I believe his name was, and he's, "I would have if I could have." What are you? Well, I think he was knocked out. I think Kinder killed him, I believe. But you won an ESPY for that, right? Didn't the whole team win an ESPY for that or no?
We were nominated for it, but we actually, I think we came second in the polls, but
that's a shame.
The guy from Boise State, the Statue of Liberty play, the guys won it at Boise State, yeah. And credit to him. It was a great play drawn up for them as well, and I think he actually proposed to his The icing on the cake was he proposed to his wife now.
You had no chance. You had no chance.
I had no chance at all. No chance.
What are you up to these days? It feels like, and I might be wrong with this, but once you were done with football, did you kind of just drift away from the game? Did you feel jaded from the game, or do you just kind of, is this just kind of what you're into, just kind of chilling and away from it all?
For me, it was really the focus on my mental health. And I think once you retire, there's a lot you have to decompress. There's a lot of things I tried to get into holistic wise to try to cope with, playing for so long. And I think a lot of guys right now are really, former players and retired players, they're really focusing on, their mental health, whether there's depression, stress. And I played in the Big Apple. I played in New York City and Manhattan. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of other things going on. It's a major city. So, for me, I just try to step away from the game and really kind of get back into practical living and kind of collect my thoughts and kind of see what the next chapter is for.
What was it like when you were in the middle of the Rhode Island run there? Because everybody's expectation of you is that you are, hey, if this guy gets one catch, basically, in Rhode Island, everybody's going to talk about that. And I know it's not just at the time 16 games. That's an all-year thing, I guess, that's just looming over your head? Like the expectation is what drove you, I assume? Or is that just naturally how you did your business when you were in the league?
Pat, for me, I really, being a super fan of football and, growing up to, watch Barry Sanders, the Cowboys doing their runs and, the 49ers, going to college and then actually having an opportunity to play in the pros, I was pissed off because as I was coming into the league, there were a lot of talks about, the shutdown corner not existing no more. And I took that personal. I took it to heart. And I remember it was my first Pro Bowl. I was my locker was next to Champ Bailey's, and I was asking Champ Bailey a bunch of questions like, hey, what do I need to do to be on your level, basically? And, Champ, during that time just passed me the torch and said, like, hey, young blood, it's your time up. I see the way that you're progressing in the league, and I'm going to pass the torch to you. And at that moment, I just felt like I needed to basically continue to keep the legacy of the shutdown corner alive, at that point, because there was in the media, there was a lot of stuff saying there's no shutdown corners anymore. And then it was actually, the league was actually changing at the time, going into a more passing offense type of situation. So, I just felt for me that it was my time up and I needed to represent all the legacy of shutdown corners, the Mel Blunts, the Deion Sanders, the Darrell Greens, the Rod Woodsons of the world. And I just really took it to heart to say, hey, when it's my time, I'm going to try to shut down anybody that lines up in front of me.
Why is it so much different than everything else? Just athletically, you have to be superior. Intellect, you have to be superior. What is it about the shutdown corner that's different? And why did people assume that was going to be gone from the game whenever there was more passing getting involved?
I really think because it probably gears more to the offensive side of the football in a sense. And, offensive coordinators and quarterbacks and receivers and tight ends also can actually have a lot of flexibility in the passing game. Even playing the Patriots, it was so difficult to actually kind to play chess with them on the chessboard because you have Tom Brady at the helm, being the general, but also, we've been in games where they come out an empty set, and they have so many options, man, to throw the ball, and then actually when you start, teeing up on that, then they go into a goal line set, and then you got to focus on that. But to really answer your question. It was just really, the corner position. It's just really, you have to be a student of the game. I have notebooks still to where I have my notes in there where I have Terrell Owens and I break them down. I study them. I have, Randy Moss where I still break them down. So it's just really being a student of the game and taking time to really break down these guys and break down their tendencies to really have that skill set of being studious. Also, you just got to be very athletic at the cornerback position. I mean, you got to be able to run fast with these guys. It's some of the best players in the world, and at the receiver position, and they're pretty fast, pretty quick, they're pretty strong, and they're smart as well, and they're pretty explosive. So, for me, it was just being very studious at my job and really trying to, make sure I was prepared every Sunday.
Who was somebody, and by the way, thank you for all this insight. This is fucking awesome. Who was somebody, you talked about T.O. and Randy, and, you would be a great person, I think, to get, like, your opinion on this. Who was somebody that you did anybody keep you up? Anybody give you an anxiety or anything like that? Because I know they felt that way about you, right? Everybody, when the Revis Island run was happening, they're like, all right, we got 15 games this year because there's a good chance that the offense coordinator will say, hey, don't even throw it towards Revis, which means, by the way, you still got to be on every fucking play. That doesn't mean that you get to take plays off because they do. But did anybody keep you up, or was it the other way around, do you think?
I think it go both ways. I think I say Tom Brady won from the quarterback position. I would say from the wide receiver position, I would probably say Randy Moss. I would probably say Terrell Owens as well. Steve Smith. I would definitely say Steve Smith. Who else can I name? I mean, it's a list of guys, and even if I'm not naming all of them, I have the utmost respect for all of them because, the difference between all of them, I call it superhumans. We were superhumans. We have, if you're playing against Steve Smith, he's not as tall as Randy Moss, which Randy Moss is about 6'5" and a half. So, when you're dealing with certain guys, certain receivers, they come with, a certain gift. And, Steve Smith was more so explosive, fast, kind of like a bulldog in the sense where if he got pissed off, man, he'll blow right past you in the route. So, you just got to respect everybody across the board. I will always say, my fellow draftee in 2007, Calvin Johnson as well. I mean, tough matchups I always had to go up against week in and week out, and some of those games I came out where, I'm looking at it as like I just shut this person. Like, how did I do that? In a sense. But I actually, the only thing I can give credit to is just, great game plans by the coaching staff, and also, sticking to the game plan and really seeing it through and really executing as best as I could, and along with my teammates. And we were able to do some great things. I think we had like the number 1 defense and also the number 3 defense, the New York Jets, during the heydays in 2008, 2009, and 10 and 11. So, we just had a great group of guys who came to work every day and was ready to, really focus in of what tasks we had to do.
You'll be going into the Jets Ring of Honor this season. Well deserved.
Yeah.
Well deserved. And I assume all those wide receivers that got a chance to visit Revis Island also share the same sentiments about you that you just talked about, superhumans and all of those things. Whenever you talked about the defensive coordinator and a great game plan, as an outsider, as somebody who maybe doesn't have the best football IQ whenever it comes to like guys that played in the league and shit like that and watch film for a full-time living, I assume the game plans were, all right, 10 of us got shit to do, and then Revis, you're just doing this. Was that not what it was? Was it not just like, hey, you're taking their guy, you got that guy, or was there more to it that maybe a noob would not fully understand?
I think when Rex actually when Rex Ryan was actually hired, we had a meeting. We had individual player meetings, and I think our meeting, I can say, and this is inside, the facility. But
Here we go.
Rex sat me down and just, basically just kind of said like he believes that I'm the best corner in the NFL at the time, and he's going to help me strive to be that in a sense. And that was basically our kind of meeting and our conversation. he said I would stick out on the film every time he would watch it during the practice films and stuff. And I got to give credit to Rex Ryan's defensive scheme to actually, kind of highlight, me as being a cornerback and me being one of the best defensive players, try to be one of the best defensive players in the league at the time. And it was great. I just felt like I took on that task. I didn't really want to because I felt we had a lot of pieces on the defensive side of the ball that we can actually, I can just play one side, I can play the left side. And then we had Antonio Cromartie as well. It was a great corner at the time. And, we just had a great CB tandem. So I didn't really think that I had to really travel. But when it came to nut cutting time and, we had to win games and we had to make some adjustments and we had to move some chess pieces around. And then it kind of isolated me to be on one side or the other. And the other 10 guys would actually, it gave Rex Ryan ability to blitz and do other things in his scheme, which guys, I think my teammates really loved at the time because it made the game a little bit more fun for us. And everybody would do their job and we would rock out.
It sounded like Rex Ryan was like the guy who would empower all of his players. Sound like he did the exact same for you. I got a chance to do some ESPN with him. The green room talking to him off air was fucking awesome. I mean, I wish I could have played for him, to be honest with you. I think I would have enjoyed the hell out of it. We're talking to Darrelle Revis, founder of Revis Island, and you talked about being the number one defense there for like 5 years with the Jets. You're going in the Jets Ring of Honor. Do you keep in touch with the Jets organization? How do you feel about where they're at right now, and what do you think about the future?
Yeah, I think, I built so many relationships within the organization. So at this point, I think, I'm an alumni, I'm an ambassador. So I think for me, it's just representing, the organization is to my best ability, which I've been doing. But yeah, I stay in contact with a bunch of people in the building. And, we don't know what the future entails. I mean, we got a lot of things going on. We spoke about the Ring of Honor. Woody Johnson, we had an interview with Woody Johnson, Mark Sanchez, Nick Mangold, and also Brickashaw Ferguson. So, Woody came by to just really congratulate us on all our success. So, sky's the limit, in terms of maybe some of the things, we can talk about in the organization moving forward, if I'm actually going to be a part of that, if not. But my most important thing is, I love the game of football. I'm real passionate about it, and I love winning. And that's the biggest thing. I really love winning. And if we can turn some things around in that building, which I have a lot of respect for everyone in the building, from the scouting personnel, from everybody in the executive positions as well, for us to really, make a change. It's time to make a change for the New York Jets in a lot of positions, in a lot of ways. And I think we all believe that, the quarterback position is the most important. And, right now at the moment we have Zach Wilson and, there's very high expectations for him as everybody else on the team. But, we just feel that, it's our time to strike and hopefully, build a championship team to where we can win our second Super Bowl.
Tough division. Hey, tough division. Hey. Revis.
No, very, very tough.
That's a tough division. That's a big city.
Yeah.
Tough division right there. Hopefully they're able to turn it around. You said you still love football. Are you coaching? Do you keep in contact with any of the DBs that are in the league right now? And is the shutdown corner still a thing in the NFL? Who did you pass the torch to, you think?
I believe there is still shutdown corners. Yes, I still pay attention to the games and when fall comes around and I watch games. I pick and choose what games I watch, but I believe there's a long list of guys that are really great. You have Jalen Ramsey right now. You have Stephen Gilmore. He won the defensive player a few years back playing for the Patriots. I've been close with Stephen Gilmore even when he was with the Buffalo Bills. So really good guy. You have Howard down here in Miami. There's a lot of guys that you have Ward. you have Ward and Cleveland Browns. So I do pay attention. You have Jair Alexander in Green Bay.
There we go.
So you have a lot. It's a lot of good guys out there right now that are really, representing the position very well. And I love to watch them play. I love ball, man. So especially as a DB, and when you're out on the island and it's 1-on-1, and those guys know as well as me, man. It's a very tough task. It's a tough job. And they're doing a great job. They're doing a fabulous job of representing the NFL. They're doing a fabulous job of representing the position as well. So much success to all of those guys.
Hey, TV kind of fucks it up, though. Somebody's getting blamed for a bomb that isn't necessarily a DB's fault or a safety's fault or a coverage's fault. Is that something that even you? Now, I'm going to say this, and it's going to cause an argument somewhere, but it shouldn't. Like, you are what, Mount Rushmore corner in the history of the NFL? I'll say it. You don't have to say it. You do your thing. Mount Rushmore corner in the history of the NFL. When you watch some of the games, do you have any idea whose fault it is whenever shit happens? Or is that something that only inside the team you think would know?
Yeah. If you watch a game and you see the ref go like this here, the touchdown. Yeah, you can kind of really, if you look at the replay, you can kind of really see like the mistake or the error or miscommunication at times. And, obviously that's, for a DB coach, that's probably the worst feeling you can have, walking off after the field goal and, you walk to the sideline and the DB coach is like, what happened? You got to have that type of communication of, well, they were in a 3-by-1 set, and, the third receiver, he did a shake route. He did an out and up and shake route in the middle of the field, and maybe the linebacker or safety bid on it, and he scored a touchdown. So, yeah, those are the, that's the inner workings of the games, but all you can try to do is make adjustments, but those are the plays where those are nightmares for you, where you think about them or you try to readjust them in the future.
When I said you were the Mount Rushmore corner in the history of the NFL, was that uncomfortable, awkward? Do you hate that conversation? Because I feel like, and I'll dive into this a little bit. So in the sports, day-to-day sports media world, okay, there's this conversation. Once you become like unbelievably good, and it's recognized that everybody thinks you're really good, then all anybody does is pick apart why you're not the greatest. So they stop complimenting people once you get really good, and it becomes why you're no longer the greatest and somebody else is the greatest. Your name gets caught up in that conversation all the time on the internet. I don't know how tapped in you are about corners in the history of the game. Do you appreciate the fact that you're in that conversation? And is that something you take very personal if people say that you aren't because of how much you gave to the game and how much you were able to accomplish?
Sometimes, it's like you're a folklore or it's like a myth because of the dirty work that you had to actually do to be successful. And I mean, at one point that was our DNA. I mean, everybody on Sunday knew that. And then at the time, fantasy football was actually coming into play. It was just created in a sense. So, I was kind of I don't know if you want to say the Darth Vader of fantasy football, where
that's a great nickname. Do you have that as a shirt? Darth Vader?
No, I don't have it as a shirt. Not yet. I might make a shirt and send you one.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, that's a great shirt. The Darth Vader of fantasy football. True. Darrelle Revis.
Yeah, because, a lot of fantasy football, players would, they would actually sit their receiver down during that week if they had to play against the Jets defense. So, and then, in the off season when you go places, you would hear it like, I had to sit my receiver down and, when we played you guys or whatever. And, at that time, I just think, I kind of said the folklore thing, but I was in the era where, it was technology involved and there was a lot of stats where, you can really focus on DBs, pass attempts. Pass attempts are thrown to them much more. the quarterback ratings at the time, which is still going on to this day. So, I mean, if you're ranking me in a certain way, you know, I was kind of the starting point of all of those kind of stats really showing up, and a rest with the other guys as well. And you know, those things still live on to this day. I know records are made to be broken and such. And I think, you know, sometimes when you retire and you have to play back everything in life, and you hear certain things that you were so in tunnel vision. You hear some of the accolades, and you know, I think there's a fact that I was the greatest season for a cornerback of all time in 2009 and stuff. So once you start to hear these things, you have a sense of pride, and you're proud of it. But you know, the ultimate thing for me was to win championships. You know, I won a state championship in high school.
5 tuds.
To win one at.
Hey, you had 5 tuds in that thing, didn't you?
Yeah, it's still a record in So it's you know, for me, I think, you know, the high school program I come from, Aliquippa High School, which has Mike Ditka, which has Ty Law, who has Sean Gilbert. We have a lot of other players. I'm sorry if I'm missing anybody's name. But yeah, I mean, there's a sense of pride even from my high school to actually, you know, win championships, and I wanted to do it with the New York Jets as well. I think that's why I believe they drafted me in the first round, because, you know, the winning attitude I would bring to the organization, and that's what it was really all about for me, is just to win big. And I had an opportunity to win one with Tom Brady and the New York Patriots, Super Bowl 49, and that was a dream come true, you know, for me, in the sense of just all the hard work and actually being a rival to him so many times and losing to him so many times.
Yeah, we all did, pal. We all did. Yeah,
it's so many nightmares. I still have some to this day. Like, I missed the interception. I tipped it or whatever. But it's so hard to pick Tom Brady off, and I had so much fun, you know, battling and trying to be two lions and trying to bring the best out of each other as best we could. So when you talk about the Mount Rushmore stuff, I mean, if people want to put me in that conversation, it's incredible. If people have different opinions, they're entitled to their opinion. That's fine as well. I think you know, my resume speaks for itself in a sense, and I'm really proud for all the experiences, everything I could, you know, possibly do when it was my time.
You're an absolute legend, dude.
Yeah.
That was an awesome answer, by the way. I want to, you know, that was a real.
Thanks.
You do a lot of TV or no?
Not really.
Why, you hate them?
Really.
You hate them? They talk shit on you?
No.
Yeah. That's what that sounds like.
No, I think I don't know. You know, like I told you before, I'm kind of just decompressing. I think now I'm getting my funk back. I'm getting my flow back, and I don't know what the next chapters will be for me. I think there'll be a lot of opportunities and options for me. So I just got to weigh them out and really, you know, I got to look. I just met Sir Charles Barkley the other day in the airport, and we exchanged numbers and everything. And the first question he asked was like, "Hey, do you play golf?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I suck." You know what I'm saying?
We all
I play
do.
a little bit, but I suck.
We all do, man. I'm happy you got your funk back, dude. The sport is better. Okay, we'll be better for it. I love seeing ex-players, because you're not the only one that leaves the game, because most NFL guys, let alone Mount Rushmore guys, most NFL guys, whenever they leave the game, it's the first time where it wasn't their decision. It's the first time ever that maybe somebody said no more. It's the first time ever you're away from the game and everything. So a lot of guys go through that. I'm fucking pumped you're out of it. Hey, I'm pumped you're out of it, dude. This is good news for everybody. You deserve to be celebrated, though, too, for all your fucking work. Listen, I don't want to say this too much to you. Massive fan. I mean, you ran right fucking by me on the ESPYs and on Thursday Night Football, but massive fan of your work, man, because the amount of hard work that had to go into that. Everybody just sees the Darth Vader of fantasy football. Everybody just sees, oh, they're not going to throw the ball this way. But if you're off one of those plays where there isn't a plan, somebody's going to try to get something on Darrelle Revis, quarterback, wide receiver. So you just having to live up to your own hype every single week, the amount of work and stress. I'm happy you're going to be able to be celebrated, pal. Very happy for you, man. The boys have a couple questions for you. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead, Ty.
Darrelle, you mentioned kind of seeing the game change to a more offensive style during your career, and we see all these receivers come in now and it seems like have 1,000-yard seasons their rookie year. Do you think it's harder for cornerbacks to play now than it was maybe like 10 years ago?
I think it's more challenging. Yes, for a secondary to play the position in the sense of, there's always rule changes. The pass interferences. Even though, I think a little bit on my way out, I was deciding to retire. There was always questions about, the pass interference rules and how can we best play, receivers across the board. So it's very tough. They're very strict with certain things when it comes to the pass interference rule. But you're right. I mean, even of all of us on here, I think, of us being fans of the sport, I think, we watch Barry Sanders carry the ball, 30, 40 times a game. You've seen Jerome Bettis, carry the ball 30, 40 times a game. And the 10-year gap of that, of being now a passing league and guys, I tell you what, every team needs depth in their secondary. I mean, you need
6 to 7. They're saying.
Yeah, you need a lot of depth. I remember even playing, for the Jets and under Rex Ryan, and we stacked our secondary. We had at least about 13, 14 guys within our corners and safeties within our DB room because, and some of those guys played their role. They played special teams as well. But we had packages on defense where we might have 6 or 7 DBs actually on the football field. So this would give us a lot of ability to be able to blitz from either side of the field. We can disguise a lot of things on defense and just really go from there because we looked at it as, hey, we got guys that can lock down across the board, even our nickel back, even our dime back. We got guys that can lock up. We had Jim Leonard, who's obviously the defensive coordinator at the University of Wisconsin. So I hope he becomes a head coach very soon. We had guys like Jim Leonard who knew the defense in and out. We had great guys who just came with their hard hats on, and we were ready to lock up and play hard. And our front seven was really great. We had David Harris. We had some other guys, Calvin Pace. We had Bart Scott as well.
Yeah, once again, you're going to miss some guys, but you love everybody. You've said this before. Yeah.
So overall, man, we just looked at our defense and say we need at least we had about 14 guys in our DB room. So and it's in today's game, you need to stack your DB room because it's a passing league now. I mean, quarterbacks are throwing 60, 70 times a game. The stats are nuts. You see David Carr in Oakland. I mean, he's throwing for 400 or 500 yards. So I mean, you got to stack your DB room up.
Las Vegas, they're going to be pissed you said that. I mean, Las Vegas Raiders, they're going through a lot of shit right now. You saying they're in Oakland will be right at the top of the list. Last question here. We can't thank you enough for your time. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Darrelle, you mentioned you still have a lot of friends in the Jets building. Have they reached out to you to kind of mentor Sauce Gardner at all? Just because, they took him at number 4 overall, and he's kind of he's a bigger corner, but obviously there's no one better to mentor him than you.
Yeah, we spoke. I spoke to Sauce once he got settled. I think it was about a week later after he was drafted, 4th overall. So, yeah, we have each other's number. We just want to continue to, communicate as best we can. There's a lot of other DBs on the Jets in the Jets secondary who's reached out as well. So, for me, it's really just kind of. I think this is a new phase for me. It's a new role for me as well. As I'm trying to, figure out maybe my next chapter in life and things that I'm doing. But for the most part, yeah, we have I think the relationship is going to begin. It's going to start, and it's going to continue to build on the relationship.
You see this? Huh? I'm ready to. You see that?
I see.
Huh?
I see you.
Yeah? You see my bail technique, too. I mean, that's the fucking game. That's the game. How much of your game, how much did you focus on jam? Was that massive on every single piece? Was that the biggest part? Did you train boxing in any of that? Did you do anything for your training that we wouldn't expect?
Yeah, Pat. I've done a lot over my career. I've done a lot of kickboxing. I think that was probably the main thing, was really kickboxing and hand placement, as you're actually jamming guys. I tried to dabble in a little karate a little bit. But for the most part, I think kickboxing was kind of my main priority and my main gig, in that sense of just really trying to hand placement. And that was my strength. I think my weakness was playing off coverage, but the insanity of us trying to reach perfection is, I've worked on a lot of off man coverage as well, to where I can disguise in a lot of ways when I'm playing off. It's probably too late for you to figure it out. It's probably third or fourth quarter, and it's probably too late. The game's probably all over. I probably worn down your receiver so much by playing press coverage that it's too late to even figure out the tail. So, I think my strong point was playing press man coverage, and really just getting in the receiver's face and really just challenging him all the way throughout the game.
Did you talk? Did you talk at all, or were you super quiet on Revis Island out there?
I never really talked trash because you know why? I felt that it was too much energy to waste. It was too much at the time, and if someone started to jar with me or talk trash to me, then I would speak up and say whatever I had to say. But for the most part, I kind of just really focused on, my technique and really, I mean, these guys are really, they're not easy to cover. I mean, they're really not. I got to give them a lot of credit. I mean, we're backpedaling backwards sometimes, and they're running full speed at you.
16, 17, 18 miles an hour.
Yes,
You're backpedaling.
Yes.
Isn't that just hysterical? Yeah. And then, by the way, they can break off at any point, and you have to. Are your feet fucked?
Not really. Not really.
Anything?
You know what? Because
anything in the body?
my lower body malfunctions all the time. I tell you that.
It doesn't operate how it's supposed to.
You get Charlie horses and you get things like that every once in a while, but. You deal with that on the day-to-day sometimes. So, yeah.
Well, thank you for your contribution to the game. Thank you for coming on here. Can't wait to see more of you, hopefully, around. And you're the best, man. Enjoy your Tuesday.
Oh, thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the founder of Revis Island, Darrelle Revis. Thank you, buddy. Yeah! He was awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so he's going to have a lot of offers for TV. We have to be one of them. All right. We'll be back in about 4 minutes or so with Ian Rapoport, then Albert Breer, AJ Hawk, Dana White today.
Here we go.
Let's have a Tuesday. Be a friend, tell a friend. We're back and forth. Big thanks to Darrelle Revis, by the way. Thank you, man. See you then. That the Packers were going to try to get some weapons, and nobody has heard from you since Davante Adams got moved to the Las Vegas Raiders. When that move happens, obviously we know the connection and the relationship that you and Davante have. You've talked about it on this show ad nauseum and how much respect you have for him. Did that surprise you? Obviously you're not going to be able to replace a Davante Adams, but how has that conversation evolved with the Packers from you, and what do you think are going to be the steps going forward?
Well, we've had a lot of success with the second and third round receivers in Green Bay. You look at Greg Jennings and Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, James Jones in the third round, obviously Davante Adams in the second round. Those guys turned out pretty good. So I'm not sure. I think we're about to pick here in a second, but it was a little surprising with Davante. Obviously, when I made my decision, I was still thinking he was going to come back. I was very honest with him about my plans and my future and where I saw my career going as far as how many years I wanted to play. But I felt like he was going to be back. Didn't obviously turn out that way, but I have so much love for Tay and appreciate the time we spent together, and definitely wish him the best with Derek in Vegas. But that's a big hole to fill for sure.
Yeah, Devontae's an absolute stud. And thank you for talking about that, by the way. I think people are going to be intrigued to hear that. Whenever you said that it did surprise you a little bit, I saw Mad Mel Kiper shake his head. But it doesn't sound like you are that pissed off about it either. You understand business is business, and you have faith and trust in Goody and LaFleur and everybody over at Green Bay, much more now than maybe in the past?
Well, it is the business. It's a tough business. It's a wonderful profession. And those of us who've been blessed to play for so long realize that completely. And there's a lot of things that happen that surprise you, even still. And I thought that based on the number that we offered Devontae and, being able to play with me for a few more years would definitely make a difference. But in the end, I think he was ready to move on and wanted my help in making that happen. And it was a tough position to be in for sure, because I love him and I care about him and want him to be happy. And he's definitely going to be missed.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about. Yes,
speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back to that show. It is. There are 12 teams reporting for mandatory minicamp Tuesday, June 7th, 2022. Hour 2 begins right now. Yeah! Can't thank you enough for joining us. The Toxic Table's here at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. One half of the Hammer, Dahn Cowboys. Tone Diggs is here. The other half of the Hammer, Dahn Cowboys, has been banished to Canada. Yikes. More I learned about Canada, by the way.
Plus, I like it.
Plus, kind of blows.
Did you hear the lads didn't lace the boots for their...
That's what I'm saying. They're not paying their soccer team. Soccer team makes the World Cup for the first time in forever. By the way, probably stink as a soccer team, so the amount they were getting paid for a long time probably warranted and justified and everything like that. They make the World Cup. Trudeau and the boys at the government are like, same old, same old, same old, same old. You remember?
Changing.
No. In the Canadian soccer team said, all right, we're not playing our friendly tonight. We actually won't play. A holdout is happening between Canadians men's soccer team, which is going to the World Cup for the first time in forever, and the country of Canada currently.
Yeah, interesting. They don't care.
I also saw something on 60 Minutes the other day about Canada.
What about it?
What's that?
Well, then you hear some other stuff going on about Canada.
I heard
It's like, whoa, Canada. I thought you guys were supposed to be the fucking super nice, high and mighty ones.
Yeah,
they do
maybe
it.
tighten it up.
Maybe fucking be better.
I heard Powell got in the ears of a couple of lads on the soccer team and told them, hey, boys.
Well, it is crazy that as soon as
Maybe a
Gump
few
goes
more
back,
loonies
the
and
soccer
toonies.
team doesn't play anymore.
Guys are playing for peanuts.
Guys, a couple more loonies, huh? Go to the Sundowner in Niagara Falls. They get paid more than what you boys are getting paid up there. Anyways, we hope everything works out. Can't wait to get Gumpy back. We're not talking about the Canadian people, by the way. We're talking about the powers that be up there. Anyways, thank you to Darrelle Revis for joining us in the first hour. The founder of Revis Island is fantastic. He said he's got his funk back.
Yeah, here we go.
I like that. That's great news. That happens to a lot of ex-players. Speaking of ex-players, we have a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup champion, a private plane survivor. Ladies and gentlemen, COVID survivor AJ Hawk. AJ Revis, absolute dog on the field.
I actually got to see a little bit of that interview. Yeah, what an interesting dude, too. Like, I don't know him personally, but yeah, I have a ton of respect for him, for sure.
Yeah, he ran right by me and my teammates.
I think he did that to a lot of people.
He's very good.
Yeah, he had 5 touchdowns in his high school state championship right down there at Heinz Field.
Yeah.
5 of them. I
mean, that's a good. I'd say it's a good day to choose to score 5 touchdowns.
I don't think it was abnormal. That was probably
average.
Yeah, that was probably happening on a regular basis. Just a great athlete. Joining us, the complete opposite of that. A man who is an insider about the athletes. AJ, your haircut looks even better today.
That's so rude. That's so rude.
golfer, senior NFL insider for the league and NFL.com. Ladies and gentlemen, host a weekly wrap up with Rap Sheet and Friends. Us being the friends, he being Rap Sheet, Ian Rapoport. Kind of got some ricochet shots and a burial there, but the sentence sounded great, so there ain't nothing you could do about it. You do not look that athletic. I might be wrong, though.
You would be wrong. I got great hands, nice soft hands, good for chipping, good for catching a baseball and throwing.
AJ and I were about to ask. I literally saw it come. Can you throw a ball and catch a ball? Can you throw a football and catch a football?
I certainly can. I played 3 sports in high school. Whoa. Thank you very much.
Slow down. Which 3?
Tried to play baseball at Columbia. Was not good enough. Ended up as a lightweight rower for 4 years. It was also not very good, but I did play. So that's my resume.
It's a sport you can't. Can you throw and catch?
Oh, I can throw and catch. I got some game.
Okay, all right. Hey, listen, athlete Ian Rapoport.
Yeah. Shoot, basketball.
I can't kick a lot of things though.
Well, everybody sucks at kicking, and then everybody says kicking's so easy. It's like, all right, okay. Well, if it's so easy, then why do you suck at it? You can throw one, you can't kick.
Very fair.
Nonetheless, let's move on. Ian, this Aaron Donald deal, was it negotiated at Sean McVay's wedding? And what are the actual numbers for this? And tell us why the salary cap should be thought about at all with any decision that's made in the NFL at this point.
All right, let's start out with when this deal was done, because I thought that we were talking about me maybe coming on yesterday around 2:30 Eastern time. I was very happy about that because I thought that he was going to come in and sign around like 2:45 so we'd get it mid-show. Oh. And then it ended up being like 4:30 because he wanted to catch a workout.
He
so,
dropped off anyways.
But anyway, it would.
I gotta go.
Yeah,
I would have dropped off.
Sorry, I got to put a tweet out.
Yeah.
No, then I would have come back.
Well, we might have.
I'd say this was basically mostly done probably by Thursday or Friday. There was some things they were trying to figure out the last year, like what happens if he retires? How do you deal with the salary cap? How can you make it make sense for the Rams in the last year? So it wasn't totally done, but I would say by Thursday or Friday, I probably had a good sense this was happening. So when knowing that, and they go to the wedding, all I can think about, just selfishly, of course, is I hope it doesn't get out at the wedding, because then I wouldn't get to break it, and that would be very sad.
What a scumbag.
But, it didn't, so that was the win there. And then as far as the salary cap goes...
It's fake. Say it.
It's not fake.
Yeah, it is.
But
it's
what
fake.
Teams like the Rams have done is they keep pushing it into the future. And it's... Eventually, they're going to have to pay.
Is it? Will they? No, we don't know. Tell it. Show me a blueprint of when it happened.
Year?
Everyone keeps telling me the same thing about the Saints, too. Now, I will say this about the Rams. To do what the Rams have done, which is to pay top dollar for your very, very best players, which is Matthew Stafford, which is Aaron Donald, Cooper Kupp probably going to get a huge extension.
Jalen.
Joe Noteboom's making $12 million. You have to hit on rookies and late-round draft picks, and they have crushed it. So they make it work by drafting late-round players fantastically. Not all teams do that. That's how they win.
Ian, was there ever a doubt that Aaron Donald would retire and the Rams wouldn't come to the table and give him what he wanted?
Yes. And I feel like there was some thought yesterday of people being like, well, he was never going to retire. Like, there were definitely moments covering this like pretty closely. I thought he was going to retire. There were definitely moments because he is a different dude. And like we've said before, like he has literally accomplished everything. So at 31, if he were to say, I'm good, like he wanted to be paid top dollar, wanted a raise. If the Rams weren't going to do it, like I think he would have been okay retiring. And I think that was real. It didn't come to that, but I do think that was real.
That's awesome. That's great leverage to have. Hey, I'm really comfortable. People call me the greatest football player on earth. Cool. I'm a Super Bowl champion. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot of money. Cool. I believe he's married to an agent or something like that. I think they are going to continue to have great success off the field. Cool. I'm good. You want me to come continue fight against 2 to 3 men every single Sunday for you? I'm going to need top dollar. And they were able to make it work. Why was he potentially going to retire? Because they didn't think they were going to be able to work it into the fake salary cap? Go on.
No, because I think it took a while to this contract was really unprecedented. Like we'll talk about like new money and extensions based on how many dollars are in the future and what's guaranteed. This was no New Year's. So you literally cannot calculate the
It
new
was,
dollars.
though. Didn't they just put voided years on the end?
Yeah, those are fake. Those don't count. Those are just salary
Just
cap
like the
fake.
salary
Which is
cap.
what we
Yep.
What are they? Go ahead, say what you just said. Say they're
They're
fake.
fake years for the salary cap. They count against the cap, but they're not actual money years.
No.
It's like, remember when Taysom Hill got that huge contract and everybody lost their mind?
Yes,
That
we
was
do.
all
4 years, 160 million or something like that.
Yeah, those were voidable fake years.
By the
Just
way,
like
that was
last-
back when you were reporting those numbers as the actual numbers. You remember
No,
that? Yeah, then the Aaron Rodgers
not-
deal
Yeah.
came, and it was like, no, here's the actual deal. This is
Well-
what we're actually talking about.
This one is easy to figure out because there are no new years. It is just a raise. It's and
He had
nobody
5
lost their
years
mind.
left. Aaron Donald had 5 years left on his deal,
He had 3 years left. It's a 3-year deal.
but there's 3 years of voided money on the back end with a 2-year deal of guarantees.
There's 2 years of voided money on the back end, which don't count. So basically what this deal is, it's 2 years for 65. God, what a great tweet that is. 2 years.
lot of words. Lot of
Hey.
words. You know you're allowed to hit enter in that and start a new paragraph.
Yeah, you and Pelissero both big on the paragraph breaks.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's just word salad. Look at that thing.
It
You
is a
think
lot
so,
of-
huh?
It is a lot of words. Now, I would say
Todd
not to-
France got his love, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Todd France in there, you know what I mean?
Shout out.
Hey, shout out Todd France. En
Nice
français
deal,
to Todd. Absolutely getting the deals done. But it's all fake. Ian, we know it, you know it. Anyways, Ty, your question for Ian.
Yeah, rap sheet. I don't
Who
know if
refuses to say the truth? It's all fake. You know it. We know it. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, it's all fugazi. Rap sheet. I don't know if you have any more information than we do with this, but like the Deshaun Watson situation, is that still kind of just like book closed on it, or now that there are new accusations, like does that kind of just unwrap this whole thing again?
Yeah, I don't think it's book closed. The way the NFL was viewing it was their investigation was coming to a close. Usually Deshaun Watson is the last, usually the subject is the last person to get interviewed. So that happened, it was either 2 or 3 weeks ago in Houston for several days. The NFL then, obviously we have the 2 new lawsuits, 23 and 24. The NFL has remained in contact with him because what they do is they basically cross-check the information they have. But the investigation wasn't closed. So, the NFL has looked into every lawsuit. They've looked into every allegation. They have talked to Deshaun Watson about every allegation and every question they have for him. So that is continuing now. So I don't believe it's over, and I don't believe any decision has been made. But, this is why there's no rush to do anything until you really have to, in case something like this comes out and is new, is important. Open your eyes to something in case you have to discuss it.
Voided contract potential here from the Cleveland Browns and Deshaun Watson with his 24th allegation, I guess, was how it would be described.
I have not heard any discussion of a voided contract at all. Have not heard that as part of the discussion.
Connor, go ahead, pal.
Yeah, rap sheet. Deebo Samuel's reporting to minicamp. So can you confirm that for 6 weeks we talked about a story that was absolutely nothing? And when do you think we can expect a deal to get done between the Niners and him?
I think the best case for the 49ers is that we all wasted a lot of time. But let me just add, for those people who may be listening to me right now who do operate a daily, internet and radio show,
Stewards of the
Deebo
game.
Samuel was a pretty good dude for about 6 weeks.
Deebo Samuel was great for conversation fodder.
Yeah.
But did Tory Dondi ever think a deal was going to get done here, or is this just a timing thing?
I'd still like to see what ends up happening here, right? They've been very clear about not wanting to trade him, and I believe that because rarely would you have a GM say, I would be dumb to trade him, I'm not trading him, and then actually do it, right? You have people talk around things, but that was pretty clear. The 49ers have done a couple things. I know they've been talking to him the last couple of days, trying to get him to come in. So he comes into minicamp. He does not get fined $100,000, which is good because people don't like to get fined.
Is there voids that come with the missing of the mandatory minicamp, or just the $95,000 in fines? I saw that.
I believe due to failure to practice clause, the guaranteed money would be voided too.
Yeah, so everybody keeps saying it's $95,000, but it's much more than that, right? It's much, much more than
Right.
that for most contracts.
Right, but for him, they're not going to cut him, so it doesn't matter. But yes, it does. For a lot of people, it would change some things. But so what the 49ers, I think, have done is try to say to him, we are not going to use you as a running back. They drafted a running back in the 3rd round. They have a couple good players, running backs coming back from last year. I think they'd like to use him on the gadget plays, but not give it to him between the tackles 15 times. That is something that actually speaks maybe louder than a new contract.
So what exactly does he want more? Does he want to be paid as a receiver, or does he want less carries and not to play running back?
Both. Wants to be paid as a receiver, and he doesn't, because like this contract is great, but he doesn't want it to be his only contract. I mean, we see what happens to running backs. Like, they get beat up. And he doesn't. It's actually like really forward thinking and smart. Like, it really is.
I agree. I concur completely. But if they would pay for him to be a top wide receiver and then sprinkle a little running back juice on there as well, I think all would be made well. Do you see a deal getting done here or no?
I think it is.
That's a no.
Yep.
They got a lot of work to do to get a deal. I think it is possible, but it's not one of those where I would say, it's going to get done. Just wait 2 or 3. I'm not. This is it's a really, really hard one.
Who's in that world? Tyler?
I think, yeah. I mean, quarterback contracts generally get done, and they've been very clear about it, including on your show, I believe, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep. So that is one, I think. And there's, a couple other really good players that, like, we talked about it, like Cooper Kupp probably eventually gets a deal.
Metcalf.
There's a couple other really good ones.
Quentin Nelson, DK Metcalf.
Terry McLaurin.
Terry McLaurin's talking.
Jimmy G.
Jimmy G. Well, who knows?
Whoa.
He was he was
I don't
excused
think-
from mandatory minicamp. Is that because
He was.
they're done with him? Is that it? Huh? Don't
No,
even
it's
want it
just
to be.
Get out.
We don't want anybody to even think
Yeah.
that this isn't Trey Lance's team. Is that what it is?
No, I think it's just that there's a couple reasons. One, I don't know how much he was going to do anyway. Like, he's still rehabbing from the
like
the
being
shoulder,
Hell in a
so
Cell.
like
All parties involved think it's best.
There's
There's not even a reason you should be here yet.
Yeah, because if
is
they don't
just
have
for-
doctors and trainers and physical therapists at the Niners, which it sounds like they don't, him getting his rehab for his shoulder elsewhere, probably the right move anyways, right?
well, I think he went his own route on the rehab, and I think he's seeing his own people. So, but to have him stand out there and then everyone ask him questions, like it's a weird situation. I know they'd still like to trade him. I know he'd still probably, I imagine, would like to be a starting quarterback somewhere and not have to fight for his job. It's just better to stay away until they figure this thing out.
Trey Lance is the guy, right? He 100% now. This is a clear sign of that.
I might be crazy, but I still think there is a chance. Let's say Garoppolo gets cleared, not in not in like 2 weeks, but in early August. What if he comes to camp and is the better quarterback in training camp? They have to start him. So I'm still keeping this open because if they can't trade him, he did lead them to the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
Right?
NFC Championship.
I remember watching.
Super Bowl. I mean, that motherfucker's been there.
Yeah.
So there's no crime in having a developing, really talented quarterback just wait a little bit longer.
But mandatory minicamp, you would think you would have the person back in the room. I mean, it's just...
It's not just... It's going to just stand there anyway.
Oh, so mandatory minicamp means nothing. Okay, so don't report about people missing any of this stuff then, please.
Well, you got to understand, we got nothing to do in...
there it is.
Of course, here we go. Journalism, go ahead, Tom.
Not so much a question, but more of a request. We have an idea in this offense that Broncos country, let's ride, was probably a Team 3 in a Russ baby.
Creation.
Can you find out if that was a Russ creation or a Broncos creation for us?
I will definitely find out. I've actually wondered the same. I've been...
You're such
I have a lot of questions.
Hey, you're an
And I thought
asshole, just like us. That's what it sounds like. That's what it means.
No, I meant it in the nice way.
So did we.
Yeah.
But just us even thinking that, like, oh, did Russ create that or did the Broncos create that? We're assholes immediately. And I don't
Does
like
he
it.
have any? Does he have any contacts inside Team 3?
I have contacts in multiple places.
Wow.
I think I can figure this out.
penetrated
I was on the same page with you guys though when it came to the social media post. They do such a good job in Denver, and I was like, oh no.
Oh yeah, they won a Webby. That matters. I forgot about that.
That's right.
They do. They do great work over there, and a lot of the social media teams do great work. But also, let's look out for the players a little bit. Let's try not to make the players look terrible. How about your the NFL, the actual NFL social media at the rookie NFL thing? that these guys are forced to go to, probably don't get paid at all, but they're doing whatever they can for the NFL. And then somebody says, hey, I'm with the NFL's Instagram here. I'm going to take a photo of you. And then they do a video instead. And then they put on top of it, I just wanted to see how long they'd stand there. Fucking forever. You're the NFL. That's what they would do. Maybe you can kind of run that up the totem pole as well. That'd be great.
I'll talk to my people. That seems like a funny internet gag.
Of course. With the players. What about the players, though?
I'll tell them to be funnier, if that helps.
No, they're great. Everybody does great work, but there are definitely misses where it seems like they're just saying, oh, fuck the players. We're just making a piece of content. The players are the content. Let's remember that, okay? You don't have to bury people to have good content. I believe that is something we approved, except for when this guy comes on and fucking lies to us.
Yeah.
Me? Or are you talking to someone to your left?
Well, actually, these guys. Sorry about it. Anyways, there you go. You're the best, man. We appreciate the hell out of you. Great seeing you again.
Great seeing you. I'm going to get back to work today.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We see that putter right behind you, just waiting to knock in some.
I have actually been practicing putting a lot, and it has helped literally zero.
I'm learning that as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rapoport. Thank you, Rap Sheet. And we're going right into Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated now. So, this is a real show. This is a real show we're doing. Try to get out there. I love talking to Ian because he tries not to give away what he knows in some of his answers, but he can't help himself. You know what I mean, AJ?
Yeah, and he obviously feels very good about breaking news via Twitter, so he wants to make sure he doesn't break anything on here.
By the way, make sure you follow him at
Rap
Sheet Comedy.
Yeah. Yes. And him saying that about Jimmy G makes me think like, oh, okay, so the Niners aren't completely sold on Trey Lance, if that's what they're thinking still?
No,
he's wrong.
He's wrong. He would be at the mandatory minicamp if there was any thought of him playing for them this year. I don't know. Joining us now, the author of the Monday Morning Quarterback of Sports Illustrated, an absolute stud, formerly of the Boston Globe.
Whoa.
Did not know that. Ladies and gentlemen, Albert Breer.
Yeah!
What's up, man?
Hey, guys, what's up?
Are you a masshole? I didn't know that.
I am, yeah. I am. I'm also a Buckeye. AJ knows that. I got a member of his recruiting class on my wall behind me, actually.
Who's that?
It's Mo Claret.
Oh, I fucking
it,
love
AJ, right?
Maurice Claret. Love that guy.
Freshman year right there for him.
National title, right?
Yeah.
Congrats.
You recognize that picture.
Congrats to you guys. Good job, AJ. Anyways, you're a masshole and an Ohioan. I couldn't even fathom what this conversation is going to look like. This might be the most toxic thing of all time. I can't wait to dive into it. Albert, we were just chatting there, with Ian. And Ian comes on our show a lot. We're very thankful for it. And he's an insider. That's his job. Boom. He's trying to get news, trying to break news. He's got 2 phones. He never stops. He likes Pez dispensers and Harry Potter. But most importantly, he likes a good scoop. Okay, that's what Ian Rapoport's into. For you, are you doing the same game? You just wait like an entire week for that Monday Morning Quarterback? How does your whole thing go?
It's a little different. I mean, I would say it's a little bit more, I would say depth, like with what I do. So for example, like the Russell Wilson trade, Ian's like fighting like hell to get the scoop there and to be the first one to put it out that he's going to the Broncos. I am like basically working the whole time on background to make sure I can tell everybody exactly how it happened.
Okay.
And I have to be ready for it to happen ahead of time. That's where me and Ian's jobs are alike. I have to be ready for it to happen ahead of time so I can sound informed when I'm talking about it before it happens. So I'd say like our jobs are, me and Ian used to work together too. So
you hate him? You hate Ian? You hate Ian?
The short guy? How can you hate the short guy?
Oh my God. Okay, everybody seems like Ian. I didn't know he was that short, though. Noticeably short, huh?
Oh, yeah. Like, you guys didn't know this?
Oh, yeah. No, they treat him a little differently on NFL Network than they do others.
They do. Super Bowl,
he's sitting in the chair.
One of the times when he and I did TV together, this isn't even a lie. He had to stand on a box.
Oh,
I'm not kidding.
That's just because you're so tall, Albert. Ian's our guy.
I'm average height. I'm not that tall.
Oh, even more. That's Masshole, Ohio. And AJ, your question?
Albert, what are you working on right now to explain to us what may happen, like the next big breaking story? Do you know what's going on with Baker? Do you know what's going on possibly with Deshaun Watson? Like, what's happening out there?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Deshaun thing sort of it's dominating a lot of the conversation, I would say, that I'm having. And I think no one really knows what the number of games is going to be. And I think what happened over the course of the last week that's interesting, like the 24th case, the 24th case wasn't as expected, I think, is the 23rd. And I think that there's an important nuance in the way these things have happened in that I think there was an expectation from the league, from the Browns, that the 23rd lawsuit could come. I think this latest one is at least a little bit of a surprise to the league. I'm not sure that Deshaun told the Browns, and I think there's going to be some questions about, how upfront Deshaun was. And I don't know whether he was completely upfront or he hid the fact that this incident happened at all. But I think that that's a pretty big thing. And then, I think Kyler's contract, Lamar's contract, those are big ones to follow. I don't think Russell Wilson gets done till next year. And then I think, of course, like Deebo Samuel, Nick Bosa, like some of the things going on in San Francisco. And, of course, with Baker, too, the quarterback trade market should be interesting, I'd say, once we get past the offseason program.
So are you just on the phones all day? And are people giving you thoughts on other situations from what they've heard? Or how do you get these relationships with people to be like, yeah, Albert Breer was going to be the guy that we get into, because that's all this game is, right? The relationship game is the game, right, at this point?
I would say, I build the relationships the same way I build my personal relationships. And that means, being in Indianapolis up till 4 a.m. sometimes. It means traveling around from camp to camp, like in the summer. It means being at owners' meetings. It just means you're building relationships the same way you would build relationships and having running conversations with people the same way you would have running conversations with people in your personal life. And, I'll put it this way to you. I said this to a couple of college kids yesterday. If you go to somebody you haven't talked to in 2 years and ask them for something, even if you know them, they're probably not going to give you anything, right? They're probably going to be like, why is this guy hitting me up now?
I'd say.
But if you've had a running conversation with somebody or you've already established that relationship, then they're going to be more willing to help you in those sorts of situations. So that's the way I've always done it. I build the relationships the same way I would build relationships in my personal life. And a lot of times, hey, who are the guys you trust most from high school and college? They're the guys who saw you face down in a ditch, right? So sometimes that sort of thing can play into it too.
Oh, respect. Okay, I've seen, what we know.
Mm-hmm.
Kendall Roy.
That's right.
Bingo. Logan Roy, L to the OG, has seen Kendall.
Yeah.
Oh, I got into Succession, Albert. I know you don't have enough time covering the NFL. Whoa. What a show. So many references.
Guy I went to high school with is one of the stars of Succession, Jeremy Strong.
That's Kendall.
That's Kendall, yeah.
You went to high school with that guy?
He's a mascot?
Yep. Him and Chris Evans, him and Captain America.
What high school did you go to?
One was a year. So, Jeremy's a year older than me, and Chris Evans is a year younger than me.
Hey, they're saying the same thing, by the way, that you're saying right now. They're saying, hey, Albert Breer. Chris Evans.
I wish. I'll trade
school?
Paychecks with them.
Hey, what's the high school?
Lincoln Sudbury, outside of Boston. It's a public high school, too. It's not a private high school.
Oh, respect, because who was on here that had cookies at 9 a.m.?
That would be Vanderfield Yates.
Vanderfield Yates. He was up in there. That was an interesting...
Belmont Hill.
It made sense, but it was certainly I didn't know people actually were doing that. We were fighting for Mexican pizzas on Wednesdays.
Hell yeah.
50 cents extra stuff on it. Absolutely, dude. So Peter King, did I get this right? Peter King left Monday Morning Quarterback, handed it to you. You were chosen by him, by Sports Illustrated, and then now he's your number one competition. You two are basically doing the same thing every single week. Now, you're both so talented, so I think you probably share the demo. I would assume the demo is the exact same, reading both. I'm not 100% sure. You probably have some Breer maniacs, and he's probably got some PK
fanatics,
sure. People or whatever that are going there. But we all read both of them. Do you two communicate with each other? How's the friendship with you guys? And how did that whole transition go?
I don't know. Well, wait a minute. I don't know if it's like this for you guys, but I think the people who hate you follow you closer than the people who like you. That's the way it is for you guys too, right?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah. That's the only reason why this thing has success.
Yeah, they're all over. The people who hate me seem to know everything that I've ever said or written or anything else. Yeah, Peter. So Peter actually hired me. Peter was the one who recruited me from NFL Network in 2016 and wound up hiring me. And he and I had talked about the idea of his contract being up in 2 years and what he handed off to me. And it wasn't promised at the time, but it was sort of understood that if I did a good job that I'd be in position for that. And what I didn't know is that I would be in direct competition with him, which has been interesting. But I'm great friends with Peter. He's been awesome to me, and he's been awesome to so many young people in our business. And I would say, like, I am so much better for, like, having to compete with him every week. Like, I have to be on my toes every single week because I know he's going to have something good. And, like, it's like anything else. Like, competition always makes you better.
Hey, what venue do you get the most information? Like Combine, Pro Days, Senior Bowl? Where do you think you can get the most work done in your field of work?
I would say Combine's good because Combine, you just have more casual conversations with people. And, like so much business gets done there. Like, I don't know people. I mean, I'm sure you guys know this, but like, I don't know how much the general public knows that such a small percentage of like what's happening at the Combine is actually like guys running 40s and doing the vertical jump and all of that different stuff. Like, there's a ton of stuff to set up the NFL offseason that goes on there. And, it's also the place where you're going to have off-record conversations with people that'll help you sort of understand the way things are going to go in the weeks to come. So Combine's good just because it's the one event where everybody's in one place. Like owners' meetings, it's like even the big owners' meeting that's only head coaches and general managers. The Combine's the one where every assistant coach is there, every scout's there, and you're going to have conversations with these guys at 10 in the morning. You're going to have conversations with these guys at 1 in the morning. And so, like, you're able to kind of, I guess, like, sort of build an understanding for where the league is going. And that's also, like, where you build your relationship. So when you're texting with somebody 2 weeks later, they know who you are. You know what I mean? Like, and it takes years and years and years to get people to trust you. And the Combine's like one of the places where that trust is built.
Well, we're happy it happens in this city here.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, shout out Indianapolis.
Hey, keep it in Indy. I'm all for it. I'm 100% behind you guys on that. Screw Dallas. Screw LA. Keep it in Indianapolis.
Hell yeah. Hey, say it louder for the people.
Yeah.
Why don't you write that
Screw
in?
LA. Screw Dallas. Keep it in Indy.
Okay. Well, I just need you to get to the
Monday morning.
Don't forget to remind folks every Monday if you have to.
Please.
Maybe second Monday of each month. You do what you got to do and remind
I
them.
heard Indy's stepping up, too. They're going to close South Street for the Combine. I heard.
Yeah, we heard that. We looked at that. South Street's not the right one. I think Georgia Street's the right street to shut down.
So wait, which one's the street that they had the was it like the where you could do like the whatever that thing is where you fly like you fly
line?
the zip line.
Yeah,
They had the giant zip line during Super Bowl week. What was that? What street was that?
So there was a bunch of, it was like Illinois, Georgia, and South. Everything was shut down for the Super Bowl. Basically, that entire block was shut down that everybody walks from. But Georgia Street's the one that has that incredible statue of the guy of the legs.
That's right, John Wood.
The legs, and then it goes right to the convention center, and there's bars on there. Like, that's the one I think that is. But South Street, they're going to make awesome. Hey, they'll make it awesome.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
It'll be great. They want fans to go to that thing? Is that what they're looking for, you think?
That's what they're looking to do, yeah. I mean, like, the whole thing is about getting better fan engagement and turning it into more of an event, which is like everything. It's like the same thing as the draft. That's the idea, is to make it more of a fan event. And that's why they've been fighting to put more fans in the stands, because they want people to travel in from other places. And the other way you get people to travel in from other places is to put more events around the actual event. So,
how are you going to have those conversations, though, Albert? Sorry to cut you off. If these fans start coming out to these steakhouses where all this work gets done, these coaches and GMs might not feel as comfortable.
Well, that's why I get so pissed off, AJ. When people,
you know
what? That's why I get so pissed off when people like write about where these things are happening. Because when people write about these things that are happening, right? Like, it's like, oh, I saw so and so and so and so and so and so at Steakhouse X. Like, then those guys are going to stop going there. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, Schrags had a meeting at 7:05 p.m. with a GM at Tony's new steak place down here. He told us that on the air, and then he did follow up with a text like, shouldn't have said exactly where I was.
Probably not.
I guess there's people that are showing up out here. It's like, yeah, that's
just I mean, that's the key. Do not say where these people are going, because they will stop going there if you make it public, especially if you've got every Tom, Dick, and Harry from across the Midwest driving into Indy.
I haven't heard that in a long time. Go ahead, Ty.
Albert, you mentioned your relationship with Peter King. Do you have to communicate with him about what you guys are writing about, especially if you worked under him? I'm assuming you have similar sources or some people that you are mutual acquaintances. Like, do you ever worry about, like, oh, shit, we're going to end up writing the same stuff on Monday?
No, because, I mean, like, we're sort of in direct competition with each other, and there's going to be times when it's, like, inevitable that that's going to happen. Like, when something big happens in the league, whether it's a trade or, even like during the season, like, something wild happens in a game at 4:00, like I know it's my job to do it better than he's doing it that day. That's all, and we'll talk on the back end, about stuff, because I have a full understanding now of like how hard it is to do what he's done. And I'm still astounded that he's still doing it into his 60s. Like the ability to stay up all night on Sunday nights during the season and to have the stamina to do that, like for 25 years is freaking incredible. So we don't it's not like we plan anything out. But like on the back end, like if he has something good, I'll shoot him a text and say good job on this. And same thing if I do something that he likes. So I would say it's like more just acknowledging when somebody else did a good job on the back end, which I think it's a healthy competition, because I want to rip his face off when we're in it, and he wants to rip my face off when we're in it. But we've been able to maintain a good relationship, regardless of all that.
Well, you trying to rip his face off, then you read it and you say, "Hey, PK, still got the fastball."
That sounds weird hearing that from a reporter too, doesn't it?
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah, because you guys are doing this.
I mean, I'm not actually ripping anybody's face off.
We know. Yeah, this is a problem with society today, though. A lot of people saying stuff and then it not being the same as what they meant. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hopefully I don't get canceled for that comment.
No, well, PK might show up and try to rip your actual face off. Then what are you going to do? You're just going to sit there and have to take it.
He's got old man strength.
So you're up all night, huh? On Sunday, you're not sleeping. That's a terrible night for you. Like, is it in the off season? When do you have that thing done?
No, during the season. No, I mean, in the off season it's not like that. But during the season, that's sort of inevitable, because like that column, like it's 8, 9, 10,000 words, and I really go into Sunday without a lot of it done, because all anybody wants to hear about on Monday morning is what's happened in the games. And so I've got to sort of adjust as I go and lean on my connections as I go. And so, you get out of the 1:00 games and you think this is the big story, and it's like, okay, I'll start working on this. And then something crazier happens at 4:00, or something really wild happens at 8:00, and you got to adjust. And so that's why, pretty much every week you wind up staying up till 4 or 5 in the morning. And that's challenging, especially when you got young kids. But I've sort of taught myself to go on 2 or 3 hours sleep on Monday, and then
catch up.
Just kind of get myself through the day, get myself through the Monday night game. And then when I wake up Tuesday morning, I'm sort of reset.
All the way back. I think I learned on Home Improvement, you can't make up for sleep lost the day before.
No,
Can't make it. There's no such thing as a makeup. You might be more tired, but you ain't going back to a hundo, even though your whoop says it.
No, you aren't. I mean, I go I'll try. I'll go for a run to try to get the blood flowing, but nothing really. I mean, that might work for an hour. And then you sit down and it's I'm still
exhausted,
dog ass tired.
Yeah,
so
8 to 9,000 words. You said, how many scrolls is that? Who's reading that too? Is
too many scrolls? Well, you know what I try to do though. I know not as many people are reading the whole thing.
Okay, so you do know? Do you know that though? That people are taking?
No, I know that. Yeah, and I try to give everybody something. Especially during the season, I'm trying to hit every game. I'm trying to have something on every game in there that's unique and different. And I know, and we know this from the numbers, and this goes back to when Peter was there and they studied the analytics on how his column was consumed. A lot of the times it's people will scroll down, they just want the notes, if the lead isn't about their team. But the idea is to kind of give an overarching view of the league and a 30,000-foot view of the league, whether it's in season or out of season. And so,
yeah, you're a national local writer.
Huh?
You're a national local writer. You have to write about every fucking team in a local fashion.
A little bit, yeah. You got to just understand what people care about, too. I'd say that's the biggest thing. I'm trying to, this week I did so sometimes, the stuff gets served up to you, and it's all right, this is the biggest story of the week. I mentioned the Russell Wilson trade. That was obvious. That week, that's what that was going to be. Coming out of the draft, I picked the Eagles as I thought the most interesting team. I led with the Eagles. There are other weeks where you just got to kind of think of something what's going to interest everybody. So this week I did Carson Wentz. That was sort of more, I think this is sort of an interesting story because this is a guy who was a high draft pick, has 3 fan bases that would have interest in this, and it's a quarterback, So you sort of have to, I guess, with the big parts of it, what's the highest percentage of people going to care about? And then after that, yeah, you have to kind of have an idea of what like each fan base might want to read about, and you want to try to engage every one of them at least every few weeks, because you don't want to like I don't want to like lose Jacksonville. You know what I mean? Because I didn't say something about them 4 weeks in a row. So that's sort of the way that you look at it, or try to look at it.
They were dressing up like clowns going to the games. Now, they beat that quarterback that you're talking about and knocked the Colts out of the playoffs. Sounds like Ron Rivera loves Carson Wentz. Follow up. Thank you for putting us in that. You know, our Let's Ride video was in there. That's why I
that was fantastic, by the way.
Thank you. We appreciate that. That's what we do over here. Art. You know what I mean? We do real art.
I think I put you guys in there a few times. I always check the feed when I'm doing that, like the best of the internet section.
Well, we appreciate that, man. Nice. Thank you so much. Go ahead, AJ.
Albert, what's like your go-to or your fallback team or group of players you can write about if you don't have anything that you know people, hey, this is always going to be good?
The Cowboys, yeah. Like the Cowboys, I would say definitely
101.
They're the ones that move the needle.
Is that all because
like
of Jerry?
Everybody,
Why is
I mean, like everybody bitches about it, right? Like everybody bitches about it. Like, why are you hammering the Cowboys? And then you know what happens? They turn on the TV. They click on the story. They click on the thing on social media that says Cowboys on it. Like it is.
Humans are the worst.
It's true. It's true.
We do it. I mean, we were actually told, hey, you talk talk Cowboys, this. That's what we were told by somebody one time. It was like, well, we're not going to do that. And then when you talk about Cowboys, you look at the numbers. It's like, well, there's a reason that there's a formula. The Cowboys do numbers. And it's we go back to the beginning. You said the people that hate you the most seem to watch the most stuff. It feels like that is the Cowboys almost MO at this point.
Yeah, like they're clicking on the story so they can bitch in the back end about you having done the story.
How are the comments? You read the comments?
Oh, I haven't read comment. Now on Twitter, it's hard to avoid it. So I will admit that sometimes I'll scroll through the comments on Twitter. Off a story, like I don't think I've read the comments in like 15 years.
Smart.
Like I stopped doing that a long time
Smart.
ago.
You're a veteran in the game. PK gave you the game. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Al, a lot of people out of New England are saying Patricia's the OC. Is that just something that is going to start that way, and then Judge will probably take the reins 1 week, or what are you hearing?
What's so interesting about this is like that. I think a lot of it is based on Bill wanting to create continuity back into the building. They've lost so many people the last 5 or 6 years. And so, for example, Elliot Wolf is their number 2 in personnel, right? Yep. And he got 2 GM interviews this offseason. He's been the number 2 in 3 different places. And yet, the scout Matt Groh becomes the replacement for Dave Ziegler. And the same thing sort of happened on offense, where I think the reason why Bill didn't go for the obvious choice here and Bill O'Brien was that he was afraid if he brought Bill O'Brien back from Alabama, he would lose him in a year. Like if Bill O'Brien knocked it out of the park with Mac, then all right, now we're going to lose him and we're going to be right back to square one. Is that the right way to do hiring? I would argue maybe not, but they are rebuilding the offense behind Matt Patricia, who's working with the offensive line and is the de facto for now run game coordinator, and Joe Judge, who's coaching the quarterbacks and is the de facto pass game coordinator. And I think those guys are being forthright when they say a decision really hasn't been made on who's going to be the play caller. I wouldn't rule out Bill being the play caller either if he doesn't think that things are where they need to be in August.
I would love that meeting. Bring in Joe and Matt, sit them down. I was hoping one of you would pull away from the other person, but you both fucking stink just like you do. I'm calling plays.
Or they could do Thunderdome in training camp if it's close.
We like good Thunderdome conversation. How many camps will you travel to, Albert?
Last year, I think I did 25, something like that.
Bus? You on a bus? RV? What are you doing?
I do. I like driving through the Midwest. Because there's obviously I went to school out there and everything else. So I'll usually fly into a Midwest city, either on the east side or the west side. So I may fly into Cleveland and then drive west, or fly into Minneapolis and drive east. And so I'll do a drive across the Midwest. I'll do LA because there are 3 teams there with the Cowboys there. And then generally I'll do something on the East Coast. So I drive as much as I actually like driving. I don't especially with the way airports are now. I would rather be able to control my schedule that way, where I can leave when I want to leave. And if somebody wants to meet with me later in the day, I can do that. I can accommodate them. Albert, so I actually like to drive as much of it as I can. But obviously,
what are airports like nowadays? What are airports like nowadays, Albert?
god awful.
Yep.
I haven't been in one.
I
in
mean,
a long time.
I paid $900 to fly to the owners' meetings in Atlanta from Boston a couple weeks ago. I mean, and the way that they're canceling flights now too. You guys been through this?
Yeah. So bad.
Yeah.
It is so bad. So we went on vacation in March, right? And they have every day they got 3 flights from Boston to Palm Beach. And so we buy the flights, whatever, a couple months ahead of time. Me and my wife and my 3 kids are flying down to Florida. And they canceled the other 2 flights and just put us on the 8 p.m., which you can't do with little kids, So now all of a sudden, this flight we booked 2 months in advance, you got to fly through New York to get to Palm. So it's just, all of this stuff is it's a disaster flying right
nowadays.
now.
Yeah,
Absolute disaster.
I thought you were mad about the mask potentially. I thought it was the mask.
No.
No, it's gone now, right?
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
It's done.
How was your travel?
I mean, it's over now. Yeah, you don't need to wear a mask anymore, so we're good.
Say it, Albert.
What?
You say it, not me. I'm not saying 3 words.
I said what?
You kind of just said it. Just say it outright. 3 words.
We don't have to wear a mask anymore?
That's a lot of words.
That's too many words. That wasn't 3.
What is that? I mean, 8,000 to 9,000 words. You think you understand how to count? 3 words. Right. What you were just kind of implying towards right there. We. Then the second word. If you don't lose, what do?
We're good now.
Okay.
I'm not honestly, through the whole thing, I was more of a whatever you tell me to do, I'll do it. I don't somebody asked me a couple weeks ago, am I still wearing them on planes? And I said no. And I'm but I don't really have a strong opinion either way. Whatever they tell me to do, I'll do.
Yeah. So what we wanted you to say was we beat COVID because it sounds like that's what you were.
What USA 1 COVID 0?
I think the world at this point we should view this as a world fight because now not every I guess country is all the way back and people will still pass away from this and that is a terrible thing. But that was a long fight. It was a long fight. It was, yeah. That was a long fight, and I feel like since we're on the other side of it, listen, I understand it's going to be around, and it did a lot of it was terrible. It was the worst thing that I've ever experienced. I don't know if anybody will ever be able to, for the rest of my life, I have no idea if anything will be able to be comparable to what COVID shut down the whole world. No sports, no live, nothing. The entire world. You talking about just in Indiana or Pittsburgh? No. The entire fucking globe had nothing to do. There was nothing.
Yeah, and here I am bitching about having to fly with a connection.
Well,
those are the worst.
On the other side of it, though, there's a lot of problems here. Supply chain, obviously working, and how everything goes. I mean, it has rattled the entire world, but it feels like.
Go ahead.
We're back.
Oh.
Yeah.
We all
will take it.
We will take it. But it feels like we beat COVID, so we should be celebrating.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And if I hear about new regulations and protocols, I'm like, what do they know that we don't know? Because if we're getting back into this, I'd like to know because I'd like to not die. That'd be something that'd be pretty cool. I'd like to continue to live, beat COVID throughout the last 2 years. Would like to continue to do so, but it's great to hear that you agree. We did beat COVID. Go ahead, Connor.
I actually already
no. Sorry. Tone Diggs. Go ahead, pal.
Yeah, Albert, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you did a kind of a piece on Colbert after his final draft, and then I've seen you do some stuff on Omar Khan. Do you think Deontay Johnson and Minkah Fitzpatrick both get contracts before the season, or do you think one of them maybe? How do you feel? What's your read on Omar Khan as the new GM?
I think Omar's going to be somebody who will delegate and understands the big picture. And he's been involved in every facet of the organization. He's been, working with the owner and at the ownership level on certain things. So I think he's got a really solid understanding of the way that everything works and a solid understanding that Mike Tomlin's got to be the guy out front, which is one of Kevin Colbert's biggest strengths. It's going to look different because Omar isn't a scout the way that, Kevin came up as a scout, but that's why they hired Andy Weidel. As far as Minkah and Deontay, I would be Deontay probably not, just because I think the receiver market has gone crazy. I think they're going to try with Minkah. It feels to me like Minka's maybe a little bit more realistic because the price of safeties is still in that 15-16 range where you have $1 million a year. If you're Deontay Johnson, is the smart move for you to take a little bit less to stay in Pittsburgh, or is it to try and have a great year and then take your chances in free agency next year. Like, my guess would be the equation for Deontay Johnson might be a little bit different than it is for Minka.
Albert, we appreciate you joining us, man. What do you think pops next? Contract news? Do you think a trade maybe? What's going on with Jimmy G, Baker, all that stuff? You think any of that happens anytime soon?
I think Deshaun's going to happen in July.
Okay, that's a punishment. That's a punishment happening in July.
I think the punishment happens in July because the discovery deadline is June 30th. That's the big one that the NFL is waiting for. Okay. I think the punishment happened. I think the sanctions come in July. And then I would say once we get past next week, you're going to hear more about Baker and you're going to hear more about Jimmy. The Browns have been willing to take on like a pretty big portion of Baker's salary. Like, my understanding is they're willing. They've already, offered to take on $9 or $10 million of his money. So the question is going to be, are they willing to go a little further than that? And then with Jimmy, it's just about getting him to the point where he can throw again. And so if he can demonstrate he can throw at the end of the month, which is sort of the target, then I think the dynamic could change with him a little bit too.
And same teams are interested in both of those guys?
Yeah, I mean, Carolina's the one that I think Carolina's like sort of the approach they've taken here is we want to get a look at Sam Darnold, Ben McAdoo's offense. We want to get a look at Matt Corral, how he comes along, coming from a simplistic college offense. And then we're going to reassess after we're done with the offseason program. So that's why I'm saying, like, in about a week and a half, Carolina, Seattle, like those teams I think are going to have probably a better overall idea of where they are at quarterback. And that's when I think the talks, resume between whether it's San Francisco and Carolina, Cleveland and Carolina, Seattle and San Francisco, whatever it is, like the combination of those teams. Like, I think some of those talks probably get rekindled at the end of next week.
Hour 2 done.
Oh, got it.
Unreal.
We had a hard out at 52-0-0. Not your fault, my fault. Asked you a question leading into it because I got lost in the conversation. As soon as you got done, it was 51-59.
Yeah.
Hour 2 done. Boom. We sent it to break. That's called hosting. Sorry about it.
Hell yeah.
Sorry about it, Albert.
Wow, I'm sorry. Did I blow the clock there?
No, I did by asking you a question with 40 seconds left to a hard out. That's bad hosting. Good hosting. Get back, throw a pick, throw a touchdown on the other side.
I've been told I can be I could probably be a little more concise with my words too.
You've given us great answers. We appreciate that. Don't you? This is 100% my fault. But the reason why I chimed in there like I was throwing up on your answer was because we had half a second.
Don't listen to those people.
But we appreciate all your information here. You have given us answers that we haven't been able to find. The July Deshaun Watson punishment from the NFL, big news right there. About 2 weeks from the Baker-Jimmy conversation because of the week and a half post the mandatory minicamps and offseason things for teams to evaluate their quarterbacks. Great piece of information there. I appreciate the hell out of you.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, Pat. Thanks for having me on.
Masshole that went to Ohio State. I could not even fathom.
Hell of a combo.
Is it?
Probably.
You know what my fun fact was? My fun fact was that the books behind AJ are fake. Like, I think you told me that in the fall.
What?
No! Whoa!
There's one real book back
Maybe
there.
you do get a little bit too long-winded.
Yeah, Jesus.
No, I'm joking. We appreciate the hell out of you, man. Hopefully you'll come back on again.
All right, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Monday morning quarterback author from Sports Illustrated, Albert Breer.
Yeah,
He knows his shit.
Yeah.
Locked in.
It's nice that
Hey, what does that mean? June 30th, like the discovery process. Discovery for who? Which side?
I think at the end, right? That's the end of the discovery phase? or
But
the
for who,
beginning?
though? Who is the discovery on? Deshaun, who?
case.
I would assume it's on Deshaun's stuff, right?
No more stuff can be submitted for discovery.
Yeah, but if there's
So
more
as in, like,
allegations.
not there could be more accusations after
Yeah,
that.
Sure.
Yeah, discovery's just like texts and shit, right?
Yeah, it's all of that.
Emails,
I thought they already had that.
But
But
that's
expect-
just on.
But that's probably when the NFL related one is done, right? Like, this could happen then just if there's more after that, like then it just rolls into like next year.
I have no idea.
Expect Friday, July 1st, though, because then you got the 4th weekend. And
Zito said he has a little bit of a definition here. Yeah, it's probably the reason why. The discovery period of any trial is essentially a time to prepare. Discovery is when all information and evidence is made available to each party in order to prepare for trial. It will include things like official reports, toxicology reports, DNA reports, police reports, and written or oral testimony.
So you can add to that if there are other accusations of other testimonies.
I believe the dirty towels were a part of the discovery.
Absolutely.
smaller towels.
That's part of the reason why some people will choose not to sue somebody, because then there's discovery on you and they can pull up all your texts and emails and stuff. And if people have stuff they don't want, then yeah.
Well, that's the thing about Gruden versus the NFL right now.
Yep.
Yeah. How is that going to play out?
Yeah, that's going to be loud. The House Oversight Committee with Goodell and Snyder, that's going to be loud. I mean, there's a lot of shit popping. Deshaun.
They do a good job, though. They do a good job of kind of keeping it under the radar, I feel like.
Yeah, what can we do? Aaron
How bad do they hate us trying to pop it? Hey, whatever happened to that? Like, that's all we do.
I assume we have changed the ecosystem a little bit. You know what I mean? Who's controlling them over there?
Yeah. How do we get those guys to forget this? Like they forget everything else.
Well, I mean, that McAfee guy allegedly smokes a lot of weed. He'll probably forget at some point. He'll probably, and then AJ, he has got rocks for brains. Went to Ohio State. He's a fool. He'll forget at some point. That's probably
I hope they're having that combo.
In a round circle.
Yeah.
Like probably overlooking all of New York last one. These fucking assholes.
Yeah. Well, these guys are dipshits.
Why do they keep bringing it up? Well, they don't even know what discovery means. Well, actually, they read the definition of discovery today on the show. Oh, no.
Shit.
They're getting stronger. All right, we're back in about 6 minutes with hour 3. Dana White will join us. AJ, you excited about this?
Absolutely. I love when Dana's on. Big fights this weekend as well.
Hey, this week and next weekend is, I guess, or no, July 2nd weekend. 276 is supposed to be.
That's always their big summer deal.
Big boy, yeah. That's going to be out in Vegas. Same night as Money in the Bank.
Ooh. Is Money in the Bank out there too?
Yeah, that's right. Vegas is going
you
big.
may die that weekend.
Nope. I'm in and out.
Is Money in the Bank on Sunday?
Saturday.
Same as the fight?
Yep.
Yeah. Wait, where is Money in the Bank and where is the fight's at T-Mobile always?
I don't know where. I don't know.
At MGM?
MGM, I think.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Cool.
I have no idea. Money in the Bank is the night that can change the trajectory of a superstar's career.
That's right.
Climb up that ladder.
Hell yeah.
Grab the suitcase. Inside of it, a contract to take on any champion at any time, even a unified universal champion.
Hell yeah.
You go from, I was a WWE superstar to, I'm marqueed in WWE.
Hell yeah.
It's a different life after Money in the Bank, AJ. It's a different life.
Is it similar to how it's a different life after you have Stone Cold give you a stunner and you chug beers with him?
What? We're back in 5. I don't know if anything will compare to that. I don't know if Money in the Bank's going to give you that. I don't know if Money in the Bank's going to give you that, but maybe an opportunity.
Who knows?
We'll be back in 5 minutes with Dana White. More conversation. The 5-hour energy line to wrap this thing up. 1-833-4-McAfee. A lot of guests today. It's been nice to go. We've been powering through this thing, AJ. This is a good day. We'll see you in 3, 4, 5, whatever it is. Now it's time for SmackDown Rumble Championship Weekend. We just had another Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
What a fucking 3-day run. I'm lucky to live this life, and I'm thankful that you all watch.
Here we go. Gotta get a no call to quit. Yeah, gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets. Yeah, better move out the way 'cause I'm coming with hard hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all of this. You might get my home. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out.
Please work with Gary. Hey, my dude.
Squeeze the back. Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I was trying to do.
Wow, you see you later.
I have a good try.
I'm giddy. I am so pumped. It's like the night before the first day of school when you were a kid. I know it's being said that the GOAT of the NFL, Tom Brady, is retiring. Well, the GOAT of the WWE, Roman Reigns, is in his prime at his peak. Hey, happy birthday! Happy birthday! All right, our sources haven't confirmed whether or not Drew McIntyre can be standing up, but come on, Cole! Come on, Cole! Feel it, Cole!
You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out.
Coltrane has gone to the sky.
I'm dangerous, down, wonder when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank. I'm running on fumes, the opposition don't amaze. The road switching through the pavement, get your hands out of my bag. I know this because I've been in it. I don't need to brag. Guess what happens when you taking care of your business, but some family, you do the math. I'm out of my pocket, you still got a problem. I ain't perfect, let them.
Oh, fuck you.
That is one of the worst of all time.
The worst portals of all time.
And a baby Foxy! Just so everybody knows what he's doing right now. And a blue stick.
Chameleon gold and magenta jacket. Big Cuban link. Obviously, good launch. Pinky chain. Gold-plated Steve Madden.
When I woke up this morning in beautiful St. Louis, the air smelled better, food tasted better. Tonight, dreams come true, surprises are in abundance. It's Royal Rumble, let's go!
It is an honor to see the man.
Once your ratings get this low, then I'll come to Buffalo.
That's why you're a good guy.
A jackass has entered the Royal Rumble. Jack, good to see Wee Man is still alive after Brock Lesnar put him through a Four Seasons table last night. He is dressed like a jackass, he is a jackass, and he's in the Royal Rumble. He looks good, it sounds good. St. Louis is ready. The alpha male of our species is infuriated. Jump over the rope back, buddy. You got 2 tours. You got fans, you got music to make. You want to poop your pants immediately? Be in the Royal Rumble when this man is announced. I'm buying all of the Depends that they have because Brock Lesnar, after a brutal fight with Bobby Lashley, comes into the Royal Rumble and is an absolute ass-kicking machine. We just had another super boost. Back to back. Back to back. What?
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat
What the fuck are
McAfee
you
Show
doing?
starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show. Hour 3 on there is 12 teams that have reported for mandatory minicamp Tuesday, June 7th, 2022. Hour 3 shall begin right now.
Yeah!
AJ, did you hear why we waited to begin hour 3? Did you hear why we waited?
I have no idea.
Every day.
Yeah.
How would I hear that?
Well, did the beat drop there by Twine or no? Did it?
I believe it did, yeah.
You can't hear it ever?
I can usually hear it. What are we doing? Is this a bit? What's happening?
This guy.
This guy's
Where are you
unbelievable.
today, huh?
Are you here? Hey, welcome to the show, dude.
Wake up, pal.
Because Dana White's supposed to come on at 2:05.
Okay, thank you.
There it
Thank
is.
you.
There it
AJ.
is.
Is that what you're trying to get to?
Sweet.
No, I was just trying to have you maybe say
I'm
like,
not
oh,
there during
Twine had the
commercials.
beat drop.
Yeah.
I thought that's what you were going to
I'm
say.
not there during commercials, so I don't know all the inside jargon happening between.
Is this a bit?
Nothing.
Is it? Twine's beat has never dropped off air. How about that?
Okay.
Anyway, shout out to Twine. Shout out to you for watching. Why are you watching or listening? Talks to Tables here at Ty Schmidt at Boston Connor. Tone Diggs, one half of the Hammer. Dahn, Cowboys here.
Dahn.
And before we chat up to Dana White about UFC 275.
Hell yeah.
Happening in Singapore.
Yeah.
The first ever pay-per-view in Southeast Asia.
Whoa.
Had been to Singapore before 4 different times. This will be the 5th time going there. This will be the first pay-per-view. Massive card.
Huge.
Light heavyweight championship on the line. There's some bombs that are going to be thrown. Teixeira's out there. Yeah, this is going to be great. It's going to be a great weekend. Before we get to Dana White.
Teixeira's the underdog, by the way, too.
Well, that's because old buddy's coming off back-to-back knockouts.
10 in a row.
Prochaska.
10 in a row he has.
Prochaska.
Yeah, Yuri.
Prohaska, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
Nailed it.
Beast. I don't know any of these. Okay?
He's got cool hair.
If I was more of an MMA insider, my conversations with Dana would probably go much better.
Mm-hmm.
But I will watch every one of them. And I think Sugar Sean's fighting at 276.
Yep.
Like, I think some big names. Teixeira's the big name fighting here, right? And then the
Undercard, too.
I
Or
think
the,
there's a
like the
strawweight.
girls. There's 2 girls fights.
Yeah, the
leading in.
co-main event.
Yeah, I think there's a strawweight fight that's happening. This should be a massive weekend. And it's in Singapore. It's the first pay-per-view there. I assume they're going to make this a big...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's going to be an awesome to do there. Tone Diggs, Whenever you think about gambling over the next few days, what should we be betting on, you think? What is the most, because hockey, the Edmonton Oilers losing to the Colorado Avalanche because they have Mike Smith in goal, that seemed like that was a gimme.
Yeah.
And by the way, Mike Smith, hell of a career.
Yeah, good run, Mike. Good run, Mike.
Congrats to Jack Johnson, by the way, going on for the Colorado Avalanche. Mike Smith, 41 years old school goaltender, gave up 3 goals in 5 shots in 5 minutes and 49 seconds in the third period. They go to overtime. Guy has an incredible deflection. Dahn beats Mike. Mike Smith was completely out of the net whenever it happened. You know, classic Mikey.
Yeah.
Had a hell of a career.
Mike.
We appreciate the hell out of him. Congrats to the Avalanche. That felt like the only real bet tonight that we knew about. Tonight, Tampa, New York, in Tampa, baseball, NBA. What are you looking at to gamble on here, Tone Diggs? What should we be thinking about?
It's tough tonight because you'd love to just go with the Lightning, but they're minus 170 on the money line. So you could do 60-minute line, which I'm sure they're like minus 110 or something like that. I mean, there's a good chance that game goes to overtime tonight. Then you always have baseball. You got the RBC Canadian Open this week for the PGA Tour. There's a bunch of
PGA
stuff.
Tour still happening?
Oh, yeah.
So for now.
The U.S. Open will allow the live players to come play in the U.S. Open.
Correct. This year.
Nice.
This year and probably the years going forward. That has been announced by one of the majors, right?
That's huge.
So all the other majors that aren't governed by the PGA Tour, or run by the PGA Tour, they're their own thing. They just happen to be a part of the PGA Tour. They can say the same thing, AJ. The PGA might be, hey.
Uh-oh. Ricky Fowler's about to go, it sounds like, too.
Oh, no.
Well, Corn Ferry Tour's in trouble. The Rory McIlroy, though, did come out and say that he is not about it. So he feels like he is becoming the champion of the PGA Tour. But we're at a very pivotal time in the history of golf right now, AJ Hawk. This PGA Tour might be staring down some big-time problems if these legends can go get $200 million to go play golf. Just play. Hey, we just want you to play 8 times a year. $200 million Phil Mickelson was made. High 9 figures is what Tiger Woods was allegedly offered. They have a bottomless bank account from what we've been told over here. And if the majors allow these guys who already have exemptions in all these majors, if they won it in the past or 20 years or whatever it took for Phil Mickelson, if they can play in the majors and collect $200 million, PGA Tour might be cooked, AJ.
Oh, yeah. Might be. I mean, why wouldn't you do that? If you could collect 125, 200 mil guaranteed, let alone you can win 4 mil a pop for winning these tournaments, but you can go back and still win majors, who wouldn't do that?
Well, because Dan Rapoport, Golf Digest's PGA insider,
bingo,
told us that a lot of these guys care deeply about the tradition and the history of golf and like chasing Jack's records and Tiger's records.
Yeah, and then when it gets upwards of $100 million, that seems to care. That matters less and less, I feel like.
Agreed, but also the thing that they're measuring is majors.
You're right.
So if you can still play in the majors, you still have the ability to attain, 13 or 14, whatever it is, or 10 or 9, whatever the majors list is. Now, all the other PGA Tour events, I guess that stat will just drop off in your mind, and you're able to sleep on a pillow of $200 million and be like, the PGA Tour events winners, who cares about that one? It's all about majors anyways. That's going to become a very easy decision for a lot of golfers, I think. And I wonder if the PGA Tour knows that. They have to, right? They have to be all systems panicked in their PGA Tour office. We're not going to have to fucking pay these guys any money, right? We've been getting away with this for 100 years, not paying anybody anything. Now all of a sudden we're going to have to maybe pay, and we can't keep up with the payments that they got. This is a massive moment for golf here. Massive moment.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. The punishment, obviously, we already know, it isn't really going to be anything, but we'll see, if these guys really enjoy it, because the amount of guys who said that there's no way they'll go over there, yeah, exactly. If this thing goes off without a hitch this weekend and they talk to some of these guys and they're like, yeah, this was a fucking incredible event, then we'll see how many of those guys are like, yeah, maybe I'll.
And Dustin comes walking into the U.S. Open better than ever.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys should see this new bag I got. Cost $60 million. Yeah, it's actually pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm going to make a couple of these next couple of years. Make a few of these. Sorry about it. I don't know what you poors are doing over here at the PGA Tour, but will somebody pick up my divot, please? Not my caddy either. Somebody else pick up my divot. What happens if Liv puts on a good event? What if it's what if it's a high-quality event, a good event? More guys go over there. They keep going. There will be advertisers that will go over there. There will be that'll become an entire entity.
It should. But how do they? Okay, I understand they have almost unlimited money. It seems like, but how does it ever become profitable when you're paying Phil Mick $200?
They don't care.
Dustin $125. Eventually, it's got to be. They have to show that they can make a profit, don't they?
I don't think it's about profit.
Bottomless
It's
pit.
not. They want to make it. Yeah, I mean, I guess how many years can you continue to pay these guys gigantic guarantees, and how are you going to be able to recoup that?
I don't think they care, from what we've been told, right? Because it feels
At
like
some point, somebody will.
It feels like the PGA Tour just so happened to be. Oh, this appears to be a very attainable thing.
Yeah.
They don't pay anybody anything. There's no contracts. The guys got to pay their own hotels and travel week to week like they're fucking Happy Gilmore on the Corn Ferry Tour trying to save his grandma.
Probably don't drug test on the Live Tour either.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like they just viewed it as a gettable thing. Like, hey, this is a gettable thing. Boom. And once it has success, and if Dustin, Sergio, and everybody's able to play on the U.S. Open and the majors, why wouldn't every other great golfer who gets exemptions into those majors, why would they not just do it as well? I don't see how the PGA Tour wins, right? I honestly don't see how it.
What can they do? Yeah, DJ officially resigned from the tour, didn't he?
Yeah. Sergio did as well. I think Kevin Na did as well.
So they're not even waiting to get suspended; they're just resigning.
Yeah, we're not gonna play any of the events anyways. We're for the majors though. Don't you worry. We will be at the majors where there's real purses and there's legacy on the line. I didn't grow up in the golf community. I was very lucky, that when I was watching TV as a kid, my dad was watching Tiger and John Daly and them. So that's all I know. Never really played. Don't understand it. And I guess the legacy and tradition is something that I'm missed upon. They all come from a lot of money, I assume, with golfers. But hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
That's going to be tough to say no to for anybody, I think.
Well, in Golf Rap, she just told us that the Live League's more about trying to paint a different picture of Saudi Arabia than it is to actually make a bunch of money for these people, and that's why he explained it as a bottomless pit of cash.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, Dan said they're trying to be a new country. They're trying to be more progressive and forward thinking. So this is just a way for them to get into it. It's like, holy shit. So then there is a never ending.
Countries have used the Olympics for that, right? To try to, hey, this is like a commercial for our country.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and some countries fail.
And, some of those countries, I know they put a bid in for the Olympics, but they didn't cheat at all to get those Olympics. They didn't pay massive amounts of money to get that under the table, you know?
Yeah.
Like the old University of Tennessee McDonald's bags. Some of those countries were showing up at the Olympic Committee. You want some extra cheese on a cheeseburger or not? $2-3 billion. I mean, what would you pay if you were Saudi Arabia's newest? I don't know them in there, but let's say it's the newest prince or royal
It's
family.
the Saudi investment fund, whatever that means.
That means it's coming right from that family, right? That's what it means, I think. Yeah. If you're one of them and you're actually trying to change, there's no limit to that fee, right?
It's just like Walton buying the Broncos. He's got $60 billion. You can probably assume that that's probably the amount that these Saudi princes are dealing with.
I think they have
more than that.
The PGA Tour.
We don't know how much they have.
The PGA Tour is in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're in some deep shit. Joining us now.
I think it's a big deal.
I think it's a huge U.S. Open saying they can play in the major. That's huge.
The Masters. Let's see if the Masters does that too.
Yeah, that's the big one.
So who would be? And we have to pivot away because we got an absolute legend champion of human joining us here in a couple minutes. He's already on. We're making him wait, fucking assholes, a little bit. But what player would have to go over there that the Masters would say, okay, we got to accept it?
Tiger.
That's it?
I think Dana's great to ask about this, though.
I think so.
All right, joining us now, a man who has run a company from a couple $1 million up to a $5 billion valuation, an absolute stud of a businessman, international relations, so much so that this weekend, UFC 275 is actually hosting its first ever pay-per-view in Southeast Asia, Singapore. They've been there 4 times before. This will make the 5th. It'll be the biggest, the baddest, with a light heavyweight championship on the line as the marquee fight, ladies and gentlemen, the president of the UFC, Dana White.
Yeah, Dana!
Dana, what's up?
How are you guys? Good to see you.
Hey, I don't want to dive right into UFC 275. Congrats on having your first ever pay-per-view in Southeast Asia. That's awesome.
Yeah,
fuck you.
I appreciate it.
Hey, we'll talk about.
We have. I got to tell you this. We have one of the best intern programs in all of sports, and we got like 48 interns here now for the summer. And yesterday, I host them all, after they've been here for like a week and whatever. And one of the big topics of discussion yesterday at the intern meeting was you and what you've created and what you've built, and how all these kids look up to you, and it was pretty cool to hear. So congratulations to you. I thought I'd share that with you.
Dana, thank you for that. That's awesome. What did you say? Guy wears a tank top, a little bit of a clown. Let's maybe be a little bit more professional. No, I appreciate that so much, though. Thank you. Tell all your interns, too, like, nothing but love. And hopefully they take advantage of the opportunity to be in the UFC. Okay, that's a huge, your company, there's only a few companies, I think, that are really, founders are basically still around, some bad motherfuckers going in there. That's awesome, and tell them all thank you. I would like to ask for your thought here, though, because you got a big fucking brain. PGA Tour, have you kept up with this at all? Do you know what's going on with this?
What is it?
Okay, so the PGA Tour, since the beginning of time, I guess they've never paid any of their golfers. Golfers had to pay their own travel, their own hotel. There's no deals. You basically just get made whatever you earn in winning. And I guess the average is like $1 million for the top, like 60 golfers and everything like that. This Live Tour has come in, backed by Saudi Arabia, and they're paying guys $125 million, $200 million. Phil Mickelson was offered to come golf on their tour. They're going to... Kevin Na, Sergio Garcia, there's like 4 or 5 names that are big names with a lot of guaranteed money the PGA Tour doesn't have. And the majors here in America are allowing those golfers to come back and golf in the majors as well, which is basically the only thing that matters in golf legacy for the top guys. Do you think there's a way that the PGA Tour can keep up here? And in your business, there's companies that pop up all the time. There's Bellator. There's been numerous ones that pop up. Do you keep an eye on that? And how do you combat against it? How do you combat against it? Is the PGA Tour completely panicked right now, you think, with this?
Yeah, no, it's fascinating. I mean, everybody's making a move right now to get into sports. I mean, sports business has been growing since the 80s, since I first started diving into it and looking into, getting involved in the sports world. From pay of the athletes to sponsorship to television rights, the list goes on and on, how the numbers just keep going through the roof. I mean, I was just looking yesterday in 2001, the Broncos sold yesterday, I heard, for like $4.5 billion.
Yeah.
And I was looking at like the Boston Celtics sold for $386 million back in 2001. I mean, now every one of these teams are worth a minimum of $2 billion. There's a ton of money in sports. We learned through the pandemic how important live sports really are to us and what it means to us as a society. And there's no doubt, if you look at what we're doing over in the Middle East, I've been waiting to announce this big announcement that, for like a year, but something that we're doing that's going on in the Middle East with Abu Dhabi. Yeah, the Middle East is...
Are you announcing that right now? Are you about to make that...
They got a shitload of money, and, they want to be involved in a lot of these major sports, too. I know that, I think the NBA did a deal with Abu Dhabi where they're building basketball courts all over Africa and, all kinds of crazy shit's going on. The sports business just keeps going like this. The PGA is going to have competitors, everybody's going to have competitors, but it's good. It's good for the marketplace. It's good for everybody.
Dana, does a new league like this ever have, how do they ever show any profit if they're paying Phil Mick $200 million, another guy $125 million? Do they ever have to turn a profit?
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know, man. It's like boxing. They got any of these boxing guys to put on these fights where you hear that this guy's making $40 million, this guy's making. You think those guys are making money? They're not making money. They're all hurting. That's why the sport's dying. It's some people are going to go out and they're going to build real businesses, and other guys are going to be a flash in the pan or pay to play. Obviously Saudi Arabia wants to pay to play. They want to be involved. They're looking at tourism now. These guys want to start bringing people out. I think they just put I can't remember what the number is. It's billions and billions of dollars into infrastructure for tourism over there. How do you get people to show up and come out, put on unbelievable golf tournaments with big name players and put on big sporting events and concerts and shit like that?
Dana, you've gotten to meet more people than we ever will, especially in positions of power when you're doing Yas Island and Singapore. I'm sure you're having to meet people and let them know what you're looking to do and what you're thinking about doing. How much of it weighs on you about what they're trying to become versus what they maybe were as a country, because that's the big conversation. Everybody's like, now granted, the people that are tweeting that they hate that somebody's getting into business with Saudi Arabia is tweeting from a phone that was probably created through some sort of illegal labor that was happening while wearing Nikes and wearing clothes, so it's there's a mess of contradiction that happens in a lot of things, but there is I think, like saying, hey, there was some fucked up shit that potentially happened there. How much of that do you get to know about, hear about, and how much of that is in the conversation of these countries being like, hey, we're trying to advance where we are and what we are?
When you're a global business like we are, people are going to do mean shit to each other all over the world, okay? And if you're going to boycott and run every time somebody does something mean to each other, you won't have a business, okay? We have all different types of nationalities, religions, people from all over the world. We have different groups of people who have been battling with each other for 1,000 years. It's the way that the world works. I don't get caught up in all that bullshit. And, we run a global business. Not everybody. The world is a very imperfect place, everybody. Get used to it.
Hold on. We wish it wasn't, though, right? We all wish it wasn't. We all wish it was a perfect world, but that's just not reality. That's just not, and sometimes that gets forgotten about.
Furthest thing from reality. The world is never going to be a perfect place. We're all doing the best we can do and trying to make the most of it. You can't run and fucking boycott everything that happens. I mean, every fucking day something happens and something's going on. And if you're that guy running around trying to save the fucking world,
keep tweeting.
It's an impossible job.
Yeah, keep tweeting. I think you almost got canceled for that macaroni milkshake.
Oh. Yeah, I should have been canceled for that.
How cool is it, though, that you do have a sport that the globe loves? Because I think a lot of things that happen can help bring the globe together, and that never gets talked about. All that ever gets talked about is like, I can't do that because of these people. It's like, what about their citizens, though, sharing a common bond with people on the other side of the fucking world? Like, that's a pretty cool thing to realize, I think. And when you go Singapore, Southeast Asia, how long's that flight?
Yeah, it's like 23 hours.
Jesus. 23 hours, opposite side of the globe. I assume it operates in a much different fashion than here, but there will be a packed out arena there of people watching the same things that we're watching on ESPN Plus, and it's like a common bond. Like that's a cool power that you have, I think.
One of the things that I try to do, listen, we all have our own political views and whatever they might be personally. I try to keep all that shit out of it, in the live event. Even during COVID, when we decided to go through COVID and did it, you never heard me talking about COVID during the event. You could turn on every other channel on TV and hear about COVID and all the other bullshit that was going on during that. Sports are an escape where we all come together, as a fan of one side or the other, and we root and we enjoy this, this time that we have while we're watching a sporting event, and it takes us away from all the shit that's going on in our life. And we tried to do the best job we could through COVID and every other time, if some horrible tragedy happens, we address it at the beginning of the show, and give our thoughts and prayers to people. And then we move right into the show and let you escape from all the bullshit that's going on in your life.
It's called a celebration of sport. And somehow that got forgotten about in this whole world. It's like sports became an avenue for, all these other, which by the way, very important to the world, very serious to the world, but also not everybody wants to hear what other, the getaway is being forgotten about.
You can hear that on every
channel.
Other fucking channel on TV. You don't need to hear it during sports. It's just my personal opinion. So,
well, you run
let all
one of
these
the
other guys knock themselves and do whatever the hell you want, But that's never going to happen in the UFC while I'm here.
Go ahead, AJ.
Dana, what about this weekend, UFC 275? There's a lot of great fights on the card, but can you describe to people what this Prochazka guy is like? I know he's fighting Glover Teixeira, which is absolute legend champ in the game, but what is this fight going to be like?
Yeah, no, it's a great fight. Obviously, I don't know if you guys have heard, but there's been a lot of talk about, Glover taking him down and Yuri not being able to, get back on his feet and go to the ground with him. we disagree. This guy's got a 96% finish rate.
Damn.
He's an absolute savage stud. It should be an incredible fight. Valentina Shevchenko, one of the greatest female fighters of all time, is taking on Santos. I don't. If you guys watch the feature for this fight, it's a very, very good fight. And Santos is actually a great opponent for the incredible Valentina Shevchenko. And Weili Zhang versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk, probably the greatest female fight of all time. And this is the rematch.
Hey, what's that arena going to be like? Is it an arena, stadium? How'd you go about picking?
Yeah, and it's sold out. I mean, we sold this thing out, so it's going to be interesting. I don't know. You know, the Asian fans are usually a lot quieter than the Americans or the British, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun.
Why is that, you think? You think they're judging and analyzing it as like something they want to break down, or why do you think that is?
I don't know. It's interesting because I've actually gone to a couple of Pride events where these guys would have, 65,000 to 100,000 people inside the Superdome, and you could hear a pin drop. You could literally corner a guy from up in the nosebleeds. It was so quiet in there.
It'll be like the Apex or whatever. That Apex.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just a different type of fan.
Hey, those elbows to the face there, that first Apex where what you do? You just build an arena next to your offices, basically? Is that what happened?
Yeah, we bought the building next door and turned it into an arena.
We ain't ever dealing with another fucking pandemic again. We need an arena right over there that we own, that's on our grounds, that we can have a fight. I respect that so much. Whenever you think about being in Singapore for the 5th time, is there anywhere you haven't been where you're looking to go? Do those conversations happen all year round? Is it like things just pop up and it's like, oh yeah, we should do that? Is there anything you're thinking of?
We're going to Paris, France for the first time this year.
Oui.
You guys should do a live show from Paris, France, from the UFC.
All right, when is it?
Yep.
When is it?
Huh?
September 3rd.
September 3rd.
I mean, that's going to be tough. Right in the middle of fucking football season, Dana?
Right before the first week, right? Is that where you did
September 8th.
Is that the opening weekend? When is it?
September 8th is the Thursday.
That's Labor Day.
Oh, that's the cut down weekends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, we're fucking in. Okay, will you give us a good spot?
Let's do it.
Okay. You've been waiting a year to make.
Let's do it. Do a live event from Paris, France. We'll set it up. I'll even kick in some money to help you guys with to get out there.
Now we're talking.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Now we go.
Oui. Je m'appelle Pat.
The 487 million you already got isn't enough. I'll kick in some more money and help you guys fly over there.
A wise poet named Wheezy F. Baby said, "Too much money ain't enough money." Okay, so we will try to save everything we possibly can. Go ahead, Ty Schmidt.
Dana, like Pat mentioned, you guys have basically at this point been damn near everywhere in the world. But when you do go to these like new international markets, does it take more time matchmaking, putting that card together? Like, do you feel a little bit more pressure? Because it's like, I mean, people are already watching, but it's like, oh, we need this live event to be fucking insane.
No, it's a great question, but no, I mean, every week we're very focused and aware of matchmaking. It's all about the matchmaking. It's what keeps this business going like this. It's the ability to go out and find the best talent in the world and put on the best fights that you could possibly make. So every week we worry about that, not just when we go into new territories.
Hey, big names being lingered, rumored, big names. Hey, guy from Ohio. Mm-hmm. Stipe, huh? Stipe. And then who's that other guy? Oh, Jon Jones. Hey, the internet is cooking right now, Dana. That's good news for your business. Good news for you. Should we snoop around in that anymore, or what do you think?
Yeah, obviously Francis Ngannou, had to have knee surgery. So the thing that possibly makes sense, depending on how fast he's going to be back, would be Stipe versus Jon Jones in the heavyweight division, and the winner fights him.
Oh. When's that? Paris?
We're working on it.
What's that going to take? Is that business with you and Jon Jones? Business good? Not a problem there? What would it be?
I mean, if you got a big fight like that, it's either Vegas or Madison Square Garden.
Are we going to be able to set up outside of that one?
Yeah.
You kick in some money for us to come. That'd be awesome. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Dana, do you ever see the baddest motherfucker belt being put up again? Because that whole entire, promotion for that was unbelievable.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't know. Possibly, yes.
Oh. Okay. Is there certain people that you would put into a baddest motherfucker division? And it's like, okay, here we go. This is what we do, or how would that work out?
Well, it's interesting. He asked that question. It's crazy how many of the guys actually want that belt. So, it's something to think about. I haven't thought about it, but it's something to think about. Yes.
Oh, I'm happy we could drop that into your world. Jon Jones,
Here we go.
Paris. I mean, add things into your world. That's awesome. Last question here. Dana, we can't thank you enough. Go ahead, Tone.
Dana, not so much a question. I just heard a clip of you the other day talking about your goal when you go into a casino, and then I heard Pat talking about it the other day as well. And I didn't know if you knew, but you two have the same mindset. You said you go in there, you put $100. You're not there for drinks. You're not there for anything else. You put $150,000 down on a hand, and if you win that hand, you won $150,000. That's the goal. And Pat always tells us, hey, you can leave this place as a winner.
You're allowed to walk away with chips. People forget.
100%. It's because the problem is everybody, wherever you're from, you're going to Vegas with your buddies, and you literally take an amount of money that you're willing to lose, whether it's $1,000, $1,500, $2,000. You get to the casino, you sit down at the table with your buddies, you start drinking, talking, nobody's paying attention, you're not playing the right way, you lose $2,000, oh, well, we're going to a show, we're going out, we're going to the club. I go in to win. If you go in with $100 and you win $100, you just doubled your money. You can get up and leave, but nobody does it.
Yeah, it's you're the guy at blackjack too, huh? You're the guy.
I do okay.
You count cards?
What's the trick? Why you get booted, Dana? You count cards? What are you doing?
The trick is to get up and leave when you're winning. There's a whole system to it. I negotiate a deal before I go in and play. And let me tell you what, I'm going to tell everybody right now. If you're a real player and you play big money and you're really there to play, don't play in any casino in this town except for Caesar's Palace. Caesar's Palace is the only place that can really handle big play, treats you right, takes care of their customers, and does everything the right way. And if you guys really want to do it, you guys should come out here one of these times. I'll take you to Caesar's with me, and I'll show you some shit.
Deal. All right, I'll kick in some money for that. All right, how much am I bringing? 150? Is that the number?
Hey, you got big dough, man. You bring whatever you want. I'll help negotiate your deal over at Caesar's.
Well, I'll do whatever you're doing.
All right, deal.
All right, that's awesome. We can't thank you enough. Good luck with 275 this weekend, the first pay-per-view in Southeast Asia. You're the absolute man. We'll see you soon. Tell all those interns we said what's up.
Will do. Take care, boys. Have a great weekend.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dana White. All right, so we're going to Paris. We're going to Caesar's Palace.
What? Munich in November?
Yeah, Munich in November. Potentially, that one's still on the rocks. We haven't been able to find a venue, which international conversations have been held up a little bit.
Sure.
Did not
Vegas
expect
or MSG again.
for the Jon Jones and Stipe one. That was a great call.
Not bad.
Unbelievable.
Cost us a lot of money. That call just cost a lot of money, but it's amazing.
You and Dana, July 1st, Caesars.
Let's go, dude.
Ooh, yeah.
No.
You have to.
What do you mean?
That Friday.
No, it had to be the Thursday.
SmackDown.
Yeah, it would have to be the
yeah.
Thursday.
Saturday
Wednesday.
morning.
So June 30th.
Maybe I go on Wednesday. It's either Wednesday night or Thursday.
June 29th, yeah.
And then we just use that studio that we're getting there for both Thursday and Friday.
Mm-hmm.
That's too many days in Vegas, so I can't do that.
Can't do it.
That's a lot of days.
won't be boozing.
Can't do that.
Won't
can't
be
do that.
boozing.
You can do it Saturday morning. What time? Why is it going to be at night?
Well, Dana, I mean, it's on his fucking
Yeah,
time.
that's
the
fight.
day of
That's fight day.
It's probably going to be pretty busy on Thursday, too. Fuck.
Just one hand. Just
We'll
one
figure it
hand.
out. We'll figure it out. I don't think it's just one hand. I think he was giving the... Well, I think it was the conversation that if you were to win this in one hand, fucking take it and get out.
Yeah, but SmackDown on Friday is at what?
Phoenix, Arizona.
5 o'clock? Oh, it's in Phoenix.
That's always.
Okay.
Yeah, Phoenix, Arizona.
Those big time gamblers do that. They negotiate with the casino so they have they can do like little better odds on certain things.
Yeah, max bet is different than what they are no matter what they go in. And
I
also,
think other little things too. I've seen like the poker guys that go in and play other games, how they negotiate deals.
I like that he just said, Caesar's Palace is the place you fucking play.
Yeah.
That's strictly because he has played everywhere else, and they've either kicked him out or fucked him over.
For sure.
And Caesar's Palace is like, this is what we're actually specialties in. Let's go, dude.
Here
What
we
a
go.
combo with old Uncle Dana.
That was awesome.
Thank you, Dana.
Stipe and Jon Bones Jones, too.
That'd be
Yeah.
absurd.
New York or Vegas. Awesome. Happy
Jon
to hear
Bones
it.
Jones going to heavyweight.
Yeah.
I watch him in Baltimore.
When is MSG? When's that card?
I don't
know.
He said
Oh, they don't have one
be.
yet.
No, yeah, they don't have it yet.
Yeah, his elbows are scary.
So he was literally doing this.
They're so sharp.
By the way, you see this knee right now. I don't know if you see this.
Oh.
Here we go.
What have you been doing?
What's that, pal? Rehab. Don't worry about it. I've been getting better.
That doesn't work.
What?
Well,
I mean, if you're lifting and doing stuff like that, but if you're sitting there with a dumb stem on there, it's not doing anything.
Well, stem actually does work your muscles, but
okay.
I did some one-legged thingies.
Put on your abs; it'll give you a six-pack.
Well, my parents did buy that for the household whenever I was a kid. It didn't work.
Damn.
Anyways, I watched him in Baltimore. He came out to the Ray Lewis intro.
Mm-hmm.
His whole family was there, and we were all there in this section. Somehow I ended up there, which was awesome. He was fucking just toying with the guy, and that was when he was on that.
Who was he fighting there?
I don't remember. He was literally at any moment could have knocked him out and was just choosing not to. It looked like it, just like toying with the guy. So athletic, so talented, and then out of the cage, just untimely, unfortunate, terrible events happening.
Yeah.
And now everything has to be questioned, which is a fucking shame.
Yeah.
Right.
Youngest
'Cause
champion ever.
Yeah, and he was like best ever. I mean, you talk about Jordan, Gretzky, guys like that. Like he wasn't even close with how good he was.
Still never been beat.
Yeah.
He
Also-
got DQ'd once, but that was it.
Hey, could change that all. You become the heavyweight champ again and then go on like a good 4 or 5 fight run.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fights. That's a lot of fights to go on, but could change the whole legacy. I assume he knows that. I assume he knows that. He's been told that. But also, at one point, he's probably told, hey, you might be the only motherfucking guy that can run your own promotion. You know, if your contract was to run up here, you could probably sell a pay-per-view by your fucking self if you wanted to with how good you were. And then shit would happen. And then boom, we'd end up going down and everybody would attack me for complimenting how good he was.
Yeah.
That's how I know the Jon Jones story. Yeah. Because I was at his post-fight celebration party. It was great. I was like, oh, I got a new favorite fighter. He's the best fighter of all time. We're drinking and dancing together, having a good time. And then every time I compliment him when UFC comes up, you're like, oh, that fucking guy, bam, 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 bam. It's like, damn, man, come on.
You're talking about just in the cage. He's fun to watch in the cage. That's all I'm talking about.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I hope he's back.
Yes.
That'd be
Need
great.
him back.
Now, Stipe also loves Stipe.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one.
What a fight that will be.
Yeah. Stipe just eats punches too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Firefighter.
All right, we're back at 4 minutes, wrapping up this glorious day. With some phone calls on the 500 phone line. 1-833-4 McAfee. We'll chat with you in 4. Can't wait for it. Bring it. Okay.
Come on. Bring the juice. This guy.
Uh-oh. That's
this guy.
What else does he have to go do right now? That house is empty. We know that.
Yeah.
We're back in 4 minutes. That's unbelievable, this guy. I rehabbed my knee all night for this.
Oh my!
Wow.
Sheesh.
Go in? I don't know. He's not yet found his swing this morning. Look at him. Are you fucking whispering right now?
The Miz.
By the way, love the show, Pat.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. Oh, you weren't talking to me?
Hey, when you get sick of it, we understand.
I don't like it because you hit a nice straight shot and it's like a small half swing. It's annoying. Let me show you how it's done, okay? Because you line up your ball. See, you have that little line there.
I can't do it like this.
Go like this. You look at it, check it out. You take a couple practice strokes and then you just put the ball in the hole. Like
Easy game.
It is an easy game. It was just a bit off. And there you go. That easy, guys. So after Tahoe, are you going pro?
There it is. It's in the hole.
Don't turn it on. Don't turn it on. You don't want it. Don't want it. You got a nice little hat on. You got your sunglasses. You got your ones that aren't even out yet. Don't turn it on. You can hang out with your boy Aaron Rodgers all day. What was that?
Don't
7?
want it.
Is that a 7?
You don't want
You
it.
don't want it.
You don't want to turn it on.
You don't want me to turn it on.
You don't want me to flip the switch.
Flip the switch off and wait till Tahoe. Till Tahoe, buddy. Wait till Tahoe.
Maybe my knee will be at 80%.
Maybe.
Smarter than you, I'm better than you.
Mm-hmm.
No. I'm a better person than you are.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I fed the birds this morning, so I'm a better person than you are.
Yeah, but you don't care about the ozone as much as I do. So do you even like to breathe? That means you don't even like the birds. You don't want the birds to be able to breathe or fly because you want the ozone to be ruined because you're a fucking asshole.
Is that right? Then how come I rollerblade to the supermarket every Saturday and Sunday?
Oh, did that make you feel good, rollerblading, flattening the earth a little bit closer to the center so it can get hotter so then the heat comes from the ozone because you're pressing down the earth with your little rollerblades?
Well, yeah, but
I'm a better person than you are.
No, because on Wednesdays I'm planting trees and I'm trying to bring the earth back to what it was.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you're cutting up other trees' roots, though. What a fucking asshole. You Why can't you just let earth be the way it's be? You got to take your shovel and dig into it? Wow. I'm a better person than you are.
I know. I make my own manure. I make my own soil. I'm not chopping up any other
roots. So you don't like cows. You don't like cows pooping.
I
hate farmers. Unbelievable. You hate farmers. Oh, you don't like a head of cows. Oh, you don't like burgers?
Then how come I'm in the Farmers Association of America and I'm going to help?
Oh, you're a lifetime member of the FFA. Hey,
yeah, that's right.
That's what I make. I'm a better person than you are.
No, you're not. I'm a better person than you are.
That's politics, baby. That's what we just did right there. Let's get to the phones. Once again, I think we batted 1,000.
Boom.
In politics with what we just did right there.
How about that?
I do believe after that argument, though, people would say I was a better person than fucking you are, dude.
No, because everyone I just read on Twitter was like, oh my God, this guy rollerblades. I need to start doing that too.
No, that's because you mute all the other people that are actually on my side. They're telling you you're not the right person.
No, I refuse to mute anybody because I love everybody.
Oh, you like freedom of speech. How come then you're not going on
I do love freedom of speech. That's why I'm not muting anybody.
I'm better than you are.
No, I'm better than you are.
Everybody's saying it.
No.
Yeah, everybody's saying I'm a better person than you are.
I heard it.
We just did, by the way, still batting 1,000 on politics. I feel so good about it. We even got into the reaction to the punditry.
Yes.
We're batting a fucking 1,000 out there.
Every side.
The people say we're not well-rounded. We don't have depth. Did you hear what we just fucking did?
Come on.
Wow. Let's go to the phones, man. Hey, there's no better time than now to make a massive announcement. Welcome back, AJ Hawk.
Good to be back. What's the announcement?
Just why so aggressive? You hung up on us.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know why you're
I didn't.
aggressive.
What do you mean I hung up on you?
You missed the last 30 seconds of the last thing before
Did you
break.
keep going?
Yeah.
Yeah, pal.
I had to sprint down and take a leak. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'd had to do the same exact thing. I was reading some stuff about Cam Newton on the pivot. I can't wait to talk about that. But it is time to announce that tomorrow, June 8th, 2022, will be the return of our same-game parlay holiday.
What?
Oh. That's right. This one a bit different than the last same-game parlay holiday, but it is a same-game parlay holiday nonetheless because there is $50K in free bets on the line for one person.
Holy shit. Whoa.
And another $50,000 in free bets to other winners as well.
Holy shit.
$50,000 in free bets on the line tomorrow, June 8th, 2022 at FanDuel Sportsbook.
Now we go.
Huge. Is that not a holiday?
Oh, hell
Put it all
yeah.
in one game.
Why?
What's that, AJ?
Put it all on one. Does one person get $50K to gamble with?
Yeah, $50K in bets.
Put it all on one.
Okay, I mean, you do whatever you got to do.
You can.
I agree.
Here's what you have to do to enter to potentially win the $50,000 grand prize to the champion of this same game parlay holiday. Another $50,000 will be given out as well in free bets, but $50,000 in free bets given to one person. All you have to do is opt in, obviously, at FanDuel Sportsbook, and place a $5 same-game parlay or same-game parlay plus on an MLB game happening tomorrow, Wednesday, June 8th, 2022. And if you hit the same-game parlay with the longest odds out of everybody else on the book, has to be the longest odds out of everybody else in the same game parlay or same game parlay plus on an MLB game tomorrow, you'll win $50,000 in free bets.
Holy shit.
I'm winning the $50,000 in free bets. So
Don't worry
though.
I planned on winning it.
No, don't worry. You guys, don't worry about it. You guys still win too. Second place, $15,000 in free bets.
Go.
Third place, $10,000. Fourth place, $8,000 bonus in free bets. Fifth place, $7,000. $3,000 to 6th. $2,500 to 7th. $2,000 to to 8th. $1,500 bonus in free bets for 9th. 10th place wins $1,000 bonus in free bets for a grand total of $100,000 in bonus free bets prizes altogether.
Okay.
Shit.
Opt in now at FanDuel Sportsbook if it's available at your state. Ohio, we'll do this again next year whenever you guys are in. But remember that the only same-game parlays that are available for this is for Wednesday, June 8th baseball games, MLB games.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
That's huge.
Opt in, go for it.
Yeah, pumped.
You got no chance of winning.
What are you talking about?
Near to you, AJ, because you can't play.
Loser.
Okay, so
How's baseball going?
I don't know, but I know gambling-wise, it's going well for the Hammer Down boys. Whenever what I just laid out there, will you please explain in layman's terms longest odds? You're betting blindly here because we don't know what the longest odds that'll hit in a same-game parlay or same-game parlay plus. Longest odds mean what, and how would you go about stacking this for those of us that haven't really bet on baseball ever but are planning on doing so tomorrow because $50K is available to the winner.
Okay, breaking down long and short odds real quick. Let's just say even is plus 100.
That means the book thinks maybe.
It's even. You bet $100, you win $100.
But they think maybe.
Yeah,
that's what
sure.
they think.
Coin flip.
Yep.
The more plus you get, so say plus 200, plus 300, plus 400, the higher you get, that means the longest odds. So plus 10,000 is longer odds than plus 200.
And plus 10,000 means the book thinks no chance this is going to happen.
Yes, that is very, very high long odds.
But
now,
even like plus 250, plus 300,
Sure.
plus 400, these are things, this is the book saying unlikely.
Yeah, not a certainty.
Not likely. So the higher you get in numbers. So for instance, when we were boosting like plus 750 same game parlays.
Correct.
And we were one off every fucking time. And I was getting buried. I felt actually pretty good about my picks. That's not easy to do, but the longest odds with same game parlays, they add into each other, so they get bigger and bigger.
And whoever hits the longest odds wins the 50,000 and so on and so forth from there. Now for the same game parlay or same game parlay plus, same game parlay, I was playing with it earlier. Like you could pick a side on who you like in the game, and then you could go with which player is going to get hit or a strikeout or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Same game parlay plus is you got to pick a side and a player to get a hit in one game, but then in the other games you could just pick one
winners.
thing. You could pick just a winner.
So you have to have at least two in one game, and then you can parlay that with any other game stats.
Yes.
Okay. Longest odds. Good luck to everybody. Second place would be fun. $50K in free bets available at FanDuel Sportsbook tomorrow for our long shot, big bomb bonanza baseball PMI same game parlay holiday.
Hell yeah.
Let's go, AJ. Cam Newton.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
100,000.
Pretty awesome.
100,000 total. $50K to the winner. That's a lot of free bets.
I'll do that again. Let's do that after the first of the year. I'm going to win that one next time.
Okay, January 2nd, I think, is the Monday Night Football game with Cincinnati and Bills.
A football one of these would be fun.
Probably.
Yes, I believe so.
I think it's January 2nd, 2023. Cincinnati Bills Monday Night Football.
It's a huge game.
Pretty good.
I think.
Yeah, it lasted a year. Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
It'll be week 17.
That'll be the first day in Ohio. Hey, shut up.
Yeah, here we go.
Or second day in Ohio, whatever the case. Cam Newton was on the Pivot podcast with Channing Crowder, Ryan Clark, and Fred Taylor. Cam Newton went in there, and I thought we all saw Cam Newton say he was going to retire.
Yeah.
After the season, he had his hat on. Obviously, he looked incredibly fresh. He was speaking at a press conference following another disappointing outing or whatever with the Carolina Panthers. And it sounded like he was doing a lot of reflection on his career, which has been awesome, by the way. His entire football career has been awesome. From high school to JUCO to Auburn to Carolina to the Super Bowl to MVP. I mean, he has had an incredible football run, but I thought we were seeing the end of it when he was giving his press conference. He has joined the Pivot. That is not the case at all.
No.
Cam Newton said, in Carolina, I put myself in another fucked up situation. I was signed on Thursday. I played on Sunday. At what point did you think that was going to be successful? You know? And then next week I started. That's still up under 10 days of you being on the team and you're still trying to learn an offense. So before I sit up here and allow a narrative to be made that Cam ain't got it no more, Cam is taking full responsibility and saying that Cam put himself in a fucked up situation. This is via Pro Football Talk that transcribed the Pivot podcast. Mm-hmm. So Cam Newton said he had heard people say they can't play anymore. I think Cam Newton heard us all hear his last press conference and think he was retired and say his days were over. And Cam said that's not the case. New England, I think he talked about COVID at the very beginning of the year. Fucked up situation. Carolina starting 3 days after you get to a team trying to learn the offense. Definitely a tall task, but I think we all thought his best days were behind him, just like Channing Crowder said right to his face. Channing Crowder, one of the most electrifying football players in the history of football players, one of the most electrifying people on the absolute internet and in podcasts and on radio. He said, hey, you ain't got it anymore. Okay, listen, we all saw what happened in New England. We saw what happened in Carolina. It's out there. Yeah, he said he still wants to play currently. There's not 32 guys better than me, Cam Newton said. Former NFL linebacker Channing Crowder, one of the hosts of the Pivot podcast, pushed back. You are 33 years old, Crowder said. You done got old. You're one of the best 32 quarterbacks in the world right now? Cam, I cannot accept that. I can't accept it. I saw what you did in New England. When you went back to Carolina, I saw what happened. Like, the proof is in the pudding. Channing Crowder said to Cam Newton right to his face on the Pivot podcast, why everybody loves Channing Crowder, by the way. Yeah. And Cam Newton responded with fucked up situations and does not believe that is the case. AJ, Cam Newton is one good workout video on Instagram away from me being like, here we go. Yeah. This guy is all the way back, AJ. But honestly, I think Channing Crowder is echoing the sentiments of a lot of people right now with Cam Newton. He has no offers available yet from any team, but the Carolina Panthers, I guess, have allegedly left the door open. Another fascinating story that has kind of popped up here on June 7th that I thought was kind of done with, but Cam Newton might be back in the NFL. Here we go.
Okay. It might be he just had to let people know that, hey, I'm not retired, because I would imagine front offices, other places may think, we won't reach out to him. Maybe he's probably hanging it up. But, I mean, Cam does bring up a good point. Whether obviously everyone, as they get older, their skills diminish at some point, whatever. But to be signed on Thursday, to start on Sunday at any position in the NFL is very, very difficult. But every position but the quarterback position, you can kind of figure it out a little bit. I mean, now if a receiver, you got to know the routes, but you could ask, hey, what do I got here? Okay, and you can get help. Quarterback, you can't get help. There's no one out there that you can look to. Maybe a center if he's a veteran and he knows the whole playbook, like something. But there's just so much that you have to learn still. And then 2 starts within 10 days. Yeah, he feels a little bit better, but not that much better when you're out there. So if you're not confident in what you're supposed to do, even like the playbook, let alone, hey, I gotta, look this guy off, do this, do that. If you're not even 100% sure on what the play is, like, how are you supposed to make plays?
He has to ask somebody from each position group. What do you guys got on this? All right, emotion. All right. Tight end, what do you? Running back, what do you? X, what do you? Y, what do you? What do you? That's a tough thing to do, maybe in the huddle.
Yeah, sure.
Every person in there, basically, what you got to do, because they're all normally probably going to be asking you what they have to do, and that's difficult. But there was a lot of throws we seen that we were thinking, Norris. I think a lot of us were thinking maybe that shoulder after the car crash, and after I think he pointed out a play where he got tackled, he landed on it, and I think a lot of people were doubting whether or not he can still make plays. But hey, Cam Newton's still a physical specimen. I'm sure in everybody's eyes.
Well, sure, Carolina makes sense. Mac Jones is a good quarterback, but he also lost out to a rookie quarterback within 2 weeks in New England.
Well, it was COVID, right? Remember, he had the gig and then he had COVID.
Preseason too, Tony. It wasn't just 2 weeks.
Was Mac dealing with the same COVID situations when he was there?
Wow.
He got COVID, had to leave.
This guy's got a lot of excuses. He hasn't been good in 8 years.
Well, that's what Channing Crowder said, Tone. Okay. Way to retweet him. Okay.
Wow, I mean.
I do like the Channing Crowder said it. What was Cam Newton wearing in that thing? Do we have a video? I think Zito said he found a video.
Yeah, it's a minute 16 if you want it.
There's another video out there, too, of Let's Ride as well.
What?
Okay, let's find that one for sure.
There was
Nick has it.
Different situation with Let's Ride with the Seattle Seahawks we saw.
Oh, yeah. Let's Fly is the Seattle Seahawks. They had Diggs, I believe.
Is that a dig? Yeah. Is that a dig at Russ?
Well, Diggs was doing it, too. So that would be like a dig with Diggs.
That
would be
next level.
To the second power.
Maybe the Seahawks are doing their thing. They put a video out with no sound with him just doing this in the background, though, and dancing. And he quote tweeted and said, maybe put the song in there, which is awesome. I enjoy these social media teams. They're getting, obviously they're getting bigger. They're growing. It's more of an attention in the buildings, which is smart because there's a lot of fans from outside of where your team resides that only know your team through the social media accounts. And that has been happening for a long time. The NFL is just starting to realize that. Teams are starting to realize that. They're starting to invest in that. But social media degrees are the biggest bunch of bullshit on earth, and I think that's
not a thing. That can't be a thing.
Oh,
It's
it
a
is.
thing.
Oh, yeah.
If colleges can get you to go into crippling debt for the rest of your life to teach you fucking something that they think you'll want to pay for, it'll definitely be something. And this is the new one. Social media thing. And by the way, there's going to be great social media people that come out with social media degrees. I'm not saying that. It's a completely done thing. But the social media degree does not mean you're going to be good at social media. It means that maybe somebody taught you how other people who are good at social media will do social media. But all the olds that are making these decisions have no fucking idea anyways. But there's a 24-second video of Let's Ride, and this is good social media. And we appreciate these Webby winners, the Denver Broncos social media team, for putting this out.
Just put my jersey on for the first time. Broncos orange, let's ride.
Sorry, brother.
Green screening it with my boy.
I see
Let's
this. This
go.
isn't new.
This
isn't new at all.
Come on, you can't talk over it.
Pause. This is not new. This is before the last one. Let's figure it out in the back there.
What happened?
Okay?
I laid the groundwork.
Let's figure it out,
I
please.
sent that to Nick.
So it's
Why'd you send it?
Because I hadn't seen it yet.
But why'd you send it to him?
Because, like I said, after I saw the first video, as you like to say, I'm ready to run through a brick wall. I am again now that I've seen that one.
Yeah, but Russell put that one out on his story.
Yeah, he
Russell
did.
preferred that one.
Yeah, that video was the Let's Ride video that Russell wanted to put
No,
out.
that was just the
that wasn't the Webby winners.
That was just the appetizer.
Yeah. That wasn't the Broncos country. That's right.
Country.
Broncos country. That's
Hey, can you imagine, Pat? Imagine if me and you somehow, for whatever reason, we're in Denver at a game at Mile High, and we forgot about this whole conversation. It's like December. We're all engrossed in the environment, and
Pretty
then
high.
we see it pop up on the jumbo.
Oh, here it is. They went with the more sentimental one.
The third one.
Smart decision. That decisions have to be made on which one because they were all so good.
You could run a bunch of them. Try them all out.
Our room was conflicted. We had 5 different
I was gonna
favorites.
say 4 out of the 5.
And we haven't won Webbies, but I feel like we've seen a lot of internet.
Oh yeah.
What if they run one each quarter?
True.
Or
maybe,
montage it.
Maybe warm-ups, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and then wrap that whole thing out. Chris Mad Dog Grizz says next his show will be better than ours.
Got it.
When you're talking about something that serious, though, how can you fucking stop?
Yeah, seriously.
I can't wait to see the first Let's Ride video.
I wonder if they're going to put them all over each other.
You on top of each other?
Yeah, like an echo effect.
What if it is, and they get a little, put a little auto tune on it?
Like with the Matrix, like
Broncos, country.
What music?
DJ.
Let's
Right, and it's him.
That ESPN DJ.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
That'd be amazing. Let's do
Are
that.
he in future? Is Russ in future tight?
I don't think so. All right, let's move on.
Definitely not.
I'm not 100% sure. Maybe. We don't know.
Well, actually, we do because Russell and Sierra were at a party and they didn't know Future was there, and they left immediately. I believe that was over
They got
the summer.
kids, man. They probably had to let the babysitter go.
Yeah, probably got food poisoning.
Yeah.
Probably felt a little sick. Something. Maybe some people weren't wearing their masks.
I think it was the
That's
only time
possible.
we've seen them in public where they weren't like holding hands and lovey-dovey. Actually,
What?
Oh, what?
Yeah.
What is this? This sounds
Wow,
like a
you
bunch
really
of
broke this
bullshit.
down.
no, this happened over the summer. They were at like a charity event or something, and Future was like a surprise performer, and they were unaware and they left immediately.
I thought it was the Super Bowl.
Sierra still has feelings for Future.
I don't know about that. I
No.
don't think
No.
What are you
Russell
doing?
loves,
What are you doing? What are you doing?
That's what Connor said.
That's not what I said.
Listen, none of us know
She
any of
wouldn't
this.
hold Russell's
Okay.
hand.
No, Russ just stood up and said, "Hey, Sierra, let's ride."
That's right.
What did he say?
Thank you.
Hey, Sierra, let's ride.
A little bit more.
Does it change if he's what is he? What if he's really upset? How does he say?
No, yeah, Future just showed up. What is he
Hey,
say?
Sierra, let's ride.
All right, let's say he's pumped. Let's say somebody he loves. shows
Hey,
up.
Sierra, let's ride.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what if they're going to the VCon?
Yeah.
That's excitement.
Hey, Sierra, let's ride.
Okay, yeah. Sound like there wasn't enough excitement.
Nah, I mean, Gary V. I just can't do it.
What?
Have you read AJ Hawk's Wikipedia?
I have.
He one day dreams
yeah,
of
what does
working.
that say on there?
Yeah.
He one day dream of working for Gary V. Anyways, none of you deserve to work for Gary V. Except for me and Foxy, maybe.
Thank you.
Me and Foxy.
How much
I
would
love
you
Gary.
pay to work for Gary V?
Well, getting closer to his son. Get a chance to pay a lot of money for that.
A blackjack hand with Dana White.
Bingo.
Yes.
There you go.
Hey, that's going to happen. Did you hear that? That's pretty sweet. How much am I losing that night? $250,000? It
No,
sounds like
no, you're walking away.
Yeah.
Remember,
You gotta get a marker.
One hand, win, leave.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's what you hope happens there. When a 5-card 21 pops up on that hand, that's going to be a heartbreaker.
Yeah,
I'm guessing Dana plays one-on-one with the dealer like Jordan. He didn't want some slappy sitting at third base hitting on 18.
Wow.
True. Like Julio Jones.
I had a little blackjack happening in my house for my birthday or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
There were some terrible decisions being made around that table.
Sometimes.
But it
And
works
that's the
out.
problem.
every
Then
once
they
in a while.
win. Look at me. Look, I'm smart. I won.
Bingo. Yeah.
Guess who's getting snake bit?
But guess what? Yeah, Ty's going to lose. But the that just kind of continues to be a trend.
Yeah.
Pat, did Coach JB kill 2 owls?
I don't know. I haven't kept up with the owl story. What's going on?
There were some owls attacking his dogs last night, and he told him, like, you guys come down here. I'm going to get you.
Are they, what they do? Hoot back? Hoot?
I don't know if they came down. I bet he hit him with a baseball bat if they got near his dog.
JB's got a good baseball bat swing.
He does.
He can shoot a basketball. He can throw a football. He used to be all city quarterback.
that's
and then
right.
with that bat, they said he owl hunts.
We expect.
Could have been the blow poke.
Kill these motherfucking owls.
The fire?
Yeah.
We expect. Who expect?
What?
That was his motivational
Coach
speech.
JB motivational speech.
You know what's cool here in
God in these
in LA was hearing
motherfucking
JB
owls.
break down quarterback play.
What's that, pal?
I liked standing there when JB got into like the technical aspects of QB play, like footwork and so like he knows the stuff, like the individual coaching, all the tiny things that make me a terrible coach are what make JB a great coach.
Yeah, his delivery is just something that some people who do the hiring will never be able to keep up with.
Yeah.
But I do believe that JB does love the football and know the football.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He is very passionate about football, which is cool to see.
Loves the football. I mean, Coach JUCO, you got to be
Like old Wayno. Old Wayne Gretzky loves hockey. I can tell that from watching Biz and them on their show.
He loves Edmonton, I think, a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
Biz last night with the announcement of the starters.
Yeah.
Fuck for the
Oil
Kings. Kings or whatever. Legendary. That haircut, Biz is doing it right now. It is awesome to see.
He's awesome.
He is. He's fantastic. He's good for hockey. As is Wayno talking.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's good to have Wayno up there. I didn't know he was. Is he from Edmonton?
No, that's just where he played and had a majority of his success.
Okay, yeah, because they got a lot of Gretzky records there at Edmonton. Those people probably losing their mind that fucking old Wayno's just sitting up in the concourse, right, of those in that arena.
Just hanging out.
Oh yeah, they love it. Like he's a national hero. Obviously, he's everything to them.
That's awesome. Can't wait for Pasternak to be a Pittsburgh Penguin.
Oh,
Hey, I watched that game. Those guys are so good and so damn fast and skilled. It's unbelievable watching them play.
So fast. That's the thing. Like, you look at these teams that are left playing right now. Well, see Edmonton. That's pretty quick and easy come, easy go there. Mike Smith, hell of a run.
Hey, good run, Mike.
It was entertaining though.
Hell yeah, it was. He was staying on his head, like actually, and letting up goals. The hell of a run, Mike.
Hey, good job, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. The speed is the difference between the teams that make it and the teams that don't. It is very obvious. Like they are much fast. That Colorado team flies. Now, I'm not saying that Tampa doesn't and the New York doesn't, but the teams that make it are the teams that fly, as opposed to, maybe the Pens that are going to have to pick up Pasternak, right winger on a road, Boston Bruins.
Rapoport pretty much confirmed it.
Yeah, NHL Insider for the NHL Network told us Pasternak going to the Pittsburgh Penguins.
I don't know. Rapper also said, last week, like I mentioned Krejci, but I really wish I could care more about this. But, the Celtics are in the finals. I really, I worry about hockey next hockey season during
That's
February.
why Pasta's coming to hockey time.
Yeah. No, that's not why. That's just how
Denver?
it works.
Today's show's
What?
University of Denver, I believe, won the national title, and now the Abs just swept them to go to the Stanley Cup. So I guess Evie is pretty upset. Detroit is not hockey town.
Well,
everyone wants to be Detroit. Everyone wants to be hockey town.
Nobody wants
never, ever has that been said.
Yes.
No.
You're actually the first person
no.
on
On
earth
this
to ever
show.
say that sentence.
Hey, we never get to do this, actually. Most words and phrases and sentences have been concocted at some point by a human in the history of language.
First time ever.
First time that's ever been said.
Every day
Way to
on the
go.
show,
This
you
guy
guys
broke a
are
record.
screaming
Foxy.
From the rooftops, I want to be Detroit. That's what you guys are saying every
Nobody's
hockey
ever
talk.
We
Never.
birthed you.
And you know what?
Little
Pasta,
Caesar's pizza stinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Says Rocket Mortgage.
It does.
I love hot and ready's. All
Little Caesars used to be
so good.
Hot and
Yeah.
Ready's.
I cannot slander Little Caesars. I'm going to say that
Do it.
$5 takeaway thing or whatever it was.
Got me
It's
through
dog
college.
shit.
Little
It's terrible.
pepperoni. Do you put
It's pretty good.
college $5 that pizza?
You eat that
Ranch
$5
dressing?
bill, it would taste better.
No.
in
Well,
college.
$5 bills only this big. The pizza was fucking
it's
huge.
huge.
Get precise.
You get crazy bread for $1.99 too.
Oh, ranch dressing on everything. Oh. Anyways, now that I'm adult, Little Caesars did kind of taste like cardboard. didn't it?
Oh yeah, it's ass.
Had it one time.
Hungry Howie's is way better than Little Caesars.
Hungry Howie's is great. Domino's is great. Domino's also from Michigan. We're pizza time too, I guess.
Whoa.
Shut your mouth, Italians here.
Mom spaghetti though.
Well, actually,
that's a
Mom
fucking
spaghetti.
restaurant.
He's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. The whole crowd goes so loud. He opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's choking out. Everybody's choking out. His heart's out. The time's up. Over. Blah. Step back to reality, AJ. Jesus.
Come on.
Let's get back to the show.
Hoff is still buried there?
Well, turns out maybe MetLife Stadium. Or something.
Yeah, underneath in the end zone.
Not Detroit.
Yeah, I'm not hurt.
Detroit sucks.
Well,
We
I
all
think-
know that.
I didn't even hear what Tony said.
Talking
Is John
about
Wayne
Jimmy.
Gacy still alive?
Jimmy Hoffa.
He does not live in Detroit, I don't think. John Wayne Gacy. That's Waterloo.
Yeah,
Island.
is your guy still alive?
No,
Buried
he's
in
dead.
Waterloo.
He's deader than shit.
Thank
Is
you.
he?
Did they kill him?
Yeah,
He died in jail?
I believe so. Yeah.
COVID get him or before?
I think some guard just shot him in the back of the head.
I think it's awesome.
Sounds like a classic bait and switch, and he's actually out there.
Well, Waxy's guy.
Yeah.
AJ.
Who?
You.
Who else is out there?
Listen to that.
I know.
Innocence.
Who's still out there?
You know.
I don't know. It's hard. What happened to that lady and that dude that were running shit and they had an island and everything and the one guy committed suicide?
Lady in
and
the Tramp?
Well,
The other lady?
That's like what that documentary gets into.
Which documentary?
Where the end about, I think it was about Ghislaine. It might have been Epstein, and at the end they
Ghislaine.
reveal how they knew each other and Ghislaine's father,
Ghislaine.
and that entire thing kind of
He fell off a boat.
sheds a completely different light on
She
it.
fell off a boat?
He did. He died.
her
He fell off his
father.
yacht. They think there might be some foul play.
Epstein?
No. Ghislaine's
her
dad,
dad.
remember?
Ghislaine.
And then they casually dropped at the end
Well, he's a secret agent.
that he was a secret agent. for
Yeah, they're all
Israel.
spies.
Yeah, they're all
Allegedly,
spies.
it's all spies trying to garner blackmail on the rest
Yeah.
of the world.
And that's what that little black book is about.
And they're alive for sure. They just put plastic surgery on the face and they're off and
Send
running
them
somewhere
back
else.
out.
He was just trending on Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Probably because he got a new plastic surgery.
Yeah.
He's. Why does that stuff happen, you think, in our world where it's hard not to believe what we just
Wait,
said?
which stuff?
Well, it's probably misinformation we just said, and people will tell us is that, but it's hard not to believe some stuff after what other stuff does happen.
Well, even Elon. Elon's asking, like, hey, where's all the info?
You know, what's going on here?
Those guards are in prison now. Who were supposed to be on duty. I'm
They got a
pretty
deal.
sure
I think they got a
Well,
deal.
yeah,
They
they're,
don't get
they're prison guards, of course.
No, I
They're
think they
jail
got
9 to
charged.
5.
Yeah, but I think they got charged.
That's good. Let's go to some phones. I feel pretty good about it, yeah. Because I saw them in jail in my head, full of duty. I'm like, well, I guess everybody in there's in jail. I used to watch Locked Up a lot. You ever watch that?
That was good. I've been seeing on YouTube pops up a little bit for me, like they put people in that are almost like undercover people, and they go into these open pod
Not
jails,
undercover.
and then people go under the stairs and get beat up and stuff.
Yeah, it's not undercover people. It's just humans. They're just doing it as like a social experiment in the jails. I forget the name of it. 60 days, maybe?
Yeah.
60 days in. I went on quite a bender of this as well. There was some idiots in there that like, you are acting wrong right now. You are in a bad spot. I would never do
The
that.
jail knows, though, right? Like, everyone
Yes.
knows.
Not
there's a-
everyone, no. Just the warden.
The guards don't even know.
Guards don't know. Warden knows.
So the cameras are just there, but they're just always there, I guess. Or
I think
'cause
they tell
it's
the
not
jail-
cameramen walking around. They're fixed.
They're PTZs. I think they tell the jail that it's like a reality show about jails or something like that. Like it's just coverage of it. Because the big fear in that 60 days in is somebody found out I'm on TV show, you get me out of here. And they do like the to the thing like, hey, I'm about to get sliced right now. Please get me the fuck out of here. And then if the warden or the camera crew can't get a hold of the guards who don't know, so they have to call the guards to do the whole thing. There's always like this little bit of buzz right before commercial. Is this person going to get their fucking throat slashed on the other side? Oh, find out. It was a good show. It's a pretty good show there. I binged that one for a bit.
I've seen some of the clips pop up like, oh, top 5 fights from 60 days in or whatever, and it's pretty interesting.
You do not want to be. Have you ever been in like even the drunk tank or anything?
No, luckily not.
It's the fucking worst, dude. They put me in a cage, a glass cage, in the middle of all the everybody else because I was a special. Bro, I don't know how anybody does it. I have no clue how, let alone like the thought about your life and what could be happening politically in there, what you got to do, and you know the reality TV of you got to win this person over and win this. Let alone all that shit. Just the sitting in the same place, just forever. Man, there's just so many parts of that ain't nobody want a piece of it if you're like me at all.
I hope eventually. I wonder if eventually you, I don't know, you just settle into that. No.
Me or the
you? Not you. If you like, say you have a 10-year sentence, at some point you have to. I don't know. Does your brain just be like, all right, hey,
this is the
gotta
new
accept
normal?
it. This is it.
Yeah, I guess you just have to accept it. Like you just have to kind of act as if. They talk about it as months, by the way, not years. People in jail. So what you just said, they're 120 months. Because then once that gets under 100 months, it's like, ooh, a milestone, as opposed to years.
That'd be kind of tough. I've seen that stuff about that Supermax out in Colorado where like the Unabomber is, all like the big high profile people are that no one's ever escaped from.
Yeah, and we never hear from them again, right? Nobody's allowed to talk to them. They're not allowed to do anything.
They're not allowed to see anybody either.
So what are we doing? And are they even there? I guess.
Oh no!
Didn't what's his name release like a whole entire like book
manifesto?
Yeah.
Kaczynski?
Kaczynski, yeah.
Yeah, he did when he was out.
That's how they found him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh wow.
Out in that woods in that cabin.
It's so dumb though. Like in these school shooters too. When you say these kids left a manifesto, that's stupid. No, stop like glorifying the person. When you say they left this manifesto, no, it's a
they're not a professor.
It's a deranged kid that had ramblings that he wrote down on a piece of paper. Stop calling it a manifesto. Like that always annoys me.
Yeah, me too. You're acting like there's some sophisticated being that should be read.
Rolling Stones put the Boston Bomber on the cover.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah.
The magazine did, not the band.
Yeah.
Rolling Stone, he still got it, by the way.
And Mick Jagger actually wheeled him out, had him sing with him.
So did Mick Jagger did they just sell the name of the band to the magazine?
I thought so.
Or is it in conjunction with?
It's a good question.
That is a good question. I have no idea.
Let's go to the phones.
What was first?
The chicken or the egg? I think it was evolution.
I thought it was Mick Jagger.
The band started like in the 50s, didn't they?
Oh, got it.
60s?
Yeah, I thought it was them.
I assume the band was first, and then
for sure.
The magazine was a nod not just to the Rolling Stones, but also to Muddy Waters' Rolling Stone. And
Papa was a Rolling Stone.
And Bob Dylan's Like a Rolling Stone.
Oh, yeah.
And as the euphemism, a Rolling Stone gathers no moss. A few things.
Jim Irsay concert coming to town.
Let's go.
Can't wait.
Here we go.
Yeah, I believe it's coming to Indianapolis.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Hopefully we're not in Vegas gambling
Where?
blackjack. What's that?
Where does he play?
I think just the entire downtown. He just rents out every street.
Anywhere he wants.
I'm coming.
Puts his whole museum up. The museum's on Meridian. Concerts on Georgia. Down
Does
there
James Dolan get to sing at all? Is James Dolan opening for him, the Knicks owner?
I'm not sure if they're in the
He
same
has an
band.
awesome band.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're in the same band. I know he's got ZZ Top guys in his band.
Okay.
He's got Huey Lewis and the Blues, I believe, drummer. I believe.
The
I
News.
believe. Huh?
Huey Lewis and the News.
There it is. Them.
Yeah.
He's got
It's
their
some
drum.
hits.
Bob Dylan?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, if Bob Dylan was there.
I don't know if he's got. Is Bob Dylan dead?
What about Jacob Dylan?
No, still alive.
I think he's friends with Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
I believe Jim
I would
Irsay.
imagine.
Jacob Dylan has a lot of hits.
Who's that? Bob's kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, One Headlight, is that him?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Wallflowers.
Wallflowers.
A lot of people say Bob's the greatest songwriter of all time.
I believe Jim Irsay has said that before. What, you don't? What was that? Okay.
I don't know Bob Dylan enough. Has he written a lot of songs that other people have used?
Yes.
Yeah.
I figured that.
Who do you think? Luke Combs?
He wrote All Along the Watchtower, didn't he?
No,
Luke Combs?
No, Bob Dylan. He said Jimi Hendrix did it.
Actually, you know what? I'd love a fucking Luke Combs all along the Watchtower cover. Get to it, Luke. I see you playing golf. Do that.
He's a good golfer?
He
I
did write
doubt
All
it.
Along the Watchtower. Whoever asked that.
Yeah, Bob Dylan wrote it. Yeah, good call. Way to look that up, Tone. Thank you, pal.
Boy,
And
Tony.
and Wagon Wheel.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you can just rip anybody's song, I was told.
Mm-hmm.
Luke Combs probably good at pool.
I guarantee he's good at pool.
What is that supposed to mean?
He looks like he'd be good at pool.
Go on.
Which one is Luke Combs?
Sons of bitches.
You know who Luke Combs is.
You have big beard?
Long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart. He chugs beers a lot. Punts beers, shotguns beers. I like him. He's good. I think he's a good songwriter. I think so.
Nice.
Yeah. Who's that other guy? Big bearded guy? Was with Justin Timberlake, Tennessee?
Stapleton.
Chris
Stapleton.
He wrote a bunch of songs, right?
He was a
Tennessee
songwriter
whiskey.
before he was an artist.
He can sing.
Oh, like Gaga.
Ain't nobody like that guy from fucking One Republic.
Yeah.
Ryan Singer.
Mm-hmm.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
All from the show, that reality show.
Tedder.
From Songland.
There it is.
Ryan Tedder.
Yeah, from Songland. That guy, he's got great hair. He's got this blonde hair that goes. He's probably 4 foot something. I don't know. I have no idea.
tiny
Never
guy.
seen him in person. They just did a Europe tour. I follow him on Instagram. I comment on a couple of his things. Super Mark. Like he said, this is what I'm gonna wear for my shows. And I think I commented one time, doesn't matter what you're wearing, dude, we're coming to the show anyway. Just like as well, there's no response from him. That Songland show was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know why they got rid of that show. I guess I was the only person watching it. Fucking worth it.
Ryan Cabrera on that?
I
No.
don't think so.
No.
Come on.
Should have been.
That dogfight football scene in
Yeah.
Top Gun. They're playing a One Republic song on the beach.
Yeah, they made the song for the movie, I believe.
Yeah, he can make that song in half a second, by the way. Hey, we need
good.
a song, Top Gun, on the beach, playing football with no rules. Got it. Boom. Need a little bit more hi-hat, a little bit more this. Had it out of nowhere. The guy is an absolute genius. Love him. Love everything about him. The Jonas Brothers, like, wow, we just got a banger because of this guy.
Update on Songland. It will not be coming back to TV, but maybe the app.
Maybe. That's a fucking
What app?
Nighty night.
Peacock.
Fuck.
Peacock is an app things are on.
Yes.
Not just WWE.
Yeah, they got movies and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched The Office on there.
Yellowstone's on there.
There's shows on there. Daily
Yeah.
shows are on there. You know that?
First we should.
Now I do.
Not fair.
Well, that's kind
What
of
daily shows? What do you mean?
So Dan Patrick's on there. Rich is on there. I think Pro Football Talk's on there.
What? Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just learning about this. Honestly, I had no idea. A fucking asshole bad guy.
They're not on NBC Sports?
Is NBC Sports
That is
still
not a thing anymore.
I don't think it's a thing.
It's dead.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just learning this. Honestly, I did not know this.
Well, they don't even have a tab for it.
Yeah, you got to do a little dumpster diving to find it,
You gotta
but
go to sports and
it's in there.
Found it all the way on the left side.
Dumpster dive.
I actually just watched a baseball game on Peacock the other day. It was
How
great.
was it?
It was great. It was better than the Apple coverage.
Here we go.
Hey, what's going on with that? I haven't seen any of the Apple coverage.
What's
All I
going
hear is
on?
people complaining.
I mean, the camera angles are like really sweet, and the cameras they have are super nice, but the booth absolutely stinks. It's no way to watch
Who's in
a
it?
game.
Who's doing it?
It's good people, though. Good people.
Is it people
Yeah.
we know?
One of them might be. I know Katie Nolan does it every once in a while, but then they have like a rotating cast, and I don't think there's much chemistry.
Are they in the stadium?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
It's being broadcast like most games are being broadcasted?
Yeah, but the cameras like are a little bit different. It kind of has some of like the when guys score in the NFL and they have that really nice camera in the end zone. Like they're doing that when guys are on deck and stuff like that. So like the game is a little bit different when you're watching it, but I mean ultimately it stinks.
Damn. Jesus.
But it's nice.
Hey, you know what? If
they got games on there, I'll watch the Angels play late.
you guys should go to the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today's show is brought to you by the best ticket app on planet Earth and the Moon. SeatGeek. Reminder that there is another United States men's soccer game this weekend in Austin, Texas, this Friday, June 10th.
Are they gonna boycott as well?
No, just Canada. I've learned a lot about Canada lately.
Canada sucks.
You're on the boot slides.
I like Canadian people. It sounds like people running Canada for a long time. Kind of.
Yeah.
What happened?
I just have been learning more and more and more and more about it. Yeah. Let alone their team finally makes the World Cup and says, actually, we'd rather not play.
Yeah, we're good
for this country. It's crazy. That happened just on Sunday. They just sat down. They said, well, we'll go to the stadium, but we ain't playing a game.
No way.
We'll run some passes, some ball possession games. We'll take it as a practice, but we ain't playing. Breaking, says Rick Westhead, not Easthead.
No.
Not Northhead. Don't even think about Southhead. That son of a bitch is always wrong.
It's his cousin.
Rick Westhead, always right.
All the time.
Canadian men's national team will not play in a World Cup warm-up game scheduled tonight in Vancouver at home, by the way, in Panama. The team is on strike over player compensation issues. We'll have details tonight on Sports Centra.
Listen, if Rick Westhead is tweeting about what you got going on, you're in deep shit.
What's Rick Westhead? He does
he
it,
does
huh?
heavy, deep stuff, yeah.
That's what I've been saying. Northhead, Southhead, Easthead can't hold a flamehead to Westhead.
Jokers.
Ain't that right, AJ?
That's what they say. I've heard that before.
Hey, Rick will get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, he will.
Anyways, the United States men's team is playing and not boycotting.
Right. They're going all out.
Fans were boycotting in Cincinnati, Ohio, I guess, a couple weeks ago.
Probably a lot going on.
Well, maybe in Ohio, of course, but we wanted to, help everybody out alongside SeatGeek. Yeah. If you want to go to the game Friday, June 10th and support the future Soccer Lombardi champions.
Hell yeah.
Right now with SeatGeek, use promo code WeAreSoccer, WeAreSoccer. You will get 20% off your tickets to that particular game.
Holy shit.
Goal.
That's right.
20%.
We can't guarantee there will be a goal.
No.
Or even any shots at all on net.
Might be
Don't expect.
We don't know how
one
long the
going
game's
in.
going to be either.
Or how long the game is. We have no clue. But we need to support this team that is going to represent our country. We Are Soccer, 20% off. And Austin, Texas, what a cool place to go to.
Yeah,
it's
great
awesome.
place.
Good chance McConaughey's going to be there, so that's worth the price of admission right there.
Boom. And probably Elon and Rogan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How about it?
Boom.
Coolest place on earth.
You can still get 10% off all other tickets at the link in our description here at youtube.com/the Pat McAfee Show right down below. 10% off all tickets, everything. Thanks to our friends at SeatGeek. 20% off tickets to the United States men's national team game against whoever they're playing in Austin, Texas on Friday with the promo code WeAreSoccer, all one word.
Hell yeah.
Nameless, faceless opponents.
Bingo.
Doesn't matter.
Is Prolific playing or not?
Is there a ball on the field?
Is it a pitch?
Yeah. Ball's in the net then.
Who we playing?
Grenada. There's probably going to be some scoring happening.
Grenada sucks.
Exactly.
Whoa.
We might
dude.
score 10 goals.
See, we should. I'm going to be upset if we don't beat the shit out of Grenada.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough sell to people that don't follow soccer on a regular basis. If you're not beating the country of Grenada, which is beautiful.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Wonderful.
But if you're the United States and you're not beating Grenada by 10 to 15, I think you're going to lose a lot of Americans that are a little bit stupid on the entire soccer thing.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Need that to happen.
I'm still kind of bitter about Pulisic calling us out.
Well, he caught out Ohio.
Yeah.
AJ.
Did he?
Kansas City was packed.
Yep.
It was.
Tell you what, looking at pictures of Grenada, it might be the fucking most beautiful place in the world.
It is. It's
world.
gorgeous. That's why as soon as you said that, I actually kind of got a little bit upset. Like, yo, whoa,
No,
easy.
he said it.
But you're 100% right. Like, Grenada.
They suck at soccer. We should beat the fuck out of Grenada. Seriously.
He's not wrong.
And if we don't, then
They should be good, though. You would think playing in that nice weather 365 days a year, they have an advantage.
Okay, and if you want to go watch the United States play Grenada,
Yeah.
use SeatGeek right now with promo code WeAreSoccer, no spaces, for 20% off all tickets to watch
USA just fucking dominate Grenada.
in the road to.
That's right. They only have a
Hell yeah.
population of 100,000, though. So
Yeah,
that's
so we better
tough.
beat the
Road-
fuck out
that's
of
what
them
we're saying.
thoroughly.
We could put together
They're
a
gonna blow
team
'em
from
out.
Rhode Island to beat Grenada.
What?
Seriously, we could.
This guy.
The country is smaller than how many cities in America?
Damn.
100,000?
All of
Every
them?
single.
All of them.
Smaller than Indianapolis.
Small, yeah,
Oh,
by
yeah.
far.
Much
It's
smaller.
probably smaller than Green Bay.
It's a fifth
Just need,
of
just need 11 good ones. That's how many play.
That's what I mean.
If that's how
is.
many play, act like you don't know as much about soccer as you do. Wow.
Is
I've
it
learned-
11? Because my daughter just stepped up to 11 on 11.
Yes, 10 and a goalie. Let's call Gumpy real quick, can we please?
Basically the same population as Green Bay, Wisconsin.
It's a great place.
The Spice Boys, their soccer team is known as.
Oh, I love that.
That's a good
They
name.
probably have
Well, they
great
better be
spices.
singing because
If you want to be my soccer,
you better
gotta beat Grenada. Buy a mountain. Beat the fuck out of Grenada. I think the two of the Spice Girls, I believe it was Sporty and Spicy,
Really?
were in.
Oh, Spicy Spice. Yeah, how's she doing?
She's good.
She's good. I think
Yeah.
she had a little extra flair.
Yeah, she's crushing it.
They were on The Circle, the Netflix show.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
Posh.
Was it baby?
They were on there for a couple episodes.
Posh, or was that Beckham?
It was Baby and Scary.
I thought it was Sporty.
Nah.
Scary's a spice.
Posh was Victoria, right?
Scary was America's Got Talent.
Yes.
Mel B.
Mel B.
there it is.
Is Scary Spice?
I was well versed and educated by my lady about what we were watching. Yeah.
I would have never
On
known.
the
I thought it was Spicy.
Spicy Spice.
Why is she Scary Spice?
Because you get all of them with the group, dude.
Yeah.
Somebody had to be scared.
You have some of her spice and you're scared, yeah.
Hey, you ever look at a spice rack? All right. Joining us now is our soccer aficionado who's currently being detained in a country that I'm learning more and more about by the day and starting to get more and more. What the fuck?
Yeah.
The Canadian sensation, ladies and gentlemen, Bubba Gumpy.
I
How you doing,
What's
pal?
up, boys?
Hey, how's the fitness going?
We're getting there. Back in it this morning, 5 a.m. You know how it goes.
And baby!
Let's
AJ, you wanted to add
Oh,
on?
Goopy, I got a question about healthcare. If you tore your pec benching with all your steroid buddies, how quick do you get that thing fixed up there?
It takes a bit, but it is free. That's kind of the drawback.
Yeah, it is free.
Yeah, it is
free.
free, but there is a drawback.
That's awesome. That's incredible. Universal healthcare. Way to go, Canada.
Let's go. You did it. Takes 2 years, but
No, quality's good too. All right, let's go. It is, by the way. I think as a world, we should figure that one out.
What's that?
That one.
we try.
We should figure that one out.
Universal
healthcare?
Yeah, because everybody that points to different countries that are currently doing it, there's always some on the other end, like, yeah, but also much worse kind of than our situation if you have anything at all, because the quality of doctors, the time it takes, blah, 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 blah. Every time it's brought up, that's something that should be figured out. How many bazillions of dollars are being put into whatever? Yeah. Can we not figure that one out?
Well,
that feels like one we should figure out.
If Elon just donates $100 billion, then each hospital in the world, you do the math, gets $1 billion.
I think there's more than 100 hospitals.
100 hospitals in the world?
I think there's more than 100 hospitals.
Somebody tweeted that. It was right.
You remember that math?
No, but like I got
Everyone in the
something
world
done
get
in
$1
the
million.
States quicker than I ever would here.
Well,
Like,
That's the American difference, baby. Sorry. It fucking sucks.
Imaginary line, too, just right down here.
Yep.
Can't come across it. Let's talk about the United States Grenada. I know nothing about it other than it's like an incredibly beautiful country or whatever. Connor seemed to have done his research. He said we should win by 10 to 15. Population of 100,000 people. If we lose to Grenada, all systems are a problem in Qatar?
yeah, you can't do that.
Okay,
The road
cool.
to Qatar is not kind if you lose that game, my friend.
Are they bad?
Grenada, yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say 4-0 should be the
But who cares right now?
starting point.
In these
What?
exhibition games, though, Goop, who cares? Why does it matter? All we care about is what they do in Qatar.
Yeah, but think about it. This USA team has never had this full team together. They have to learn how to play with each
Get the
other.
chemistry up.
Chemistry, okay.
Well, is Reina not playing?
They all play on
Reina's
13
still
different
hurt.
squads. How are they supposed to play together?
Well, that's everywhere. That's every team, AJ. That's not just the United States.
Then why are we not competing with the world?
We are.
the world.
We're winning
Okay,
this year.
then what
We
does
are
the
the children.
successful World Cup look like for this U.S. team? And don't tell me winning. Like I'd say, Goop, I can trust you. You're a rational human. What's a successful World Cup run look like for us?
Getting out of the group stage.
Oh, come on!
That's that Canadian mindset.
That's not
Did you hear
wrong.
that?
That's
Just
a
get
good,
out of the
that's
group.
a good
Yeah,
group.
right.
dude.
Oh,
What
you
does that
know
mean?
why?
How many
You got something
England,
fixed in America quicker.
Wales, those are all good teams.
Wales. Hey, we love Wales. People in Wales are probably great people, but follow up what they did to Ukraine.
Yeah. Fucked up.
You got to
Hey,
win the
don't
first
throw me
game
in
after
there.
the group.
But Wales is
Bingo.
a good team, man.
Win one game in the knockout stage. Success.
Yes, quarterfinals at least.
Fuck it. We got to win the soccer Lombardi. I ain't talking about it.
Grenada is
Or at
plus.
least take them 98 minutes in the final
Hell
and
yeah.
lose in PKs.
1-0.
Yeah. Or yeah.
That's a tough group, man. That's
No,
a
it's
tough group.
not.
Yeah, because America's in it.
Yeah, it's our group. It's the group with deaths because we're in it, pal.
Canada's group's got one
Who's
less
the
team
fourth
in it.
team? I forget. Iran.
Yeah, Iran.
Yeah, okay.
Which, by the way, I mean, let's
gotta
go.
pass
These guys
to them,
play.
too.
Follow up. Is Canada even in the World Cup anymore?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. First time they ever been worth this shit.
Pal, you go back to Canada, their team just starts having work stoppages.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What's that?
Fucking send me back. They'll lace the boots up again. Here we go.
Oh, is there going to be scabs?
Barter. Sounds like a good barter to me.
Scab
Christ.
goomp.
Is there going to be scabs, though, you think? Have you heard anything up there about how that'll get settled, or you're not paying attention at all?
Yeah, I have no clue, to be honest. I thought they weren't playing.
It's got a boots on the ground in Canada with an update on the Canadian soccer holdout situation. How you doing gambling? I know Diggs is hot on the diamond. Are you getting hotter or colder now that you're back in Canada?
Hockey's good. Ball was good last night. Need the Celtics.
Yeah, here we go.
When's that, tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Who you got, Rangers, Tampa tonight?
Both 60 minute. Come on. I bet the Bulls 25 times to win the cup throughout the playoffs.
They're gonna go, huh? You think?
God, it
Avalanche
has to.
flies
You can't
around.
have Rangers Avalanche final. Come on.
Avs have won, what, 8 straight? Is that true?
Series or games?
Games.
Yeah, the West has kind of been
Jeez.
Yeah, they're
Like,
rolling.
I mean, how you trot that guy out there every fucking game? The backup's decent. Give him a chance.
Oh, you're talking about Mike Smith.
Mikey.
Guy's 41 years old doing swan dives, firing the puck. Like, give it a rest, dude.
He does seem to be on the ice more than most goalies.
Yeah.
He's kind of flopping around.
Yeah, stacking the pads.
He always puts his arms up like it's somebody else's fault.
I love that.
He's a soccer goalie.
Yeah.
NHL goalies normally head down, skate away, pissed off, they come back. Soccer goalies always mad at somebody else. We
Yep.
talked about this. He is that was
Hey.
41 years of this.
Fucking tighten up, boys.
He let one in from the other end and put his arms up like it wasn't his fault.
Against Calgary.
I was supposed to see the fucking thing.
What was that, top shelf, too? It's right over his shoulder.
Couldn't see it. Fuck.
How about the fucking defenseman or whoever shot that was like, I mean, this guy does kind of stink. Let's fucking
slap.
That's like a high school type situation. If
Oh,
you're
yeah. Let it eat.
I think I could fucking.
You might see one of those go in a year off like a dribbler. Like it'll hit the ice and take a weird bounce, hop over short. Never all the way in the air like that.
On
It
the
just-
fly.
Yeah. That was
Back of
tough.
the net. You remember soccer camps? You used to try to hit the back of the net on the fly or whatever from however far you are. I assume in hockey they do the same thing. That guy does it in the middle of a fucking Stanley Cup playoff game.
Yeah.
I think I could hit it on the fly. That fucking guy back there was going to do a handstand. Yeah, and we scored.
Goal.
There's
He's
no
got to have the record for most goals given up on a playoff run. Has to be.
No,
Has to.
3 out of 5 shots in 5 minutes and 49 seconds in the third period, which is
What
his
about
last
the first
game.
First game battle of Alberta. What did he give up? 6 in the first?
First game of the Avs, he gave up 8 goals, right? Or did he give up half of them?
Yeah, tough go.
They just keep skating his ass out there.
Yeah.
Tell you what, you put Mike Smith on the Pens though, they're still in the fucking.
I doubt it.
King Domingue is way better
Bro,
than
that
Mike
guy
Smith.
is
He's 100
so
times
bad.
better than Louis Domingue.
No.
Mike Smith.
Dude,
Now that I know
no
how
way.
now that I know how the starting announcements go after watching Biz thing in the Oil Kings locker room, Mike Smith has held them hostage this entire playoff run. About this being his last go. Hey, I'm retiring. You're gonna start somebody else, and the coach is like, starting in net, and then he goes to the point. And Mike's my last.
I got one more.
Hey, he might not be done. He might come back for another run.
No
Probably
the
Boston.
Oil Kings
Going to the AHL.
Maybe Boston. Maybe Vegas. Vegas needs a goalie.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what?
maybe Boston, Vegas.
We got our guy. Bring him home. Bring him to Vegas. The guy we got fucking stinks. I'll take Mike Smith's theatrics out there. I'd love it.
Now, we do have to say what Mike Smith has faced over the last 2 months in which we all were introduced to this guy and have seen him play are the best hockey players on earth. This is deep into the playoffs. These are great players.
True.
This isn't just,
He also had 2 of the best players in the world on his team.
well, they didn't. Well, if they were on the other teams, their stats probably.
Yeah, even higher.
Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Juan in New Mexico. Was this?
Is this?
I don't know. Juan in New Mexico, what's going on? Have you ever called the show before?
Hey, what's up, Pat boys? AJ, wish the spirit of Lordo there was too.
Juan, have you called the show before? Juan, have you called this show before?
First time caller, actually. No, I've not called before.
Fuck. All right. What do you want to talk about, Juan?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask if you were going to be in Albuquerque on the 12th for WWE Live.
Is it what day of the week?
It's going to be on a Sunday, I believe.
No go.
Or
Sorry.
Saturday.
Sorry. No go. Sorry about it.
It's a premium live event.
Well, if it's a premium live event, I'll be there. It's not a premium live event. It sounds like it's a house show. These are great shows, though. These are what everybody says is like the best shows because people can just do whatever the hell they want.
Announcers. House shows.
All right.
Sorry about it, Juan.
I did want to ask why.
Sorry about it. What are you laughing
What
about?
was Ezekiel?
What are you laughing at?
What happened?
What is your problem?
What happened to Ezekiel?
What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
What was that last night?
He's playing Kevin Owens' game.
Yeah.
Got him.
He's from our school. He's a hustler.
Playing possum, dude.
Fucking owned him.
Tricked you, dude.
Wait, so the brother came back?
No.
Whoa. Jeez.
He lied.
He did. He lied. He said, I am Elias. And then, deal was made. And then he goes, I lied to you. I'm Ezekiel. And then he walked out.
Fucking owned his ass.
Yeah, it was insane.
It was sick.
Fucking bamboozled him, hustled him.
So is there no Elias then?
What? Yes.
What are you
Brother,
talking
dude.
about?
Ezekiel is Elias' younger brother.
It ain't that hard.
It is though.
No,
It
it's
ain't
not.
that hard.
No.
You gotta pay attention.
It ain't that
It
hard.
is.
No,
It
it's
ain't,
not.
AJ.
Envision
Oh,
yourself
bro.
learning this information for the first time at 38 years old. It is somewhat difficult to keep track of.
Of what? Ezekiel
What?
is Elias' younger
All
brother.
the storylines I'm saying, not just Ezekiel and Elias. You guys obviously throw me off the scent a million times, but whoever is back now between Ezekiel and Elias, I just want to see a tag team match with those two guys to take on anyone in the world.
Well, we kind of hope that's the case. The brothers get back in good graces with each other. I mean, that's especially.
Why is it? What's with the strife? Why are they?
Well, everybody find Elias disappeared, and now there's a chance that maybe he's jealous of Ezekiel's success. But Ezekiel has held on hope that Elias will come back and be proud of him. I do believe. Right?
Absolutely.
Right, Nick?
I'd like to see them shred together. You know, come out play.
Can Ezekiel play the guitar?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
All right.
I'd like to see Elias beat his ass.
Whoa.
I'm sick of this Zeke.
You're sick of Zeke?
Yes.
Shut up.
Need Elias back.
You said you don't like champions.
dude.
What?
You're not a part of
Ezekiel.
Zeke Freak Nation,
Yeah.
dude?
He lost to KO.
Let
Elias
Zeke
would not
speak.
lose to KO.
I'm about to fucking Zeke out on you, brother. You better get the hell out of here.
You're Zeking a little bit back there, aren't you? He's Zeking
Yeah,
out a little bit.
he is like a fool.
Or you're a Zeke freak or you're not anything around here.
I walk with Elias.
Catch the Zeke.
You can. You can listen
ahead,
to Zeke
yeah.
speak and walk with Elias at
Yeah.
the same damn time.
Same blood.
Boom.
Boom.
Same dad?
Yes.
Yeah, what do you mean?
They're
The
brothers,
brothers.
AJ.
Come on.
Believe it or not, with those names, they are rather Italian. I do believe.
Ezekiel's an
From
Italian
our town,
name.
there's about a 95% chance they are Italian.
Yeah. Ezekiel Giuseppe Santiago
Whoa.
Ini. Is that his name?
Whoa.
What did you just do? Is that his name?
Santiago Ini?
Yeah.
This guy.
That's his name.
You're disgusting.
Scum.
That's what I
Pure
thought his
scum.
name was.
Apologize to the boot country, please.
Why?
Apologize to Ezekiel and Elias' home country.
That's
And the Rock.
Ezekiel's
Listen here,
name, I
Connor
thought.
McPotato Head. Fucking, you can't be saying.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
That's
whoa,
fine.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
That's
Can't say
fine.
what you just said.
What
right
are you
there.
talking about? I can't.
You can't say what you just said. I'm
I
offended.
called a guy.
Well, I give you permission to say what you just said.
Me
But anyways,
too.
you're a
Hey.
fucking scumbag.
No, me too. That's fine. You can say that.
Santiago Ini.
Can't believe
that's
Giuseppe
Ezekiel's-
Santiago Ini.
Yeah, that's Ezekiel's name.
And this guy's grandstanding about how good of a guy he is.
All the time.
Say
Yeah, all
when?
the-
No,
all the time.
I'm
All the
never in my
time.
grandstand about everything. I was just saying.
Are you
when-
not 100% sure now about the thing that we've been talking about for the last week, that it was definitely Santiago Ini?
We have
Yeah,
the
yes,
tape.
yesterday I ate a cookie. Came over to me, go, I'll try to get a little better at pool today, huh?
Not true.
Exactly.
We have the tape. We have the tape from Friday.
Holy shit.
And we can run it back if we
called him
want.
the Baba the Boobity. That's basically
That's
what
what
you
you've
just
never
did.
done that before.
Never done that before.
Nope.
Let's get the phones. Juan in New Mexico really was
Thanks,
a
Juan.
jolt of energy there. Thanks for the call.
Shout out.
Juan's in Chicago.
Yes.
Fuck. Let's go to Ben in Phoenix, Arizona. What's going on, Ben? How you doing, pal? On the 500 phone line. Let's go to 500energy.com. Use promo code
Pat.
McAfee to receive 10% off your order.
And they're switching.
It was Pat Tony.
It was.
It's
Pat
no
Tony.
longer 20% off. You fucked it up. Now it's only 10% off, and that's on your ass. So you need 5-hour energy too. What's going on, Ben in Phoenix, Arizona?
Pat and the boys, what is good?
Bro, your call. I can already tell.
Yeah.
Right? What's going on, Ben?
Dude, chilling, man. So I'm a Cardinals season ticket holder. I just wanted to call you and have a couple questions. You know, after the draft, us Cards fans call this part calm time. And so Steve Keim, you know, hopefully he's going to get some other big free agents. You know, he already got J.J. Watt. But, you know, Optimus Prime is out for 6 games, so we need some more weapons. You know, Cliff, all he wants to do is surround Kyler with all the weapons. So I say notice Odell Beckham playing Call of Duty with K1 over here, and then I look on his other thing. He's chilling with Devin Booker out in Scottsdale. Is there a possible Odell Beckham coming to the Cardinals? I know. I personally want some O-line, but that's above my pay grade. I will say, boys, we love you out here in Arizona. We love AJ. You're the man. If you guys ever came out here and did like a live show over the weekend, you guys would sell out, man. I'm telling you. We love you out here. Thanks for always repping Arizona. Coyotes, Suns, Diamondbacks. We love you guys, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben.
Let me know whatever you think, man.
Thank you, Ben. We appreciate that. I love his optimism, by the way, that he has about all of the Arizona teams. Coyotes are dead, right? That team's dead.
Yeah, you could probably go sell out the arena they're playing in next season.
But but the Suns, I hope. If anybody
About 5,000 people, right?
If anybody buys a ticket for anything we do in the future, I mean, waste of money, but we'll try to get you a good deal on it. But the Cards and the Suns feels like for the next 5 years at least, going to be very, very, very into this. And the story came out via I Am Athlete tonight, which is on SiriusXM. Brandon Marshall was in SiriusXM studio, I believe in LA. Sean McVay came on the show and chatted about Odell Beckham Jr. crashed his wedding.
Yeah, that's right.
Odell Beckham Jr., one of the players who was not invited to the wedding because he had to make this massive decision after years and years and years of coaching and relationships. He decided only the captains of the team and a couple of veterans that he has good relationships with. And then, boom, Odell Beckham Jr. showed up, and Sean McVay's mom even said, "Oh, he's much more handsome in person, isn't he?" Kind of took a little run at OBJ. And Sean McVay then alluded to the fact, if you're going to crash my wedding, you're going to come back and play for us next year. But at that wedding, Cliff Kingsbury was there.
Ooh.
Odell Beckham Jr. is at the wedding. I don't know if Odell Beckham Jr. with the knee is out on the dance floor. Cliff was never on the dance floor. Cliff might have been in the back operating. Is Cliff going to poach OBJ straight out of McVay's wedding that OBJ crashed? TBD. It sounds like Arizona would love it.
Matt LaFleur is also there. Yeah, maybe Odell's chatting with him about going to Green Bay.
Well, LaFleur was sober, sitting in a corner. His wife was the one having a good time, is what Schrager told us.
Well, Arizona's already got a pretty
Hit
stacked
the dance floor, lad. Let's go.
You think OBJ was on dance floor, maybe, or are you talking about LaFleur?
LaFleur, what are we doing?
Well, he's skipping some sort of something.
They had practice next day.
Raj wasn't even there yet. I think he probably had a couple cocktails, 6, 7.
You think LaFleur got pretty tuned up at that wedding, AJ?
I hope he did. I hope he had a good time.
I hope he did too, but also I hope you guys win the Super
I mean,
Bowl.
the dance floor, he's probably got some NFL coaches are probably a little gun shy when it comes to the dance floor. It doesn't work out for every coach.
What are you saying?
Well, we know one guy who was coaching. All of a sudden, he decided to go to the dance floor, and then he looks back afterwards and said, shouldn't have gone to the dance floor.
That's
He's
right,
not there
true.
anymore.
The Wild Wild West over there in Ohio. Finger Gun City.
Wasn't a wedding. He was supposed to be there.
Yeah, he's with his kids.
Well,
grandkids.
that guy should have been on a plane back home with his team.
Yeah.
But instead, he had to see his babies.
That's right.
That's right.
And a few other people.
Maybe 22, 23-year-old.
Right.
He's got a pretty good little dance move on my bar that I made. Hey, I laid this wood that you're dancing on. Hey, speaking of. All right. Thank you, Gumpy. We appreciate the hell out of you. OBJ, though, is still a free agent, as is Julio Jones and others. A lot of weapons out there. July is the Deshaun decision, is what we're told by Albert Breer from the NFL. In about 2 weeks, we'll learn about Baker and Jimmy.
Yep.
Carolina, Seattle are in that game. Gumpy, we appreciate you, pal.
Hey, baby,
Did you guys hang up on him? Yeah.
What about?
Well, it's not as bad as what the government did to him. So
Yeah,
That's
sure.
true. Colts are gonna have to score a lot more points now. So maybe you
Why?
guys go get a. I mean, best defensive player is having back surgery today. That's probably not good.
breaking news. It has come out of mandatory minicamp for the Indianapolis Colts day one. Darius Leonard had back surgery today.
Oh.
That's not good.
Was this something that was building?
And is this because he was at OTAs? And did he get hurt at OTAs?
I hope it didn't happen at OTA.
I would be so pissed if this happened at OTAs. I do not know. I saw the tweet come through in the group text. I did not get to read into it as much because we've been doing a show. But what did happen? Update from the Colts on star linebacker Darius Leonard. No second surgery on his ankle, but he has been having back issues that require surgery. Operation is today. He'll miss some camp time, but the team's expectation is he's ready for the regular season. I hope so. Jesus.
Here we go. Why'd they wait so long? It had to have just happened if he's waiting until June.
Or he
7th.
probably thought he could rehab it without surgery.
This is from Coach Frank Reich talking to the media today. This might have been a Michael Thomas situation down in New Orleans. Thought you could rehab it, thought you could rehab it, thought you could rehab it. Then you get to the date where, hey, if we're not seeing any actual progression, we need to do surgery, so then we'll rehab it and do it this way. He is not going to need a second procedure on the ankle, but he is not here. However, he did have a procedure done on his back earlier today. Let's get ahead of it, not let it progress further, says Olivia Ray of Wish TV via Frank Reich's press conference from the first day of mandatory minicamp. That's obviously terrible news.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Said he'll miss some camp time. Luckily, it's not. They're not predicting he'll miss any regular season games yet. At least
maybe
we don't. I mean,
backs are scary. There's no minor back
right?
surgery. We know that.
Yeah, and that statement also wasn't like we don't think it wasn't like an actual timeline they're putting on that. And to your point, backs can creep up like that, right? Like Gronk has been dealing with a back for
brutal. It's never the same.
And he flies. That guy flies around and hits people. Oh no!
Plus from Hard Knocks too, his ankle looked really fucked up.
So the ankle's good.
Thing, yeah. That's what we think.
No, it's what he just because why wouldn't you get another ankle surgery right now if you're already going to go under?
Well, I guess he wasn't at OTAs because of his ankle. So maybe he was rehabbing.
Who said he wasn't there because of his ankle?
We'll find out.
Did he have surgery right after the season on his ankle?
Maybe.
They said no second surgery needed. So when did the first happen?
But if publicly they were saying it's because of the ankle, but actually it was because of the back, that's two different stories. If they were saying it's because of the ankle and then it comes out that it's because of the back, Colts lying? What the fuck?
What's going on? Could be both. If you're hurt, if your ankle is hurt, your body compensates in other ways. That definitely could have something to do with his back.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about with his knee, by the way, with the hip and the back potentially.
Well, this is why you add to the D line, you add to the secondary, just in case Ngakoue and Gilmore can pick up the slack in the other parts of the defense.
I get it picking up the slack, but it's like this was supposed to be our year. We got a Navy SEAL at the quarterback who's yelling at everybody. Now the maniac defensive player of the year type player getting back surgery on June 7th. June 7th.
His first ankle surgery was before training camp last year.
That's right, because he missed some of camp. He came on our show during an off day right after he signed a big deal, I remember.
So who was reporting that he was missing training camp because of the ankle?
It looks like himself.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Jesus Christ. Good run.
You mean missing OTAs because of his ankle?
Yeah, so that means they're trying not to talk about the back maybe, or maybe the back wasn't something until it flared
They
up.
might have not known. Maybe they didn't know it was that serious and just kept getting a little bit worse.
Yeah, maybe the back flared up or something. Here we go. Good morning. Darius Leonard underwent a procedure on his back, an issue that arose in the offseason. He saw a surgeon out west. Reich said, not sure on the timetable now, but in my mind, as long as he's ready for the regular season, I'm not concerned. Via Olivia Ray of Wish TV. Amen, Frank. Listen, this is no story. He'll be back for the regular season.
Okay.
He's not concerned.
He's okay. If Darius Leonard's not worried and Frank Reich's not worried, neither am I.
No
There you
point
go.
to be.
The maniac.
You have no reason to be worried. Yeah.
Not at all.
I can tell you're not.
Not at all. Back surgery, no big deal. Those things are just easy peasy.
Just another Tuesday.
We'll be back tomorrow.
How many days till the season starts, Connor?
93.
Okay, that's plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
AJ.
For a back surgery?
Yeah.
Backs-
Darius Leonard.
Bro, backs are not good. That's not good. There's so many, because the head bone's connected to the neck bone, and then the neck bone's connected to just the backbone.
Right.
And it's just your entire, there's so much to it. And then everything, especially when you're striking and everything, and like your back is just so vital. You see people get back issues, and it's just like, oh, you have a new life now.
But you had a T4, T5 that you came back from pretty quickly, so maybe he will too.
Right, I was just talking to Mike for that.
That was more of a neck, though.
I wasn't playing football.
Yeah, I was
Wasn't
actually
as low.
T4,
I
T2.
didn't have to hit anybody either. I was just
And that was
talking into a microphone.
3 months.
not a real injury.
Even if he's out for
Holy shit! See the neck
fuck was
brace?
that?
Fucking asshole, dude. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Well,
Walgreens.
93 days, 3 months. Like, if he's out for 8 weeks, it's still going to take him a little bit to, ramp back up into
He'll be
football.
fine. He doesn't need camp.
He's always in shape. He's always in shape.
He didn't do camp last year much. Either.
Yeah, neither did Carson. They didn't make the playoffs. Anyways, let's wrap it up with this as we get out of here. And this has been a really good show today.
Hell yeah.
3 hours and 46 minutes here we're going.
Hell yeah.
Pretty good.
4
Not
guests.
For a Tuesday, June 7th. Not bad. Pretty proud of us today.
Hell yeah.
Pretty proud of us today.
Going to Paris.
Let's go. We're going to Paris. We're going to play blackjack with Dana White. Yeah. Let's go. Let's end the show with a bang.
Okay. Here we go.
Hey, those things are putting on helmets to keep everybody safe that you absolutely hate. Mike Tomlin's wearing one, so none of the boys can bitch if Tomlin's wearing it. You know that? Steelers wore the Guardian caps for day one of minicamp, including Coach Tomlin. Coach said after practice, it's a new rule. It's for their safety. We're going to make it a non-issue for us and focus on our work.
Hell yeah.
Mike Tomlin said, I'll even wear one of these fucking Guardian caps nobody can breathe out of. All these college kids have been doing this for the last couple of years. I guess there's a couple NFL teams that have done it as well. The OGs are going to take a while to adjust to it, I believe personally, but the rules is the rules. We're not going to live in our fears. We vehemently admit that we are about the people's safety, and Mike Tomlin said, I'll wear one of these as well while running my head. Is this a video or just a photo? Can we zoom in on Tomlin if it's a photo?
Video.
Play the video. I got to turn the music off.
He's on the right side there.
They're going to zoom in.
Look at him. He's wearing the gray. He's got his Guardian on just in case anybody thinks shit isn't sweet, he says. If anybody wants any, I'll run this baseball cap with the Guardian cap on top of it right into your sternum if you got a little bit of a problem. AJ, you love this. I know you love this. Let's buy into the new science and the modern science. Let's keep players safe, just like Tomlin's doing.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Tomlin is obviously a great leader, and that is why he is doing this, because he knows he has I don't know, maybe a good chunk of vets or different people on the team that will show up and not be wearing that thing. So he's like, hey, I'm going to wear this day one. We all know what this is. I'm going to wear it. Stop asking me about it. Let's just focus on football. I actually give him credit for this.
I respect it. It also could be him just gassing up the boys. You know?
Yeah.
Everybody bitching about it.
Love this thing.
Oh, look how comfortable this thing is.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of shit talk that could potentially come from him wearing the Guardian cap as opposed to everybody else. I love it, though. Anything Mike Tomlin does, I'm on board with because of his track record and the fact that everybody seems to fucking love playing for him.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
He's the man.
I agree. I concur. He should come back on the show sometime.
He
shouldn't
should.
he?
Yeah.
I would like him to wear that Guardian cap.
We need to get some, though. We need some Guardian caps. We'll wear them when he comes on.
Ooh, yeah. Sweet. I might just wear Mysterio's mask because I don't know if we'll have a Guardian cap in time. We'll get to it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, that's the show. We appreciate you, AJ. Thank you, boys. You did great. Albert Breer, Dana White, Darrelle Revis, Ian Rapoport. What a day. That's a Tuesday. Hope life is great. Let's do a giveaway. Big day today.
Oh.
PMS, hashtag PMS. What's today?
In Paris.
Minicamp. Oh, in Paris, yeah.
PMS bonjour.
Yeah.
Nah, that's too much. Then we're definitely committing to it.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? We need to be able to back out of this if we have to. We can't commit too much. If we commit too much, there's no way to back out of that 8-9 hour flight.
Revis.
PMS Grenada sucks at soccer.
Whoa.
Wow, that's a little aggressive. The game's not till Friday.
Okay.
Maybe PMS Revis Island.
PMS Island.
PMS Island.
PMS Island.
Because
Whoa, that kind of sounds like Lexi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that
we
does
talked about
include
that earlier
Grenada
today.
as well.
Yeah, because Grenada is an island. PMS Revis Island. Yeah. Hashtag. Do that. Take a selfie. Take a screenshot right now.
No.
Whoa.
What is that?
Son of a bitch.
Who'd you steal that from? You stole that from our office?
No. What do you mean? These things, I tell you, things just show up at my door.
What the hell is that?
How'd you get that? That's
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh, yours isn't 32 pounds. Yours is fake.
Respect it, dude.
Don't do that.
I am. That's why I'm trying to hold it up here for the picture.
Don't do that to Baby Lordo. How'd you get a Baby Lordo?
Don't worry about it. Should I put it right here?
You can't even hold the goddamn.
That's a
Yeah.
fake. That's a fake Baby Lordo.
That's not 35 pounds.
That's a fake Baby Lordo.
What do you mean?
Put it away. That's what I thought. Take a screenshot.
Don't.
Whoa.
No, you son of a bitch.
No.
So good. No dirt in this one either.
Hashtag PMS Revis Island. Say something nice to somebody. Put your cash tag in there. Be one of 10 winners of $599. Thanks for ruining Baby Lordo, AJ, with your fake one. What you do?
You're welcome.
Did you 3D print that?
Where's yours?
Don't worry about it. I feel like you probably stole it. Are they just handing out these titles and Lordos to everybody?
Yeah, I don't love that.
I thought we earned it. You earned it, AJ. Hey, you earned it. Way to go.
Thank you.
See you guys tomorrow. Hashtag PMS Revis Island. Say something nice to somebody. Put your cash tag in there and a screenshot from the show. You're the best. See you tomorrow. Well, Darius Leonard just tweeted. Yeah, I would like. Surgery went well. Feeling amazing and ready to get back going. If you know me, you know I always come back way better than I was. Let's go, man. Ankle feels amazing and can't wait to get back moving. Thanks for the text and the calls. Here we go.
Here we go. Maniac.
We're good. We're
He's
good.
back. He's back.
He's fine.
Put the Lordo away.
We're good, man. I'm glad to hear Darius is doing all right.
Me too. I fucking love Darius. I hate that you have a fake Fugazi Baby Lordo.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
We'll be back tomorrow with more of an investigation in the stolen valor of AJ 3D printing a Baby Lordo that we earned to have here in the office. See you guys tomorrow. Thanks, AJ. Thanks for everything.
Thank you.
Thanks, AJ. Thanks.